won one of their last 5 matches on Inferno as well. So maybe some issues there for them as well. Confidence maybe not sky high, but still, you know, historically speaking, this has been one where they're fairly confident on. We're going to be jumping in to the knife round on this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's Na'Vi versus NIP to kick things off.
Exactly that. And Sidestar is going to be curious here. Get Right, one of the advocates for starting out on the T side on occasion. I wonder if he'll face it or fancy it today, because it looks as though they are in for the chance of picking their side. And Flamey, a superstar within his own right, not going to have much done, and NIP will claim the knife round. So I'm interested to see where they pick on this, because Alu has had some real prevalence on the T side, but no, they're going to be starting on the CT. T side will be Na'Vi, and we're going to be getting ourselves underway nice and quick here. And let's see how NIP fare. Will they hold true to trend and keep this presence up on this map, or Na'Vi find that form that can be ever so deadly? But looking at Na'Vi's purchase here, Seized can be running the utility for them with the smoke, flash, and grenade, and the rest just going on that Glock train. That's
right, Freiburg with 2 flashes and a defuse kit here as well, not opting for any sort of armor at this stage. So we'll see how this one goes. No Tech 9s in anyone's hands at this stage, and NIP looking towards mid. Just asking the question of Seized, but he fires right back to take him out with that headshot. And Get Right forced out a banana here, back over towards that B side a little bit now. Just a quick poke, and Freiburg lays a flash.
Yeah, and it looks like Na'Vi are considering that B site quite substantially. 4 players there looking toward it, but they did pull Alu off of CT Arch, but didn't commit just as of yet. So it's still, you know, in the hands of Na'Vi to go where they feel. See what they want to do in this one. A lot of time left as well, so no rush here. And it looks as though Forest is starting to go looking through those apartments. You can see him up in the building, trying to maybe get some presence down towards the T side. Zeus not far away. Edward as well. He's going to be coming around. He does have the... What on earth, Forest? He's... Oh! So he misses the sitter and then picks it up onto Zeus. Now backs away. He expects Edward to come through, but he can't deny it. Now 4v3. NIP need to respond, but that bomb still yet to commit.
We still have a split here from Na'Vi. Some smokes now going to go towards ASCs. Wants to make his way in. Get Right there looking in towards Pier. Can he connect these shots here? He does go down to 44 health. Freiburg is also low. Ali's trying to deal out with Seized right now, but there's Guardian Edward getting it done. And Alu all on his own to try and bring this one back. Seized will drop to him. Edward and Guardian are low with no helmets, mind you. Flamey's still healthy and the bomb goes down.
Yeah, Flamey can play this one well, buying the time, and he will close it down. Now Na'Vi picking up round 1 there, and I like that. They really did run that clock quite low, but they did eventually secure that through. But Forest, I must admit, must be kicking himself. Let's watch this back again, because it really did look like it was on him. I'm not going to lie to you, but he does make it work against Zeus, but in the end did get overrun by Edward. So let's look at what Na'Vi go with into round 2 here. Known as one of the teams that do kind of at least stay away from the newer kind of style, but NIP going to be forcing fairly well into this. A lot of Deagles, a lot of CZs, and just the P90 and UMP SMG-wise here, but Freiburg's going to have the chance. Doesn't get to use it, so Seized will take him down.
One of the few players on it without a helmet this round, actually, and has let him down. Forest, though, will be able to respond on towards Edward. The bomb has been left back for the moment, and Na'Vi just to split here, just to see what opportunities they can create. Forest already chunked down a bit after getting that first kill, and there is a flash for Get Right. But Seized has a few nades of his own here. We'll have to see what Na'Vi want to do with them as they slowly converge towards A here. It's definitely not a... you know, it's more of a walking pace approach, I guess you could say. And Exist and Alu will be hanging on here as well. Exist making a very early exit from last round. See if he can redeem himself now. As the smoke does below, Exist will be waiting up on that balcony. It's slow movements here from Na'Vi as well. Not unlike last round, they're happy to use this time.
Yeah, and Guardian going to be just spraying away that, checking to see if anyone was waiting by that smoke, in the smoke. Zeus holding the push down Banana. And Forest did actually rotate over towards B, so Na'Vi doing well thus far to keep it in their favour, but oh look, the bomb is slowly heading back down towards B, and with 30 seconds left, I wonder if Forest is going to stay here. It looks as though he is, and now the push will begin. Flash is lined up for him. Oh, Forest didn't spot Zeus. Zeus has got ahead of where he expected, and now Guardian finding Alu might force Forest away, and really nicely done by Na'Vi. It's down to Get Right now. The bomb is there. He's tucked in by that first box, does have the chance towards Zeus, can't utilise it, and now Exist a long way away, looking for that gun. It hasn't been left there. They have taken it away and hidden it well within the map. And we will be seeing him up against the odds, just trying to find a way out. Or he might just save this. He does have the head armor and CZ.
It's a fair investment, I guess, for NIP in this round as well. Not really paying off at all. And it's funny, I think it was Zeus there that was waiting with the P90. Didn't even inch his way in towards that B side until the rest of the team was ready to go. Timing was definitely not Forest's friend there as well, as he did have his back turned. And that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes here, and Na'Vi will put their second T round together in moments. Ninja's a little bit slow off the plate.
Yeah. But looking at Na'Vi, they have retained the rifles, which is the important factor. Did lose out on the UMP from Edward, but they hit it and denied it from Exist. And he's desperately looking around. He spots it. That it's been placed just up above him, but he has no chance to get up there. And we'll be seeing NIP once again in the same predicament. About 2k between them, a P250 for Forest. But Exist does at least maintain that CZ. But on the other side of things, Edward clearly aware of that. Going to go for the MAC-10, trying to get some money building up for the boys. Maybe get, Guardian an AWP building early if he can maybe do so. But Na'Vi not taking this lightly. A lot of utility to work with. And the 3 stack coming out towards B. It's going to be, I think, friberg peeking out first. He's a little closer here. Zeus working his way up. Bomb once again left down by T-Spawn. Not wanting to commit that just yet.
They did boost Exist up there, you can see. So as the push in towards his B side happens, they definitely want to try and catch Zeus unawares now. But again, waiting for the rest of his team, not shoving in there. The Molotov does come down as well. And losing our feed there for a moment. That's a bit unfortunate. We're back into this one. Bomb not being taken as well, by the way, towards B as Guardian. Just looking for an opening, looking for an opportunity in here. And we can see that friberg's already taken a fair bit of damage.
Yeah, and it's Get Right. And of course, Exist being that linchpin player. If he can maybe get a couple down, this wouldn't be the end of the world for them. Maybe deny some of those rifles into that next round. But let's see, how long do Na'Vi leave this? They're a team that does infamously take their time. Cease is the one recovering the bomb. We will be getting the proper feedback very, very soon. But that bomb is indeed heading over towards A.
That's right. Still 2 players for Na'Vi left at B, though. Let's see what they can do. Zeus gets taken down. Exist the boost working out from there as well. Will he poke around for a second as well? The CZ, it's all happening towards A as well. Flamey and Guardian combining nicely. And it's just Alu left now as well. He's in a reasonable spot here to maybe just cause some disruption. But with that P250, he might just back away yet again and just sit this one out.
Yeah, and Na'Vi once again retaining the 3 rifles, losing out on the UMP and the MAC-10, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, excuse me, the P90 and the MAC-10. I think Alu maybe just trying to find Guardian, catch someone off guard here, but Guardian being quite cautious about this. He's aware that Alu may be searching for this one, and it looks like Guardian will check this corner, and he will get Alu down. So nothing to be recovered there by Nip, but they do manage to take down 2, so utilizing as much as they could there with the fact Exist was boosted up. And we are going into what is going to be a very important round now. Round 4 coming up. We are going to see Guardian with the AWP as well. He's going to have that one put over towards him. He can drop out his rifle. So Na'Vi keeping this one close, but NIP, of course, on the other side of things, very little to work with utility-wise. They've got enough of the head armor for the vast majority, but friberg and Alu going to be without, and just a couple of smokes and flashes.
That's right. So that's all they have really to work with to stall out Na'Vi as they try and make their push. And Guardian already looking towards Banana. Here's Get Right, of course. He is set up to receive that push. Going back away a little bit here. I don't know what that was. He's just sitting. Here come the nades in from Seized as well. And again, it is Na'Vi just probing for the moment here. Just trying to gain some information and make some informed decisions as Guardian aggressively moving up. Smoke comes across the face of him here. He's not going to find anything through the smoke.
I'm looking forward to see if Guardian can try and find an opening here. That's the big part for me. But Get Right is still holding ever so vigilantly. And Seized is working his way up. Guardian's going to be the one to be picking up the mantle, and the flash comes out. That's perfect for Get Right. He gets the 1-for-1 trade, but spots out the others. But whether or not Alu's going to rotate is the next thing. Where does that bomb now go? friberg, the previous king of Banana, going to try and hold that form. Bomb is being placed down the bottom here. But while that happens, Flamey and Edward are trying to search out towards A. And Alu's going to be the one holding towards CT Arch. Edward waiting patiently as Zeus will start working his way around. Alu does get the shot, holding that off angle. Going to try and make the most of it. Ahead of the flash, does take down Edward, but he probably can't make it out. He does! 21 HP here. This is Na'Vi having to work for this.
That's right. Alu actually not rotating early, going to hang around as Exist gets Zeus from those balcony here. Is Flamey. Wants to push his way in as well. The bomb is loose at the moment, now being picked up here by Caesar. He tries to push him, but Exist is holding beautifully right now, and it's a good cover from Forest to take down Flamey. And there's the first round coming up for Nip.
Yeah, and it was really well done then. Exist spotted out the player into those apps, told Forest, hey, you watch this, I'll watch your cross, just instantly setting up that crossfire, and NIP picking up round 1. That initial trade certainly gave them a lot of information. friberg able to slow them down, deny that B presence, and then you could see them pushing over towards A. Alu picking up the kill as well. Really nice stuff. And let's see what Na'Vi do here. Going to be going back in on the rifles. A Galil there for Edward. Smoke going to go down to the close part of Banana rather than the deeper smoke. I'll Get Right to get into position and not be threatened just yet and give a touch of control towards Na'Vi, but Seized, taking so much damage early on.
Zeus aggressively looking for some heads over that smoke there, and Seized down to just 8 at this stage. Now it's Galil for Edward as well. So Na'Vi not exactly working in optimal form here, money-wise at least, as Guardian now looking again to make his way through. No success with the AWP in that last round. Was shut down with the cheeky pop flash now as Alu wants to lay a Molotov down. Just a slow Guardian up. His toes are getting a little bit crispy. He stayed long enough in there to take a considerable chunk of health and force him back. Flamey is also working out of boilers, looking for an opening here, but Na'Vi finding nothing for their troubles so far.
Yeah, and I really like that from Alu. He's playing quite passively, but he's doing it really well. He's fallen back towards Library, going to give them CT Arch control if needed. Of course, GeT_RiGhT can always jump off if you feel that there may be a wrap coming in, but Na'Vi are looking maybe now towards Apps a little more. Edward's the one once again going searching. Guardian's there, through the smoke. Alu doesn't get the first shot off. Waits it out, flashes. Does catch one. Second flash comes through, spraying, and he gets the tag, not the frag. GeT_RiGhT has adjusted round, but look where that bomb is. It's on Banana. They might get the kills, but they may not get the round at this rate. But GeT_RiGhT instantly turns. friberg's flashed up, heads trying in towards a little bit of a balcony area covered off, but no, it's Na'Vi picking up the kills here, and the cross comes in, the smoke goes down. Na'Vi should have the bomb plant, and NIP are left out in the cold.
That's right, and GeT_RiGhT left out of the B side for the moment here as Edward just waits for the rotator Forest, and he'll take him down. Only 2 left for NIP here. Both have kits, but it's going to take more than that at this stage to make their way in. There's GeT_RiGhT caught behind the truck, and Edward will dispatch of him easily enough. And of course, GeT_RiGhT trying to rotate quickly around there from CT, not fast enough, and again, Exist all on his own here as well as the time ticks away.
Really good round from Na'Vi, pulling NIP left, right, and center. Exist should be able to get down seized here. Nice little lineup for him. And Flamey being very cautious on the challenge, and Exist can back away further, retain that rifle and head armor, I can imagine. I doubt they'll catch him at this point. But Na'Vi do get the round on the board, so picking up a well-needed round there. It looked almost impossible at the start trying to break through towards that CT Arch, but once they got a little bit of control there, they executed towards B. GeT_RiGhT had already fallen back, and it just weakened the side, and friberg didn't really have the chance to stop it.
And Na'Vi's T side on Mirage's, Inferno should say, has received great accolades in recent times. Maybe not so much in the last sort of few weeks, but this is them as well. Always pushing the envelope as well. They're not content to just sit back if a Molotov or a smoke goes down. They still want to sort of push their luck, and more often than not, it seems to be working out for them at this stage. There is no warp up for Guardian at this stage. It's Edward with the M4, taking off one of the NIP plays here. It just Exists with an AK. Really
good read, though. Exist is in the right place at the right time. He's going to spawn out one, takes a shot, gets it, goes for the fort, can't find it. Zeus goes in on him, but Forest does get the trade, so it's a 2 for 1. Make it 2 for 2 now, but the bomb is slightly committed towards Quad, and Alu is behind Flamey, but Flamey's going to find Forest in the meantime. It's back and forth we go, but this isn't going to be easy for Na'Vi. Alu's in a good spot here, going to get the flash out, buy some time for friberg, but he doesn't expect C's pushing through the apartments, and this should be a clear bomb plant, but friberg has got himself close.
He's got to work out from Library here as well, especially with C's watching from balcony. It's going to be very, very difficult here. friberg looking for a 1v1 at the very least, but C's will be too quick on the trigger there. And RP had a chance there. Exist saw him with the AK early on, but just the one wasn't quite enough to seal it.
No, certainly not. Good play from Na'Vi in the end, closing it down, but it got very risky then. Nip reading the game well, placing those 4 players towards the A site, including Exist with the rifle. friberg was just soloing towards B with, I think it was just a 5-7 and a smoke. So Nip know what's up, but it's still a 5-1 scoreline thus far. Na'Vi certainly in control here, and Guardian not opting all that frequently for the ult, but we are going to see that second mid presence. 4 players charging that way, Seized holding on Banana. And once again, Na'Vi liking to take control on the apps a little early on here, but Forest this time is on the balcony. It's Exist in pit, so switching that one around.
A couple of FAMASs here as well, Alu and Forest. Not exactly the best kitted out that NIP could be. Exist is holding back here from Graveyard as well, looking towards carpets there, and Na'Vi just slowly again, not really getting too aggressive.
Nip of 4 players here. They're starting to read this one perfectly, but it doesn't matter. Zeus again getting the better of Exist, but Forest is waiting patiently, tries to pick up the rifle, didn't expect the follow, but now GeT_RiGhT in the smoke, goes for the challenge, can't find it, and Na'Vi once again breaking through on towards A, and friberg a mile away. Not much to do here.
And NIP, they're losing their advantage in these quick flurries as well. Na'Vi are able to carve out a 2-man advantage at this point, and there's really nothing NIP can do. If they're playing conservatively like they are now, they're not going to throw even more wood onto the fire. friberg just has to back off and just wait this one out, and yet again we've seen, I think, 4 rounds in which NIP just get cut down to the 1 man. He's forced to save up here now, of course, as Na'Vi are going to have their 6th on the board so far. It's been a very strong T side from them, and NIP just sort of keep getting caught unawares as well. It's Na'Vi putting the right numbers in the right place, and they're folding to it.
Trading consistently in their favour, and I feel a little for Forest then, because he was in the perfect spot to maybe do some more, but trying to pick up that AK, a little greedy maybe. But not to be the case for him this round now. friberg having a bit of a slow start here, not yet to make any impact on the scoreboard. Actually, tell a lie, 1 assist. But outside of that, a very quiet game. They haven't hit that B site too regularly, but the retakes have been a little disjointed. He's been so far out of time, but looking at the purchase here from Nip, there's not a lot to work with. Last time they did do well, though. Exist was able to pick up a couple. And friberg taking the early challenge on Banana. That's the difference. Zeus goes down now. But while this happens, NIP infiltrating themselves in towards the apartments, trying to stop Na'Vi's control.
So you see Alu here as well, just trying to hold on. 3 players for NIP inside these apartments right now. A lot of focus towards there. Can Exist? No, he can't take down Flamey, and Forest is forced to sit back around the corner. Back to balcony. Guardian now picks up one as well. 2 players over at A for NIP. friberg moving up on towards the site, and there goes Get Right. B presence has been neutralized, and Na'Vi have a heck of a lot of options.
Yeah, they certainly do. Whether or not they'll expect friberg to be on A this early is a different matter. Seized is certainly taking his time, but I can imagine that bomb will start going towards it once Seized does realize, hey, the site's clear. friberg already rotated. Get the hell over there. But the one thing I love from Na'Vi is they're willing to commit those Molotovs to clear out corners, to clear out those apartments, forcing players out of those little spots they can do damage with, as Edward now just going to hold the back in case Forest did go hunting, which he is. And friberg probably looking to keep hold of that M4, just holding CT.
Again, Na'Vi having done their due diligence over at that B site and can get the bomb down. friberg will hold from CT. Edward's going hunting. And Forest only has that P250 looking for Edward, but Edward, well, he definitely wasn't expecting an RV player to be coming out of there, and friberg again has to sit back on this one as well and save yet again. 2 rounds in a row for him now, and NIP just really struggling to have the resources in the right places where it really counts.
Yeah, the money was certainly a huge factor into that round. Really unable to scrape much together. Even though they did have enough players into those apartments, the Molotovs just forced them out of the angles and made it so much hard work. And only Zeus being dropped out then. So quite the clean round for Na'Vi, not taking too much damage. And friberg will maintain. And we'll be back on the buy. Alu going to go in for the AWP. And we're going to see Guardian picking up as well. So that little battle will commence. And we'll finally see a little bit more utility with NIP. So hopefully they can start maybe slowing down Na'Vi at those last couple of seconds, because Na'Vi do like that late play style. But Guardian with a nice little spawn here. Let's see where he takes it. If he goes for an early challenge maybe towards Banana. Or if he just goes for the mid hold. Let's have a little look-see. Straight out towards mid. Quite aggressive in this one.
Very much so. He's going to be looking for Alu. He doesn't get his opposite number there, and NIP buy themselves a little bit of freedom here as well. Edward being flashed, can't push immediately now as Alu just tucks himself back around the corner. It will be a mid-push here as well, and Seized picks up the AWP. He takes down Alu, and Exist isn't able to trade out with Edward.
Exist really fluffing his lines there. That's going to leave Forest to be the last man standing as Na'Vi do start to make their presence noted towards Quad, and Seized just decimating Forest. It's going to be the retake once again on the board for friberg and Get Right. And he's probably saying, I might just go in for this one. I'm so tired of saving this one goddamn rifle. But still, Edward, 12 HP, a little low, but he's not in the worst position in the world. He's just watching the back, and that's exactly where Get Right is coming from. friberg in toward Library as well, and both these players looking to retain the rifles, I can imagine, get a couple of exits. But as every round goes, Na'Vi stretching the lead here. Get Right's been found by Edward, and now friberg does at least get Zeus down. Expecting the follow-up, it's Flamey, and Flamey does connect. So 2 for 2 there for Seized and Edward. Really nicely done for those, but this is a extraordinarily clean T side for Na'Vi. 8-1 now, and the economy for NIP is looking pretty poor. They've lost out on maximum, what, like 2 players every now and then? 3 at most? It's been a really dominating side.
And that's what we're seeing with NIP being forced to try and save for most of these rounds here. Seized with some stunning entries there over towards that A site, really opened things up, picked up Guardian's AWP and put it to great use. Now the man has it yet again. Alu as well has actually bought that AWP as well. See what happens now as Na'Vi fan out a little bit more. Maybe some B focus for them here as 3 snake their way up into Banana. You can see Get Right holding that corner with the Mag 7, but there goes a Molotov in towards that corner. Will he be forced down? Looks like he'll stay for the moment. Only tickled by the damage there. He'll be able to hold that spot.
Now, last time NIP have been on shoddy buys, they've generally put 4 players towards A. Not the case this time, as Forest will make the most of finding Flamey. Now, the jig is certainly up, though. They know that they've got a couple of weapons here, there, and everywhere. Forest just heard Edward, I think, with the apps, but Edward's going to have the shot there. Does go for more. Exist will stop the rot. That's the little bit of a win out on the apartments on the A side, but while this happens, it's all about that B side of things. Guardian and Zeus still holding their presence there, but Get Right, stoic in nature, just waiting with that Mag 7. Flash comes through. Zeus takes a face full of that one. And Alu going to find Guardian on the rotate. Seized already making his way through second mid. It's going to be Exist waiting for him.
Exist now will just push through fairly slowly as Alu's still watching mid. Seas was there though somehow. And a 2v3 now as Seas got the bomb. He's going to head in towards apartments. And Zeus will also make his way up here. Alu does see one in mid. He's going to miss the shot. He's going to back right up here as well. We will see a push on towards A. Alu, the only man there.
And he's got to be careful because we know that, oh my god, Seas could already make it out to pit. He almost had the shot then, but didn't expect Seas so quickly through those apartments. And now friberg can get right in the dire situation again, making it a little closer, but certainly not going to get the cigar in this rate as friberg once again looking back in, going to molly out towards the corner. Seas may have to move very, very soon through the fire and flames into the crosshair. Great work from friberg with the double. Going to pick up the AWP. I think he might just have enough time. He should do. 10 seconds on that defuse. It was fairly close though, but that molly really paying dividend at the very last couple of seconds. It is still quite close.
Yeah, we will get the defuse here. I mean, friberg, he's had to spend a couple rounds sitting it out, just sitting on that gun and saving it up. But this time he said, you know what, let's go get right. We're going to go and just grind this one through. Great Molotov here. You can see what it does to Seized as well. After such a great round from him, he had no choice but to face the music there as well. And friberg transitioning beautifully on towards Zeus there. NIP, better late than never. They definitely needed that round, and they need a couple more.
After watching their game against Fnatic on Dust 2 before, when they brought it back only after having one round, I get a little scared to call anything. You can see their display pictures still have that nip magic, so I'm just saying, this is a great T-side from Na'Vi, and if they can keep any sort of this, I guess, momentum up going into their CT side, this should be a very quick match, but it looks as though Na'Vi going to be speeding things up a little here, looking for that early presence towards B, and friberg and get right with the crossfire ready and waiting. Smoke goes down. Na'Vi deciding to push through it, though. That's a dangerous choice. friberg just going to go wild right now, and that's the friberg we know and love on that B site, as get right will close down towards Guardian. And there we have it, Na'Vi trying to speed things up, and, well, not going too well for them.
Yeah, an attempt for them to sort of vary the pace here, but they may as well have grabbed their guns and thrown them into a trash compactor. That's pretty much exactly what happened. Great hold there towards B, and maybe they'll be scratching their heads thinking, we need to go for something a little bit different than that as well. The rush is just not going to work against a team like NIP.
But the economy's still fairly strong for Na'Vi after so many rounds back-to-back here. They're well and truly able to go back into those rifles, but friberg can get right. Once again, exerting that early presence towards Banana. Get right still there, but it's Alu, again, toying with the idea of making that peek in mid. Not going to take it, though, as Forest just ducking under that spray through from second mid.
Alu holding that corner as well. I don't really know where Na'Vi's going to push right now. They do have a lot of smokes in their way at this stage. Bomb still being kept back as Alu as well, just going to try and chime in there with a grenade of his own. And it's Existent Forest still also holding at the other side of A. And Na'Vi jockeying back and forth. Poking and prodding, looking for an entry point here as well. And Seized has always delivered. He's over at the B site now, towards Banana, should I say, with friberg.
It's a dangerous commitment. Get right really pulling himself over towards Alu here, but he is slowly working back towards B. So maybe just wanted to show a little bit of presence. And you can see Na'Vi are working their way through Boiler here. That's Edward peeking out. Forest is the one waiting by quad, but it's going to be Alu with it all to do. One player right in front, and the flash is perfect, but get right, backing him up. No, Edward takes him down. Alu, you've got to pick up the pieces now, my friend, because Edward is just coming through CT Archers. Forest now spraying in towards the smoke from that Boiler push. It's looking like Na'Vi once again have got that control of A. Until then, suddenly, NIP wake up.
friberg holding Banana now. He's got a 1v1 against Guardian, but the flames will consume him as well as the final shot goes in. And now Forest and Exist working it down.
They're trying to work fast as well. They know Guardian's the one with the bomb. Forest is looking for this shot here. Smart work from Guardian to do the smoke behind just to try and buy time. Quick plant for Zeus, and now it's on to retake. NIP working through it.
Flashes and gets through the smoke as well. Dupree style. He'll be able to get down on towards Guardian, sprays the man up, and now Zeus has to sit back towards CT. Can still watch from here.
They know where it's planted for, but Zeus has the molly. He can buy time.
Zeus now looking. Knows they're going to be posturing around that B side as well. Exist is going to be the first to step up to the plate. He goes down. Zeus looking for the second here as well. It's Forest just sitting up on that one as well. Can he get this one? I don't think he's defusing. He may well not be, and Zeus will be able to pick him up there as well. Great hold from the man from CT. Great patience as well.
He didn't even have to use that molly then. My God, that was a dangerous play from Zeus, but beautifully done. Initially, Forest was holding that defuse, then halted. When he peeked out, he might have actually been able to close it down, but still, hindsight is 20/20. I'm surprised Nip even brought it that close in that round. After those opening kills towards CT Arch, favoured Edward so severely, but 9-3 now. Scoreline still looking very favourable towards any Na'Vi fan out there. And Alu going to drop out the early nade, gets a little tag towards Zeus, but nothing incredible as once again, the three-man stack towards B here going to be exerted from Nip as they look to get early control and get denied.
Some confidence here from NIP as friberg looking to open up some opportunities in Banana, but Seized is keeping himself around the corner there. He did go down to friberg in that last round, dropping the ball a little bit after a great start, and Get Right is going to send him packing yet again. Oh, it's back and forth here as Zeus replies, and Get Right needs to just sit back on this one a bit, smoke it up, and stall for time.
Get right, waiting ever so patiently. Can he become the spray down king? Zeus is so close here as well. Forest is waiting for that pop flash if required. But they are backing away from Banana. The bomb is already down by the bottom of mid. Where is it going to go? 50 seconds left. And Na'Vi really love running that clock down. You're going to see Nip challenge to be patient here. Zeus gonna make the peak. Gerright's gonna get that one, but while this happens, look where Na'Vi are heading. It's CT Arch.
Charlie's got a big hold to hold. He only gets the one as Edward still will be able to push in towards him now. The 3v2 as he sees holds from balcony. There's Gerright getting
bomb.
big work done on the other side of the map.
Bomb down now. Edward's in a real predicament. Forrest looking left, right, and center. I think he just heard him, and he will get the close. So NIP finding a touch of form towards the end, then exerting slight more control towards Banana. But still, this is picking up the scraps here. Bearing in mind, this is a very strong T side from Na'Vi. If NIP want to stand a chance, they really have to step up here on that side of things. And Guardian, a little slower to this one, but still, it's Guardian. But look at the buy they can achieve here. It's not perfect. It's a little shoddy. We're going to see the Kraken coming out. All right. I always love seeing that gun. And I think it was JW yesterday who was utilizing it once again on Cobblestone. So, see what shotguns can do. But we are going to see the Tech-9s, and it can always do damage.
NIP starting to adjust to the more slow roll, pick and split style that Na'Vi are employing here, even by changing the pace themselves sometimes, getting aggressive in little bursts and actually catching Na'Vi off guard. And here's Exist. Well, he was hoping to cross swords with Flamey there, but he will be able to back away in towards those apartments here. Smoke towards mid, and Alu holding as normal. Na'Vi will take their time here. Don't have a great arsenal to work with as well. Only a couple flashes and a smoke. Here they go.
But they're up close. That's the danger now. They can do some damage, and Flamey heading straight on the balcony. It's all on Forrest to spray down and hope for the best. He does get two, but still leaves Edward and Guardian standing. Gerright on the flank. Bomb is stuck in by Pip, but Edward tapping away towards Alu. It's down to a 2v2, but will they predict Gerright?
Edward smoking for mid, and Gerright will be slowly, ever so slowly making his way through apartments here. Now Edward sitting in pit, and Freiberg is off towards the other side as well here. And they're waiting for any sort of sign of that bomb, making its movement towards that site. Edward, eyes are set on balcony as Guardian lurks in the distance as well. He's the man with the bomb, but being so low, he has to be careful. He'll send Guardian here. This is brilliant. He's going to get the jump on Gerright. Should be able to dispatch him quite quickly, and then they can make the move. But Gerright will be ready for it there, and Guardian is taken down.
The game sense is unreal, and Edward gets locked out by Freiberg. I don't know how Gerright does it, but him checking just in that time, maybe going, why aren't they planting? We're not showing. Maybe they're checking for us, but my God, that was a beautiful display. But still 5-9 now. Na'Vi slowing down the pace a little. They're not picking up these rounds back to back, and this is an important one. They're going to have to go for this kind of shoddy buy, I guess, kind of here, there, and everywhere. A Galil, 2 rifles, though, but then the Tech-9 and the Deagle for Guardian coming out up against a very, well, let's say, well, flushed NIP. Looking good in this one. Early flash going to come out, and it looks like Na'Vi want to speed up the pace again.
The NIP, though, will be looking towards mid, and that's Exist as well. Makes his poke. The flash always seems to be there to scuttle his plans, though. The bomb held towards mid here as well. Slow movements here from Na'Vi again. They'll look for the picks. NIP need to avoid these early rotations as well. They just got to hold, keep their nerve here as well, as Na'Vi wants to mount their push. There's Freiberg, sees his mate Gerright go down. He's going to try and flash out and deal with these. He does get the 1v1 here, but look, Zeus will be pushing around as well. He's trying to hold on, trying to stall for some sort of time, and he won't get the better of Zeus with a Tech-9 pushing straight towards him. And B sort of starting to open up a bit now. Smoke down, but Alu pushing on.
But the bomb is not here. That's the important one. Guardian still has that to hand, so Alu, with all the will and want in the world, he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Guardian's going to find Exist. It's down to Forrest. Edward's going to find him. And now 3v1. Once again, Alu left in a real predicament. It's normally Freiberg here, but this time around, Na'Vi just pulling NIP player after player towards that B site, and Guardian is going to be the man left standing in the end as Flamey to close down Alu, and wow, that was quite the ending to that half.
3 pistols for Na'Vi in that one as well, and they managed to break down, as you said, the very well flushed, well armoured force of NIP there. Just beautiful stuff, and that Deagle on the entry as well towards that corner was stunning work. NIP now must put their heads together. So 10 and 5 at half-time here as well. They managed to pick up a few rounds on the backside, but it's another beautiful Na'Vi T-side here on Inferno. And one has to wonder what NIP themselves can put together as they aggress on that T-side.
Oh, it is the big thing, isn't it? Of course, we are just going to wait on Gerright to rejoin us while we wait on the warm-up. But individually speaking, it was quite a quiet game for Guardian. He wasn't being the one-man band that we do occasionally see, but Then again, we know that the T-side AWPing is always extraordinarily difficult on this one. And to be fair, Alu had shut him down a good couple of times.
Guardian had the same issues last week as well on this map. He was definitely notably not towards the top of the scoreboard in that match up against Dignitas here as well. And there are a few times where he's been trying to just, you know, take the advantage and be proactive. And he flashed himself down mid, tried to go the 1v1 versus Alu, was shut down. Things like that have got to be frustrating as well. But in the first 4 rounds, Guardian was having plenty of success with a rifle in his hand as well. He's 7-2 after those ones as well. So, you know, maybe it wouldn't be so bad for him to sit back on that one here as well, as we do wait to ready up for a second half. This first match of the day. I tell you what, if this is what NIP and Na'Vi are giving us now, I'm looking forward towards the rest of this map. And of course, Overpass, which will feature these 2 teams going at it yet again.
Yeah, and looking just at the overall stats from NIP on their T side, specifically on this map, straight down the middle, 50% win rate on their T half. 7 out of 14 times in the last good couple of games. So they do have power here. It's not something we're disputing because we know Alu's been able to perform very, very well on it. So I'm looking towards seeing what he can do. And I'm curious to see how NIP come about this, because we know that Get Right's lurking used to be formidable on this map. Whether or not he's taking that sort of stance is another matter, and it was a discussion point not too long ago, is the kind of entry fragging style that came with NIP was never that favourable towards Freiburg. He did kind of get left to his own devices a good couple of times towards working up towards B, but then they started backing him up more, then they started committing more, and I'm interested to see if they do a little bit of that coming into this, but we can't discredit NIP here. They certainly did bring back a good couple of rounds after being down quite substantially. So they're certainly not out of the running here, but you've got to say Na'Vi did look very, very good. Some
very cheeky peaks coming out from Na'Vi as well that were sort of yielding dividends for them as well, especially making their entries up towards A via mid. We're seeing it happen with Deagles. We're seeing it happen with whatever you want. They're just managing somehow to overcome you know, financial disadvantages here as well towards Ninjas and Pajamas purely by their playstyle. You know, it's funny, they're sitting back on it, they're not aggressing, they're not rushing, and they're always making NIP second guess themselves. Do I need to rotate early? Should I be watching my back? Do we have the wrong read on Na'Vi right now? Put that thought in their head, and all of a sudden, they can get real shaky.
Yeah, it does seem as though Get Right was back with us for a second, but he was merely teasing. He's left the game again. But we do hope that Get Right returns. We miss him dearly. But still, seems like he is back with us. So we could actually start this one up. Let's see if they go on the restart again, but everyone in. It looks like we are ready to get this one side up. So ladies and gents, let's get ready for the second half here. Na'Vi now on the CT side, NIP facing that T side struggle. And let's see how they do going into this one. They are currently sat at that 5 rounds. They need more, and this pistol would be the perfect beginning.
Well, this is where they need to start things if ever. And Edward there, well, not like Existor, who was very unlucky to get picked on that cross in the first round. He is able to make his way through, but here's NIP working towards Banana. It's C's on that B side, of course. Guardian will be making his way across there as well. This entry could be hectic right now. C's will be holding in first now. Here comes the push. Exist is the first man out of the gates. He's going to avoid most of the shots coming in towards him. But Flamey and Guardian combining beautifully. They're taking the wind out of NIP sails. Can they regain it? C's can't really connect right now, and Exist and Alu make it even. It's got to be back and forth. C's by the hand of Exist, but there's Get Right getting involved, and it's a 2v2.
Zeus has come over pretty darn quickly though, but there we have it. Alu goes down to him, and now it's all on Get Right. 1v2. Zeus and Edward watching his escape. He does take down one. That's Zeus gone, but Edward drills him in. And that'll be Na'Vi picking up round 1. But let's throw our minds back then to the start of that round. It was Guardian who came over to support them on B so early on. So already NIP were against the odds. They didn't have that clean kind of, 4v2 situation having to break in. That early flash didn't catch the 2 players. One sitting by new box, one at the first box. It was only Guardian who did get flashed up. So looking at this though, NIP going to be forcing in with the Tech 9s P250s. There's 2 smokes, 3, excuse me, and 2 flashes. So looking to do something here, but Na'Vi already going to gain some control down on Banana. Early nades as Edward peers down towards second mid and gets a touch of information.
It's a 3 split towards A here. Is Guardian will be watching just from around the corner as Ali tries to jump out and get the better of him. Here's going to be a bit of back and forth from us. Not quite finding the shots, but 3 health for the man now. Flamey will be able to come through as a second way to clean up Exist. There's Edward holding beautifully from pin. There's one, there's a second, but Alu will take him out. It's all back and forth as Alu again gets his second, but Flamey is there to pick up the pieces. Great work from that man with 3 for the round. And Na'Vi hold NIP at bay, and this is a disaster start for them to the second half.
Far from ideal. Absolutely dire if you were hoping they could do something with this one, but you not bad from Alu picking up 2 then. He did what he could and just wasn't enough, sadly. Edward being the kind of last bastion for Na'Vi, waiting out in pit, just doing everything for them. denying all of those players through the apartment. So I'm curious to see if they go for that double nade down Banana again. It's so painful, and they are going to go for the nades here. Forest receiving a lot of that damage. It's going to be Guardian to take a, well, put him out of his misery more than anything. And look at Edward just willing to challenge. Na'Vi closing it on the net here. And for NIP, I doubt they'll get much out of this one. Get right, last man alive. It's a clean round for Na'Vi. Just going to build that economy even stronger here and put NIP against the rails.
And C's there as well with a couple more kills with the SMG. So he's making bank, and that's actually enabled him to buy the AWP for Guardian, pass it over to the man now. And NIP just struggling here, really not really to make anything of that sort of round. It was a clean anti-eco from Na'Vi, though. It's safe to say that. They have gone for the AKs here as well. This is NIP, honestly, their final stand in this one. They must win this round.
Yeah, and C sticking on the SMG work as well. All right, let's see what you got, C. He might just kind of sit it out by Nubox and wait for the plant if required, but it does mean as though Guardian's going to be the man to pick up the mantle on Banana. Look how aggressive he's going. He gets the tag towards Friberg, gets the follow-up towards Exist. That's huge play, but Flamey does fall to Exist's hands. But NIP is still held down here by the bottom of mid. This is going to be a tough round as Na'Vi once again shutting down all avenues of attack.
Friberg is very, very low right now as well. And look at this aggressive positioning. C's up on top of that car as well. Looking for Get Right as well. It's a strange stack that NIP tried to put together, and well, Guardian was still too good for it there, even managing to nab one and getting away. NIP towards mid though as well. You see Get Right will be following up on Alu. Get Right with the bomb in hand now, Zeus. We'll definitely be expecting something like this as well, and NIP must gather their wits, they must gather themselves and make this push now, but here comes Zeus, he's the one pushing, he's looking for Alu, he's going to catch it with his pants down as well, and Get Right responds into that one, trades it up, but it's still 3 players up for Na'Vi, and they're definitely looking towards A2 in wait.
But Edward's flashes were perfect, setting up his teammate then, but can he hold them back any further? He's going to catch Get Right. The molly comes in, going to force Edward to take the challenge here, spots out Friberg, calls for backup, and it's Guardian on the way. And now this should be the close down. Friberg shouldn't be able to get a chance, and he doesn't. It's Edward coming up with the goods, and another shutdown from Na'Vi. And that's going to put them on a, well, almost the match point here, 14-5. Look at this play from Guardian. I absolutely love it. It's just perfect adjustment, expects the push-up. Gets the tag and the frag there. Really well done. And now NIP's economy, pretty damn dire, but they've got to go for something. And it looks up the force up with those Tech 9s, a smoke and a flash.
They all have armor and a helmet as well, so it's just going to be NIP just trying to get that train and take it all the way to the station.
Na'Vi are going wild. Look at this flame. He's straight down there. He knows it as well. He can sit in this position perfectly. But while this happens, NIP tried to make it on B. Stunning
hold there in B, though, as well. Already, Forest was the last man standing. That was a gambit from NIP, investing in that one, and they get nowhere.
15-5. One more round, arguably. NIP needs to turn up right now. Otherwise, this scoreline is going to be halted where it is. And sadly, their T-side won't be tested out. As we're so excited, we are squeaking in our chairs, apparently. But still, Get Right actually going to pick up the AWP here. Hello. All right, he's got the front spawn, so I guess why not? But then Guardian has it all. Is he going to go for the challenge? Where's Get Right taking this one? Just going to be watching out towards CT's, the quad side here. Guardian's going to be going for the challenge as well. But look at this, the 3-stack down Banana. This is a great opportunity for Get Right. Zeus right there as well. Not going to find much, though. And already, Forest and Exist working through the apps.
That's it, see Get Right. Still trying to make that AWP work right now. Hasn't connected too much at all now as Edward can sit back as well. This is what they do. Na'Vi will wait for NIP to push through in Forest. Well, he's looking for an opportunity out from Boiler, but Guardian will be waiting for him. He actually loses the challenge in Forest. Now there's an opening in. Get Right isn't far behind him as well, and Exist will be working through carpets as well. Let's see what they can create as Edward tries to hold down Flaming Zeus doing well. Get Right getting on with the AWP, but then Zeus dropping as well.
What on earth was that? How did he find Zeus then? This man has made the difference. He doesn't have armor. He's running glass cannon, but big stuff from him already. Alu waiting for the crossover from B. Cease is going to be the man running the gauntlet. And Get Right waiting ever so patiently. That's 3 for him. And Flamey, last man alive. That bomb should go down. And this should be NIP, at least for now, keeping the Wolves at bay.
A glint of NIP magic. I don't know if it'll really be enough, though, at this stage. They need a few more than this, of course, as Flamey will just set up shop in mid here and wait this one out. NIP, well, I mean, that would be their first round for this half, so definitely not a moment too soon here as well. Just taking the wind out of Na'Vi's sails as they approach the finish there, and you saw Na'Vi can be aggressive at some points there as well, and Get Right, beautiful work with that all.
Now let's just remind ourselves as well, prior to this 3K that he's got, he would only have had 3 kills. Of course, coming on the reconnect, so doing well after that, but a little bit quiet overall from him, as we do see that round being closed down by NIP, so it will be coming in as 6-15. And Let's see what Na'Vi can do. By now, their economy is certainly well built. They can indeed go for that repurchase, so they're not going to be too worried here. But can NIP do it now once again? Garai going to drop the AWP over towards Alu, it seems. And this is going to be another tough round for these boys. It's never easy for them. And it looks like Na'Vi are ready and waiting.
Alu hoping he can one-up his teammate there after that last round. And Guardian, of course, will be able to secure himself the AWP. That's really what NIP can do now as well. That one worked out, a little bit something special, but is that really repeatable? We'll have to wait and see now as Guardian and Zeus will be looking towards mid. And there's Guardian, a beautiful flick towards Alu, and there's an AWP out of his hands already. And the rest of NIP now having to scratch their heads and think about their next move. And Guardian always, look at him, chomping at the bit. He's always so far forward now, looking for a poke towards mid. As that Molotov does expire, we'll smoke it up though. This might force Forrest through, and he picks him up as well. One hand the grenade, the other one the AWP, the man getting it done.
Sexy CS coming out there from Guardian. What an impact play in this, just denying all presence towards A exist. Maybe fancying his chances here. He's working it out from Boiler, but Guardian, is he going back for more? He's actually going hunting here as well. He's slowly working his way down, but Exist has snuck through. But while this happens, the bomb was on B. Freiburg recovering that. Exist is edging a little further forward, but 3 players now are waiting on that B site. Zeus, Seized, and Flamey. And if they can just hold on long enough so Exist can do some work here, but that's not the case. It's Zeus taking the advantage, going for the play, denying Freiburg and Garai, leaving Exist in a dire situation.
And IP pulling the trigger a little bit early on towards B, and Exist has got a heck of a lot to do. He does get the double, and some hope maybe for NIP, but it is quickly snuffed out. And Na'Vi take that first map, of course, for them between them in the night. 16-5. Wasn't exactly a close one, Lauren.
No, it wasn't. And you saw glimmers of hope there, didn't you? It was every now and then from NIP. You're thinking, God, you know, they were getting a little close in that. But the T side from Na'Vi was formidable. To be able to get onto that sort of marker so early on was more than impressive. I think that's the thing we're going to be seeing maybe coming into Overpass, which of course is the next map between these two. We said at the beginning of the night, statistically speaking, you know, this was the opportunity for NIP. The second map was going to be the uphill struggle.
That's it. So to correct myself, 16-6, as it were, of course, was the final score. And yeah, Overpass is definitely going to be an interesting, a lot of mystery about it when it comes to NIP and that map. We have not seen much from them at all in recent times. And honestly, after their performance here on Inferno, which ostensibly is actually not a terrible map at all for NIP, especially after the way they played it last week, there are definitely some concerns, and I would be concerned if I was them as well moving into this next one. Just general form-wise, because with only one round in that second half, getting completely shut down on both sides of the map.
Now, well, let's remember, though, for Na'Vi, this does mean if they pick up both wins here, that could get them up into 3rd place in the Pro League. So something they'll be certainly aiming towards. But while the teams take a quick second to discuss things over coming in towards their second game of the evening, let's take a quick break so you guys at home can grab a little bit of break on Inferno over there. They had a tough time. Na'Vi's T side was pretty profound. But still, we are into this one, and we are going to get the knife underway here. And let's see what we have in store. Last time, NIP did pick up the knife. I wonder if they can do the same now.
Well, let's have a look here, because Na'Vi would love to start CT. Probably they win 70% of their CT halves. It's one of their best maps for that one, statistically speaking. And it's just Flamey left. There's got a lot of work to do, and it's just not going to be enough. So NIP will have their choice of side here as the knife round goes over to them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of factors here that I want to look at for NIP, and it's a lot of the focus is actually on Alu, a player who's been a little quiet on this map, and then you put in comparison Guardian, who shines on a regular basis. This could be a very curious point. If NIP get the economy built to the standard, we might see that double up coming in. Forrest, of course, picking that one up. I think there may be a little bit of room to play with there, but still, this is a very big focus point for me. But we are getting ourselves prepared for this one, and looking at Na'Vi, we've got the Molly coming out, so this could be a possible hit towards B. Wondering if they've got a different plan for that Molly to be put down, and it looks as though they have. Yeah,
big investments towards utility here, not so much towards armor. There's only 3 players from Na'Vi do have that one right now. Is Get Right. He's going to make his way through connector here. Is Na'Vi going to go with this one here? We do see them, for the most part, just sit back on this one. A few decoys being put out there, and Seized will be over towards B.
The curious part being, well, Freiburg actually pushed out of A originally, and NIP really searching for this one. They don't want to give up the map control. They're falling back now after seeing minimal information to start with, and Gerard's going to get domed here. Zeus with a real easy pickup, just going to be collecting him through those kind of tunnels. in mid. But Na'Vi not really committing anywhere just yet, but there are 4 players on A.
It's a big stack for NIP here towards A. Let's see what Forest can do. Guardian opens up nicely. Forest got 1. It's trading back and forth here for NIP, but they're all bunched on A.
But they've left Seized for Na'Vi on towards B. He's been waiting as that jump-off player, so they might be thinking, all right, guys, we might want to make that play now. We've seen that there's a few players sitting on that A site, but Alu is watching the cross, so they won't be uncontested, and friberg already joining him as well.
Alu was always watching there from Sniper. It's going to be smoke up there, fairly expected. This might force a push from him. It's NIP. I'm just going to wait on this one. friberg, great little shot towards the head of it with the smoke. The Molotov's going to come up in front of him here, and he'll just back up towards red.
But look at the bomb. The bomb is in an awkward predicament. They have recovered it. Seized has that one, and Seized will follow up. It's Seized doing the damage with the Tech-9, leaving just Xizt alive. His position duly noted, but that bomb is off and running towards A. He's going to have to get his Nikes on and get over there as the bomb's going to go down, and they'll be able to set up for this one.
Xizt have to play keep up now. He's looking for one of those Na'Vi players to be sort of hiding in wait for him.
Even a defuse kit, ideally. There we go.
Here we go. All right, so he will be concerned. It won't be the quickest push from there. He will take out Zeus now. It's a 1v1. Seized down to 68 HP. Does have a Tech-9 in hand. Oh, we caught him blindside. And Seized will shut Xizt down.
Excuse me, the 3k for Seized coming through in the end. That Tech-9 investment towards him, well and truly worth it. But NIP trying to be very fluid then on their CT side and bringing it back very close, especially after losing out on Get Right so early on. But friberg shot here. This could have been so much more damaging if that bomb had fallen even closer, but beautiful work from him. If only they'd been able to set up for that, but Alu did get destroyed pretty early on. Nip, though, not going to give up into round 2. Going to go for the armor and the Deagles and the 5-7, see what they can achieve here. And Xizt going to go for a little bit of a pot shot. Not going to find anything. Back away. And all rifles for Na'Vi.
Xizt up on towards Party, looking for something. There's not going to be any obligation here from Na'Vi to push on towards that. Seized awaits friberg there. Fairly passive positioning for him on that side of the map. And now Xizt going to have to duel out with Edward. Edward will be too fast. The Galil will claim the scalp of Xizt. This is going to force more Alu back towards A.
And Na'Vi meticulous in this one. Last time around we saw them utilizing more of the Molotovs to clear out the corners. Not needing it this time. Just playing with those rifles quite slowly. Just checking out every corner. Now, Alu's the one who's waiting here. Get Right could get a little bit of attention from Zeus, who does have the bomb, so you can see Zeus not fancying that challenge too much, waiting maybe for Seized to catch up with him. And now Alu going to be asked a big question here. He does get one. He gets a tag on the second. He can't take down flamie. That could have been massive, but Na'Vi keeping numbers alive, and Forest just kind of, oh, hello, taking down Seized. Of course, friberg did the earlier damage then, but still does recover a rifle. He does have the head armor, and Get Right's still fairly healthy as well, but flamie going hunting early.
A little bit of a, yeah, this is Sparta moment for Forest there. He did manage to nab himself an AK. Going to jump up here on the boost. Great read in towards flamie there. Completely takes him out. And Get Right's only got a 5-7 to work with here as Forest is trying to catch up. Get Right just pulling the trigger a bit early. There was no support, no follow-up from Forest now, and he has to do this all on his own. He'll find the head of Zeus real quick.
He could put the nade out and do the damage here, but where will he find Edward? He's waiting so patiently, and time is against Forest. He can only really do the damage, and Edward says no. Picking up 2 in the end, recovering every little bit of utility, and the round for Na'Vi. NIP's investment does go to waste, but they did at least make it expensive for Na'Vi.
This concerning trend starts to continue, I guess, here for NIP now as they still cannot really buy up in any meaningful manner here. Forest doing well to get some guns away from Na'Vi, but lost it soon after here. The UMP for Guardian. Seized is going to persist with his Tech-9 here, and there's a few nades on Na'Vi, not too many. Let's see what they do with them.
Yeah, Na'Vi once again looking to go very minimal on their utility, looking to maybe just clear the corners, take the fights with the rifles, and why not? Get Right's going to peek out towards Guardian. Going to find him there towards kind of mid. I think he might have even spotted Seized, but Forest just catches the nade with his face. Gonna have to back out, and already so much damage coming towards Nip here. But they have got the stack towards B, and Na'Vi not taking the bomb anywhere near it. They want to find the information first, get the kills, and then think about the plan.
Just softening up NIP at this stage. As she said, they've left that bomb back there, not really pushing for anything significant at this stage. And Get Right forced to try and play whack-a-mole on the other side of that wall with Guardian. But here's a push in. Seized just goes straight through. He gets 2. The man with the Tech-9 doing so much work right now. It's a response from Xizt and Alu to slow up Na'Vi. But they're going to persist on this one as flamie is there as well. He's down towards Canals. He gets his second. And it's just Forest as well. 4 points of health. That's hardly anything, especially with a CZ trying to find flamie. And flamie will get his 3rd.
Even taking down Guardian and Seized, and they weren't even able to recover the, well, the 1 UMP, I guess, and the Tech-9, so they were kind of down to basics. But this is the round coming in, round 4 here on the board. 3 back-to-back for Na'Vi, doing well for themselves. And looking at Na'Vi, waiting to see what they go for. It looks like Seized is just going to go for the rifle onto this one. Quite possibly, but Forrest going in with the glass cannon, so he's the one running that. Now, Alu has been very quiet on this map historically with the AWP, so maybe looking to switch that one up. But let's find out how they put it to use as we are underway.
See Alu and GeT_RiGhT pushing aggressively out towards the middle of the map here, but most of the attention for Na'Vi is towards his B side here, and Seized opens up beautifully. Forrest trying to get a shot through the flames there, but no one's going to show at this stage as Na'Vi now get that one pick, then back up. They slow down the pace a little bit here, as Forrest is still looking in towards those pipes. And GeT_RiGhT does have Connector here. He's going to have a couple players challenged in just a sec. Edward looking in towards that corner. He's not looking right, but Zeus was there as well. 2 players well spent from Na'Vi to set up in the middle, and they have a lot of control now through that mid and Connector.
Yeah, Forrest is at least locking down one of the directions. Does get the shot towards Flamey, but that's certainly not all done and dusted just yet. That bomb still fairly close by. Let's see if he can pull off something admirable here to save NIP out of this round. Going to be tough as NIP going to have to wait for Na'Vi. They slow down the pace, look for any lack of discipline not being shown. There's Alu just waiting it out as well. This is going to be a tough one for NIP if they want to try and turn the tides here, as Forrest does go looking, but Na'Vi giving them nothing.
Na'Vi showing a lot of respect to NIP here and just delivering these precision strikes in short flurries, and now they sit back a bit more. Here's Alu up in towards the toilets here. Looks like I think one of the players got past him there as well, heading down in towards that B area, and it's just Alu here as well. I mean, he's lucky to get out alive now. He's sitting back. He might try and get an exit here as Edward will show himself. Goes down, bomb down as well though. Now Alu, well, he's pretty much given away his position there. Moves through construction out towards canals now. What can the man do from here, realistically?
Well, he's certainly going for it. There's no two ways about that, but they are set up well for this, already waiting to receive. Zeus is going to be on the receiving end there, finds that one, but not more to be found. Seas will shut it down, and Na'Vi keeping it clean so far, losing out on 3 players then, but still closing out the round, getting the plant in, and that's all they need. They can recover these rifles. There's already 6k built on Zeus. He's fairly well comforted, and looking at NIP, their economy's once again not great.
Na'Vi are constantly varying the pace here as well. It seems like NIP are really struggling to adjust. It's putting him on edge, giving you some jitters here. They really can't find their rhythm.
The one thing that really stands out to me is how little NIP have been able to kind of, I guess, to render useless the play towards B. Na'Vi have been constantly pressuring that. They've been constantly putting pressure there, and it's been working out. Now, it looks like they've gone for the stack towards maybe this more A side of thing towards long. But still, Na'Vi have those mollies they can put into the corners. They have the utility to work with and exist. Now realizing they're going to have to find some form with the CZ. Good work from Forrest with the P250, but it's Na'Vi just bulldozering them down, and you can't say much more than that. They are being very clinical with this, fairly crisp as well, only losing out on Edward.
Okay, right now we'll just be backtracking it over towards A here. How much can he really do here with the P250? He can get Guardian. He's looking for a second as well. Flamey went so low, but GeT_RiGhT had to reload, had to back away now in towards these toilets. And Flamey, bomb is down, not planted yet, it is loose. Na'Vi might just vary the pace here to get GeT_RiGhT going big on towards Zeus. He's on his own now, but he's got himself an AK. Molly's going to take him a little bit low, but there's Seas just around the corner and will catch GeT_RiGhT as the net was closed.
Yeah, Flamey and Seized pushing GeT_RiGhT from pillar to post, but the danger one man can possess with that P250. Certainly something to be noted, but still, what a start coming out from Seized. Already racking up the kills to begin with. We are seeing the double AWP though. That's what I was looking forward to seeing with NIP. It's a factor when it comes on towards Dust for them, so maybe they can do something with it. Ali with a good spawn here, might go for the early challenge down by Party. But still, that's not where Na'Vi's attention is going to be put towards sending 3 players towards B.
Again, making that push. Alu wants to come forward in mid as well. He's not going to find too much for the moment now. Forrest does have a good bird's eye view. He sees the movements of Na'Vi over towards this one now, and Edward opens up the account on towards Exist. Frybird can hold for the moment near Sandbags, but Guardian, there he is. This aggressive, this forward positioning all the way up and towards Canals here. And NIP have been silenced well and truly now as Alu drops towards mid, and there's just 2 players. It's GeT_RiGhT, and it's Frybird with a heck of a lot to do.
Yeah, GeT_RiGhT's in a bit of a predicament as well. Freiburg's so low, there's going to be an extraordinarily tough one to turn the tide of, as it looks as though NIP are really struggling to keep this one together, as Na'Vi winning out on all these duels. Guardian going to make it even worse, as they will lose out on GeT_RiGhT in that bomb. Now quickly hot-tailing it over towards A, as Zeus will be spraying in towards that smoke, and I think he might be able to connect this. No, Freiburg makes it away on, well, 8 HP.
Again, NIP, this is the umpteenth time tonight that I've seen them in this position with only 1 player to work with here to do so much. They put so much expectation, or they're forced, I guess, to rely on this last player left at the end of the round, because Na'Vi are so clinical and they're so effective trading early on in the round and towards these bomb sites, and NIP fall in the hole 0-6.
Yeah, and this kind of speaks volumes to what we were discussing earlier on, the fact that in 2015, as a whole, NIP have only played this map 9 times, pretty much. And then you look at Na'Vi, 52 times. They are truly veterans at this map, and already this T side looking this formidable. It's not a great sign for any NIP fans at this point. It's kind of holding true to what we expected, but Nip going to try and make a play out of this one with those pistols. Good little deep flash comes out. Get right, going to have the chance to once again utilize that P250. And we are going to see 2 kills actually for Nip to start off with here, but Flamey going to be lining him up and dropping him down as already gaining some control on long.
Flamey will follow up on that flash in a moment as Xizt is forced back in towards those toilets. Only 1 AK here for NIP. Yeah,
and that's going to be on friberg. He does have the head armor, so at least recovering one of the lost rifles from the Na'Vi side.
Zeus also looking towards mid, asking the question of Xizt in a moment. The flash was out there. He's going to take a little bit of a beating, but he'll be alright to back away as Flamey can follow up from long. He'll work his way down there as well as Forest with the CZ wants to try and close the gap, get some close angles and do some damage. Trying to take the wind out of Na'Vi's sails here, but there's a heck of a lot of smoke. Forest does spot Zeus, just a clinical tap towards the head will be enough to take him out. He wants the AK, but Guardian says no, and it's just friberg now to hold on towards the side. Flamey went down, and we have the 1v1.
Guardian's already trying to get towards B. It's the race towards the bomb site, and it looks like friberg's going to hit the brakes a little earlier. Not give away the game, because Guardian was looking for the shot then. Bomb going to go down. friberg's heard that, but Guardian's going to have a chance for a flash and a shot, and flash comes over. friberg did turn it, and there we go. friberg closing down the 1v1. Big play from him. Recovering that rifle was absolutely imperative towards NIP finally getting around on the board. But Na'Vi, at the end of the day, still looking on point here. They can still repurchase into next round, but at least friberg will recover the rifle and save a little bit of face here.
It was friberg again, and being in a position where he had to clutch to win the round. And we actually have a similar situation to what we saw on Inferno. Na'Vi with a lot of rounds early. NIP throw caution to the wind, go for something different, and yeah, they can get a result out of it here, but they're not winning out on their default play at all here on the CT side, and they can't mix it up forever. Na'Vi are eventually going to read into their play and come up with something. So NIP just need to dot their I's, need to cross their T's.
All right. Back in we go. Xizt going to be on Overwatch here. Oh my god, the timing on that is absolutely unreal, but Forest has a chance.
Oh, Forest looking for one, but Edward's going to shut him down early. There goes Xizt as well. Edward, give him an inch and he'll take a mile. There's his third for the round. friberg drops right on down, and NIP is still struggling to understand what just happened to them. They're trying to hot-foot it over towards this B side here, but the bomb is already down. Alu finds Zeus. Edward's pushed up here towards red. NIP, jeez. Got to be wondering what the heck just happened there as well. Completely being shattered, breaking like waves on rock, and it's up to Alu and Get Right to make something of this disaster.
And NIP just disintegrating under the pressure coming from Edward then. A man who can walk into a site like that and just crack it open is something to be absolutely revered. But still, you've got to feel a little for Xizt at the start of that round. If only he'd not fallen off the boost, he would have had the drop towards at least 1. But that's not the point here. Na'Vi once again picking up the round 7-1. Just extending this lead, and NIP just looking a little shoddy in this. And it's all of Na'Vi. Sure, Xizt is leading the fray, but you're seeing moments from Edward. You're seeing Guardian have big plays. Everyone's finding their form here, and for Nip, they're just not getting it done.
I call this how to force a 2-gun save in under 10 seconds. Completely dismantling NIP's defensive setup over on B now, and all they had to be sit back on that B passive. Alu still has the AWP to work with. friberg's just down to that 5-7 now, and Guardian going to be pushing out, looking for the first peak, but Alu is there. Not the first time that he's managed to get the better of Guardian in those head-to-heads, and he will head straight down in towards Connector, but Zeus will be close. Can he get on towards him with a shot? Zeus will get rid of him there as well, not taking any damage at all.
Yeah, Na'Vi this time being a little more cautious, not so headstrong towards these sites, it seems, as friberg's could be the one waiting only with that 5-7. He does have the molly and a flash, so he can do something here, but Xizt is being very cautious, and that nade going to make it even easier now. They go for this play, so slowing things down. Na'Vi wanting to know what they're up against, and it is going to be that double stack towards the toilets there. It's Get Right, I believe, Forest waiting for this one. Eyes trained here. It's going to be Flaming. Flaming actually avoids it. Going to be heading up towards along Edward as well, kind of negating the presence in the bathroom areas. Xizt once again hopping up and over, but Forest is the one to find Edward. But it's a straight trade out, 1-for-1.
Xizt now up on top of those sandbags. Forest has moved out of toilets, and Flamey is just, well, he's taken care of him very easily. And friberg must be getting a little bit sick of this particular situation here. And to be fair, the least well-armed member of NIP now left to do a heck of a lot of work. It's 3 AKs to deal with as well, and there's plenty of nades left for Na'Vi. They can lock friberg out of this A side if they try and work towards it here. But B will actually be the option for them now. It's forced a rotation from friberg, and well, he's going to get caught with his pants down.
Yeah, he'll be real lucky to pick up something here. He's waiting on the push through, so maybe just trying to get a rifle, and he will at least do that, but Obviously, with the time running so low, he knows the bomb is nowhere near towards A, but he does have the AK, he does have head armor, he can do a little something. I'm wondering if he's going for this. He does have the defuse kit. Gonna try and clear out close. But Na'Vi not giving him anything, and already I believe that's gonna be Seized watching his push out if he does go for this.
So he's just hanging around the corner here as well. He knows exactly what's happening. He knew friberg would come towards him in that way as well. Na'Vi had so many options for just sitting back and canvassing that site that friberg knew he was always going to be walking to some kind of setup.
Yeah, and you've got to feel for NIP in this one. Once again, money's absolutely shattered. And, well, for Na'Vi, they're just rolling now. It's simple as that. They've got the wind in their sails. They've picked up map 1. And bear in mind, this will put them up into 3rd place in the Pro League, assuming nothing else affects the score, which can happen. Of course, we are going to be seeing Fnatic and TSM later, but those two not able to be caught up on at the moment. They are certainly leading the fray. But back into this one, NIP... economy ruined. C's going for the spray through just in case friberg did fancy pushing up again. He does eventually do it after the spray, but Na'Vi taking their rifles towards long, looking to find NIP if they are waiting in these corners. There's 3 players, make it 4 as Zeus is at party, looking toward A.
Alu said to hold that angle with nothing but a P250 as well. And Na'Vi surely will go towards this one. And Alu knows that he can't really afford to actually poke long and try and shut them down. And this will force a rotation in from Exist as well. Sometimes no information is a lot of information now. You see a set play come in towards this, the smoke goes up.
Yeah, Forest and friberg did start pushing out B, so they know this is more than likely going to hit A unless it's a late rotate. But Alu trying to wait on the side of the smoke, predicting the flash to come in. Smokes are there, but Na'Vi's actually not committed to this just yet. Let's remember that. Keep your eyes on that mini-map. It's going to be Guardian just catching Alu out, standing in the smoke, or at least as it dissipated, as now Na'Vi are committing, but round the back is Forest, trying to catch him up, but let's see if NIP can hold them back. Exist does find Guardian. Zeus quickly avenges, but Forest now closing in on his prey, but he needs to be cautious, he needs to be potent, and he needs to get the job done. No rifles to be found, but he will at least find Zeus, but there's still so much to be done.
Forest is playing it very, very cannily right now around the corner, but again, NIP, these last 20, 30 seconds in a round, 9 times out of 10, they're at a player deficit, and it's a big one. It's a 1v3, it's a 1v4, it's a 1v2 even. And they put so much difficulty, I guess, on their shoulders now. You can see, it's just not easy, even for one of the best players as well. I mean, like friberg being put in this situation 1v3 at the end of so many of these rounds, it's just not realistic. NIP are trading so ineffectively here, especially early to mid-round, to put themselves at a massive disadvantage.
Okay, so they're going to try and switch up. Forest and Gerai are pushing up a little further this time towards the toilets, and you can see Nip trying to switch up the pace, trying to take the fight and deny map control, but already Zeus, I'm pretty sure he noted that door was open and Gerai was standing right in between it, and now Forest continuing this form, trying to get aggressive, but Na'Vi's just waiting back, saying, "Oh, hey, if this is what you think's a good idea, we'll just wait for you." Seized is going to have the perfect lineup towards Forest, and it's looking like Na'Vi are reading NIP like a book.
NIP are trying to be proactive, they're trying to be aggressive, but Seized is always being used as a pivot in these rounds as well. He often sits back on this one, he'll always be the last to sort of push through, and it's a great stopgap as well if NIP try and get cheeky and go for some form of flank, but now Exist in friberg, they've got A. Alu was sort of sitting in towards mid here, and the bomb is slowly but surely creeping its way towards B.
Yeah, and Alu's going to try and adjust off the back of it. I'm not sure if Seized was close enough to hear that. He might have done, but Alu actually giving it all up and heading around. He might be going towards the kind of crow's nest, but no, turns tail. He realizes what's going on now. Zeus and Seized are already very close towards B, and the fire's coming in. Alu's going to have to take the challenge, but those mollies going to make it hard.
Oh my god, 2 mollies on top of him as well. There's nothing he could do, and Exist is trying to lend his force, but it's just friberg up in sniper now as well, just trying to play shooting ducks. And he is the sitting duck as Seized picks him up, and that is 10-1 in scoreline here. NIP, we were all hoping here to be able to salvage something after that last map and come out strong, but this has been a very underwhelming performance from them over both these maps tonight.
Yeah, I think we can all agree this is not the Nip that we wanted to see turning up today, but I think on the other side of things, to flip the coin over, Edward has been having a massive game, especially towards B. Whenever he goes there, he's just been able to be absolutely perfect on it, and already the set smoke's going to come out to play from Na'Vi. You can see the setup here, Molly down towards that kind of place where friberg's been pushing out to try and get the early information, and Na'Vi looking like they're going towards brute force this time. Forest already going to be caught out by Flamey there, but NIP have so little to work with.
That's right, and on the other side, Na'Vi have so much to use, so much utility. They hardly even need to walk into this site to neutralize the NIP presence there. And Alu, just Alu now with it all to do. He will find Flamey, but it's a very short spark of hope before Guardian snuffs him out.
And moment after moment, Na'Vi just starting to get more and more confident as well. Okay. Okay, all right, Nip. I get it. We get it. So the firing squad's come back. Immortalized on Dust 2. Now, Overpass. All right, let's see how this goes. We've got the 5 AWP presence. Brand new style coming out from Nip. Geralt did well. He picked up the 3K last time he did this on the last map, but Na'Vi waiting it back, just kind of waiting like, what the hell are they bringing to this round? Exist holding long. Edward was fairly close towards that as well, so this is going to be interesting. NIP, I guess if nothing else is working, you've got to switch it up somehow.
Credit to Na'Vi there. They're actually not really pushing into this one at all. They've played the first bit of the round quite slowly here. Exist is watching a very tight angle. He wants to thread the needle on this one, but here comes the step playing towards long. He will take down Seas, but can he get any more? Shots are coming in towards him. He's using the tree for some cover. Alu gets involved. Exist with his second there as well. Can he find Guardian? No. He will be shut down by 4 AWPs and 4 players on the map for NIP. Gives him a lot of room to breathe. And Guardian looking for the shot. He's down towards 2 HP, and Ali will finish him off with a pistol to add insult to injury. And Zeus is sitting there wondering, well, okay, oops, fine, let's see what we can do. Ali will drop. Bomb is in his hands now. The 3 players and 3 AWPs to contest with. It's going to have to be a superhuman effort, and Forest will put him to bed.
I'll never doubt it, you know what I mean? Like, what's the point in doubting this these days with NIP? Are they going to go back to it? I don't know if they even can, really, at this point. They're going to drop some out. Let's see, we've got the M4 with Alu. So Alu, the main AWPer, I guess you could say, is going to be on the M4. And we're going to see Get Right, Exist, and Forest picking up the AWPs. All right, let's see it again. Why not? Why not? It's the second round they've got, so... You know, I'm done. I'm done, boys. I'm done. Anyway, here we go. Na'Vi going to switch things up, going to try and adjust around. And Guardian showing him how it's done. Going to find Geralt pretty much instantaneously as friberg forced to commit that smoke fairly early on, create that small gap to watch as Forest lingers down. That's the shot fly. Alu, though, does at least get a kill this time with the M4.
All right, Forest, though, will pick up Seas now, looking through the pipe. He knows Flame is on the other side. He's going to try and smoke himself away from this one here. Does he just sit there and wait? Well, we'll back up a little bit now as Edward gets rid of friberg here. 2 AWPs left, and Forest and Exist, and they're both very, very low. Edward past Sandbags, looking for Exist just on the other side of that pillar. 1 shot was not enough for Exist to take him down, but Edward, there's Forest though. He's chiming in. Here's Flamey though, straight towards the head, but Exist will shut him down, and the AWPs still kind of working. And I say kind of... They're still kind of working. They're kind
of working, you know what I mean? Like, maybe Exist should just become the main AWPer, and then maybe Forest and Get Right as well. Like, maybe Alu just needs to stop AWPing. Like, maybe that's the difference. Who knows? He's not having a bad performance overall. It's certainly not his best, but he's doing just fine. It's just, you know, we're going to see it now on the other side as well. So, Edward, Zeus, and Seized going to be running the AWPs as well. What is going on in this game? All right, so Alu's going to be up against 2 here, and, well, funny enough, Edward's going to win that one as Forest now goes hunting again. Little does he know they're going to be waiting for him. That's Flamey and Seized there. Get Right going to be looking towards a little bit of a party with Guardian, but Guardian ever so cautiously tries to take the peak, but Get Right gets it.
His 3rd frag of the match here, and you can see Na'Vi happy to oblige with the AWP off, having 3 of their own.
Zeus and Get Right again pretty close as well. I wonder if Zeus can find a little bit of form here with the AWP too.
Well, he's going to be looking for a connector. Can he find it? Get Right just gets crumpled in a heap as the door opens. And Zeus now looking for his next victim here, as Exist is playing very passively around that corner there as well. But Zeus, oh, I think he's shown some patience here. We'll have to see now, as this is just a Mexican standoff.
Right?
There's tumbleweed in the distance. There's the whistling sound. And let's see who has the quicker draw here. Zeus might get bored of waiting here. And actually, Exist gets taken a little bit low by that nade. Going to smoke his retreat and back off onto the side.
I don't know what to say anymore. Guardian was with the rifle as well in that round, which is the best part. But all right, friberg's still doing what he does. There we go. So the M4A4 with him being the last bastion of hope for Nip on the A site, whereas Exist and Forest still lurking their way around B, making sure there's no easy jump off. But with 20 seconds left, they're going to have to commit soon. friberg just out of the reach of that molly. Going to commit on the side of it. He's going to catch out Seas. Gets down 1. Can't connect the spray on the second. And Exist missing the shot this time. Missing the follow-up. And Flamey's not going to fall for that. As Forest now in a 1v3. And a couple of seconds until that bomb goes down. Let's see what he can do here.
This town ain't big enough for the 2 of us, says Forest, as he's going to be hunting now. Of course, there's still 3 Na'Vi players to deal with. Let's see if he can have a bit more luck than Exist did. Just going to miss that one as well. It's pretty much given away his position there, and Edward will shut him down. And the AWP dream is dead. Halftime brings 12-3 for Na'Vi. That is a massive lead, and NIP must regain something. They must regain some composure, maybe some logic when it comes to purchasing weapons as well here. It's now or never.
I'm not going to lie, though. I love seeing Edward picking up the AWP. He did get the 3K in the end as well, so... It's kind of sexy CS from Edward at this point. He's shown how it's done, and even in those final rounds, yeah, sure, they were kind of playing a little light, let's just say. It's still a great performance from Na'Vi. Their T-side has been really impressive, not just in this map, but the one prior as well. And Nip, at least in warm-up, are getting kills.
It's pretty ironic, actually, because I brought up at the start of the game that Na'Vi's CT halves are actually one of their selling points on this map, winning 70% of them. But last week as well, we actually saw a similar situation where both they and Na'Vi, they and Titan had strong T halves. Yeah. It was just Titan with the strongest CT to finish it off. So 3 rounds here, pistol means pretty much everything. Now, as we see if NIP can keep themselves in this one, hanging on the precipice of a second defeat in a row to Na'Vi, who are looking hot to trot.
NIP, what are you going to go for first round now? All Julies? No. Okay, I was kind of hoping the Julies would come out. I know Get Right is sometimes a little favourable to it, but they are going into this as you'd maybe expect. We see the Glock train coming out for everyone barring Freiburg, who still of course has the Glock, but maybe going for the utility just to put the smoke and the flash into practice. But still, Guardian going to head straight out. Look for this one, and it looks like the flash should be put down in place. We're going to see a big exchange at the beginning. Already Forest coming out on top, but Edward going to reply well.
Brilliant play from him so far tonight. That play was no different there. Flamey actually quickly takes the head off. Alu Edward now looking for one himself. NIP are crumbling under the pressure, but Get Right keeps him in this just. The finger is hanging over the edge of the cliff now. As Edward drops, 3 players left. Zeus will go down as well with 2v2, and Flamey is overrun by existing Get Right pushing forward. Now Guardian with it all to do. 1v2 situation. He's shaving health off Get Right, but Exist will find his cranium.
Yeah, Exist on the swing out in the end, picking up 3. And maybe there's a little bit of silver lining here for Nip, but it's a long way back. Don't do this to me again. Don't do a Dust 2 again, NIP, please. Please, I pray to you. But still, let's see what they purchase here. 2 MAC-10s, a rifle for Get Right, 3 MAC-10s. Is this what you fancy? He's going for the rifle. Okay, so 2 rifles, 3 SMGs. On the other side of the board, we got the Deagles coming out. They're going to line up with these? I'm kind of hoping they are. That's a lot of damage to be come down. All right. So a 3-2 split, but all towards B. NIP could be in trouble here. This could be quite deadly.
Flamey now will be the one to set up here as well. Zeus actually pushing with this one. Oh, Forest haven't seen. He's looking for a second as well, but Freiburg will be able to send it back now. But Seized as well takes down that injured player from NIP. 3 on 3. Seized just tries to back up a little bit here. Flamey looking left, right, and center. Not really sure where to aim at this point as Get Right is in those pipes. Ali moving forward with the MAC-10, gets one. Get Right, good timing on towards Flamey there to pick him up. And now it's just Seized as well with his own MAC-10. The Deagle comes out as well, but it's not enough. And if last round was mandatory for NIP, this one probably was as well. They got to take it piece by piece here, getting 2 in a row. Not too shabby, but we'll wait and see what happens in the bye.
Yeah, exactly. Retaining 2 rifles there, very important as well for Nip. Only losing out on the MAC-10s, but still, Na'Vi doing a little bit of damage, not making it easy for Nip to start building up the economy and maybe looking for an early double AWP on the T side. Not going to be happening all that soon, unless this round does become a little bit of a feed fest. But Na'Vi going for the 5-man stack again. We're going to see the push down long. Alu's going to be the one to be receiving, I can imagine, if he gets an inkling as to where they are.
Ali now. This could be dangerous. He's going to run into a heck of a lot of players if he's not careful. He's just going to take his time and panic for a second. He doesn't hear anything as the bomb's down, so this is definitely going to make you raise your eyebrow. But he does finally see some Na'Vi players. He takes down 1, he takes down 2. But Zeus is there, and this stack from Na'Vi not yielding too much now as the bomb is down, and they've got a bit of running to do.
Maybe just trying to find the guys with rifles. If they were working towards A, it'd be more than likely on long with them, but no such luck. Just finding the Mac Daddy. Flame's going to pick that one up. And the 1-for-1 trade coming out there. Zeus will close down Freiburg, but still 2 rifles kept alive. Forest is waiting on the other side of that door, and both players are up here. This could be dangerous. He does pre-fire down towards Zeus and knows they are. Second, we're waiting. Nice work from Forest then, and denying any sort of guns being kept over. And a good bit of bank being built up by Forest as well, so he could get the AWP into this round if he fancies it. And it looks like Ali will go for it, and Forest. So the double AWP coming out now, as they did make so much bank with those SMGs. And we're going to see Guardian trying to stop them on the other side.
See how this one comes into play. It's not 5 AWPs, that's for sure, and that's, to be honest, is where most of NIP's success has been coming from so far. Maybe this is the happy medium, as it were, for those ones, and they can put a few more rounds together now, as for the most part the split is a 2 and 3 again. A lot of players towards B here for Na'Vi, almost a bit of a stack now. Let's see if they can set something up here as Guardian dashes across. He does, I think, see Forest leaves in the corner.
Yeah, Zeus and Flamey are being real aggressive with this, and then Guardian's already waiting for it. 1 centimeter further, he's going to find Forest, catch him off guard, remove the AWP out of presence, and I like this from Na'Vi, taking over the map but not pushing too far just yet, keeping NIP guessing and buying so much time now as Freiburg with the bomb. bomb. Going to have to be very cautious here to not lose that one, but Edward's going to find Exist. And now 3 players left for NiP.
This is not the buy that NIP were hoping for at all. friberg can't even go for the drop door or anything like that. And there's flamie takes down Get Right. Na'Vi have great control of construction and, by extension, the middle of the map. Through that connector, and friberg and alu have been herded now out towards those canals. Zeus will be lying in wait with Edward in construction. Na'Vi have a heck of a lot of control of this site, and alu just have to throw them... NIP, with alu, of course, have to throw themselves at this and see what sticks.
Well, at least alu's going to find the first, but I'm wondering if flamie's going to take the angle on this, try and swing out here. Flash comes out, doesn't catch him, and Zeus already positioning on towards short. He's going to find alu real easy, and it's just friberg left, and his position duly noted. Zeus will be there with a close down, and Na'Vi take another step to a 2-0 victory over NIP tonight.
And NIP fall not with a battle cry, but with a whimper here. It's been a subdued outing from them, to say the very least here tonight. And Na'Vi in such a commanding position right now as well. Last game, scoreline was 16-6, and this is heading in a similar direction right now. There's still some AKs being brought up for NIP. They've got themselves some nades as well. Forest, though, having to resort to just the Deagle.
Yeah, and Na'Vi going for the straight-up play there. Once again, trying to take over map control. This time towards A, though, pushing straight up towards Party in the Fountain. Peeking down, that's going to be Guardian leering on towards NiP. Not going to be connecting these shots, though. Seized, saving the day.
Oh, the double there coming out from Na'Vi. Season Zeus getting something there. flamie pushing forward. They're aggressive. They're not giving NIP any time to set up. No time to make a set play. Edward had the Mag 7. He's been able to trade that away now after picking up friberg. And Get Right will get the spray down. He's been the quietest for NIP tonight. He's looking for a little bit of magic there, but the smoke will obscure most of those Na'Vi players, and he must change tact here.
And the bomb feeling as though a mile away at this point. Guardian holding that one very close by, and Get Right desperately looking for a route here, an option available, but so many angles locked down by Na'Vi. Even Edward predicting that Get Right will be going on the long rotate here. Going to kind of fool Guardian a little close towards the bomb. Zeus is pushing up as well, and it's Edward to close it down. This is Na'Vi looking very, very good, very strong, just clinically done. That's the thing. Whether it's the play towards A, pushing up a little further, B, pushing up a little further, it's all looking good, and this should be 15-6. As NIP's economy is in tatters, down to around 2k. We're going to see the Tech-9 purchase. They're going to go for this one. They're going to do whatever they can to deny that 15th round towards Na'Vi, but it looks almost inevitable if it keeps going this way, but let's see if NiP can pull themselves back in here.
Well, it looks like it's a bit of a stack towards B for them for the most part here, the Tech-9 train. Let's see if it can have the intended impact now. As Seas has the Molotov ready, you can see the flashes coming over on towards that B side as well, and NIP just waiting in the wings here, ready to flat out as a whole. But look at the setup here. Seas and Zeus, Edward's there as well. Molotov will go down, smoke will obscure NIP as they push across here, but now it's time for Na'Vi to get involved.
NiP have at least brought the site a little closer than usual, but Edward just kicking it back real calm. Finds Get Right, the bomb yet to go down in the hands of alu. Forest going to find Seas though, 3v3 here. Edward gets mowed down too. Forest wants to take matters into his own hands. He's had enough of this. He's going to get a rifle. alu gets a gun as well. There's friberg left on the Tech-9, but Guardian tries to peer in, gets denied by Forest as well. 3 for him on the board, and flamie, last man standing, keeping that pace real high for NiP here in this game, or at least in this round, should I say, does turn the tide, but it seems to what end? Can they then pull that in towards a gun round is the next big hurdle.
Well, it's clear to see the flamie presents himself, but he's not able to finish. And Na'Vi taken out in that one round there, and one of the more convincing rounds we've seen from NIP, and it all started ironically from that Tech-9 force straight on into that B site. They can't do it with proper guns, but I mean they were coming from such unexpected angles here on towards Na'Vi, they just didn't know how to react. Yeah,
and I actually quite like the way NiP did it, was just kind of making that site way closer range than normally. It's just smoking off so many angles, pulling Na'Vi into closer fights where that Tech-9 can flourish, and of course Forest giving us the masterclass in that, and he once again looks to go pretty fast here, just going to be doing those early flashes, but this time Guardian and Zeus going in for the early challenge. Flashes come out, this could be dangerous.
Well, Zeus is pushed aggressively again, he's looking towards Forest, the doors open up towards his right, he flicks across, he doesn't able to find Exist, and Exist gets 2 for that one, it's a trade. flamie now, only got the 5-7 of is enough to take down Get Right. alu responds in with the AWP, but the 2v2 here, and this is Na'Vi coming in, well, not as armed as NIP, and they've managed to even the ledger.
But Edward has been that raid boss on that B site. He's waiting patiently on the site itself, peering through. Flash comes out for him. I think he just caught a glimpse of alu then, just the shoulder, but it's not enough. alu connects with the AWP, leaving Seas now in the 1v2. 50 seconds remaining on the board. NIP can drag this round wherever they want to, and it looks as though A is the intended site.
There is potential here for Seas to pull something brilliant out as well.
Oh.
They tried to sell the fake at
They
A.
have.
And it's worked. Seas has got himself way up towards Bank here, and he'll be scuttling now once he realises what's happening over towards B. And it's a redundant flash being thrown over there by an IP just to set things up. And the bomb will go down. They have great cover as well. Alu with the orb looking towards Sniper. Where does Seas go?
Bomb's down. Alu should be able to get this. And Exist is just going to wait for the defuse if required. Alu's going to see the shoulder, and that's all he needed. Nicely done by Alu to close out those 2 kills that were important ones. Not only the last one there, but the one prior towards Edward. And now that has put Na'Vi in a bit of a, a little bit of a shoddier place. Not able to get the purchase going here, but we're going to see the P250s and Nade coming out. And it does seem as though Nip are at least going to get a better scoreline than the first map, which is quite surprising considering the history here.
Absolutely. The double orb actually working out reasonably well for them here as well. But between Exist and Alu, that was 4 kills in that last round. Those two doing some serious work to close it out. And here we go. We only got a couple grenades here for Na'Vi. No armor to speak of here, and just the old pistols. Get right now. Has a P90 in hand. He'd love to put this to good use, and he does. Zeus crumples in a heap as he makes his way in towards Sandbags as well. Ooh, a bit of a dink towards the man as he throws a smoke in the grenade to follow. Clever from Guardian to get that scalp.
Oh, I bet Gerard's so annoyed at that. Just, you could have a smile, I guess, at that point. But Freiburg trying to ward them off from the P90, spraying in with the AK here. But even with that in mind, NIP are going to have to play this one fairly cautiously. Edward has recovered the P90, so has a little bit of bite to his bark on that B site if they do decide to hit it still. But NIP being very cautious about this. They don't have the mollies to clear out the corners just yet. We are going to see that boost coming in towards mid. Edward leering over the top. Not going to see anything just yet. That may encourage him to go over towards A, but NIP are still waiting by B.
Freiburg heard the drop there as well from Edward, so he knows that there were a few players there, and still NIP want to force the envelope here on towards B. It's Exist in Forest, and Freiburg making his way through on towards Sandbags. It's essentially an unattended B site for Na'Vi. They stack A. And to what end? How will they rotate onto this one quickly enough as Exist creeping his way ever closer towards that B site? Forest will, of course, hold from Pit with the AWP. And Na'Vi, none the wiser.
Nice stuff from Nip, playing that one slow, and good work from Forest, just turning around, finding C's real fast. As this should be a clean round for Nip. They shouldn't lose out on too much, because as you noted, Na'Vi are so far out of this retake that it just shouldn't be possible. At no means should they be able to close it back in. So maybe trying to find some exits, I can imagine, try and catch a couple of the NIP guys on the way through. But bearing in mind, Na'Vi didn't have much to play with in this one. They did at least get down Get Right. If they find any more, that'd be a real bonus.
Well, if anyone can, Edward had the P90. Guardian also going hunting here through Connector. They try and peek out the door and find something quickly. Exist will be there though as well, trying to bait that one, jumping across. And there was another round coming up here for NIP, but the caveat, of course, is that Na'Vi should be able to buy themselves a little bit here, at least in part. Some AKs surely will be coming out here. It's a man 4. FAMAS being bought, so they are going for a little bit of a force up here.
Yeah, so 2 FAMASes. Zeus could be the one to pick up the P90, wondering where he'll take that, as Edward fancies the FAMAS instead. And on the other side of things, of course, the double AWP still in practice by Alu and Forest. We're going to see a lot of mollies coming out to play as well. Exist, Freiburg and Get Right going to be picking those ones up, looking to see where they put them down. But once again, kind of vacating A here for Na'Vi. They're putting a lot of strain towards getting control on B, and NIP are just slowing things really quite far down. Trying to get these early picks, trying to just remind Na'Vi to, you've got to take us quite seriously here. You can't take all these challenges, and now Seized is a little caught there. If Forrest had stayed out on that pick, he could have maybe caught someone out here, but Seized does make it way alive, and NIP slowly gaining ground.
Just now, bit of Na'Vi-esque play coming out from NIP as they slow the pace down. The bomb is still left back in towards the tunnels here, and Get Right will be pushing up a little bit, but it doesn't seem like, there's no real proclivity for Ninjas to favour away any one bomb site yet. But there comes Exist as well, working his way out through Connector, just looking for something, a bit of wallbang, softening up Na'Vi before they try and go for the throat here. Na'Vi would love to clutch this one away from Grey Molotov from Exist. That's going to force a change of position from Zeus. Guardian now down in towards that pit behind the pillar. And still, NIP sitting back on this one. 35 seconds left in the round.
It's a real shame they didn't work off the back of that. Now Get Right is going to be starting to come in. You can see those smokes put down. This worked when they had Tech9's Guardian. Again, going to be forced down into the crosshairs of Get Right, and NIP taking control of this bomb site.
Excellent Molotov there as well. Going to force change of position from Guardian. Freiburg finds ahead of Zeus, and it's just Flamey and Seized. There's a lot of work to do. It might be a 2-gun save here from these two. They want to keep their economy fairly healthy heading into these last few rounds. And NIP have managed to bring back 4 rounds now in a row.
Yeah.
And again, I say this frequently tonight, but better late than never.
The thing is that NIP's play towards B, that execute is quite impressive, and they've had to slow down the pace so they don't lose out on those early trades that Na'Vi were capitalizing on. But now Na'Vi kind of struggling a little bit to deal with it, but then they have the chance to switch up here. They are on 14 rounds, but it does seem as though Flamey and Seized should be able to retain this, unless Exist gets a little closer. Get right there along with him as well. Oh, and Exist will find Flamey. And I'm wondering if Seized is going to make it out alive. He's got Friberg coming around, but no, Friberg can't get him down in time, and the AWP will be saved.
Most important gun there being preserved, at least for Na'Vi here. Guardian may well pick it up again, I think, and see what he can actually achieve with that one. Again, this double AWP setup has been paying dividends for NIP right now. It definitely seems like they've managed to find their own flow a little bit here and put a few more rounds together. But one slip will mean curtains, especially if Na'Vi can capitalize on it here. Seized actually keeping the AWP here as the rest of his team goes for a bit of a save. Aggressive push, and Ali not really showing his dome yet as well. Seized, though, looking for it, and he will get taken out. Ali doing well on these ones here. Oftentimes, Na'Vi looking to go 1v1 against him, and he seems to get the better of his opposite number most times.
Yeah, really, really good start for NIP into this round, but still a lot of work to be done. Na'Vi are waiting patiently in these corners, but Forest just gets completely caught off by Edward. But, oh my word, Edward found Get Right as well? How on earth did he manage that? But no guns to be recovered just yet for Na'Vi. They are falling under the pressure of NIP with this purchase. Get Right and Forest are lost, but Zeus trying to find that lost AWP, and I think he's going to find out that has been hidden well and truly away.
Fortune favours the bold in Edward's case. Unfortunately, not able to convert into any more than just those 2 kills, Zeus. He's found himself an AWP here, and he will just try and sit himself back somewhere as the bomb goes down. And again, Na'Vi will go for the save here at the end of the round, and they'll take their time on it as well. Honestly, it's getting a little bit close here. Another failed buy for Na'Vi, and this one could be anyone's game.
And the important thing is as well, Friberg's going to pick up the AWP, so Forest can take that one into the next round. They have brought this back. They're into double digits now, and they'll be on 11-14. And I'm looking at Na'Vi's economy. It's not perfect. They could go for a buy into the next round if they fancied it. Wait and see. Zeus waiting for that timer to tick down. Exist is going to give away the game, but Zeus can probably wait this one out. 50 seconds and takes down Exist for his troubles. 12 seconds remain. 12 HP remains even, as he will stay alive. But we will be seeing the purchase coming out from Na'Vi now. This is where they want to stop the rot. If you give NIP, an inch here, they might just take a mile. So I'm looking to see how Na'Vi now adapt off the back of this. They've been struggling a little bit in this after those last couple of rounds. How many rounds is it back-to-back here? 5 now back-to-back for NIP. So starting to find that little bit of fluid play, but Seized not having any of this. He wants to take the challenge already, and he's going to be met by Forest and Exist.
That's it. They have to nip this one in the bud. No pun intended as NIP start to stack them right on up. His Guardian looking in towards Connector there as well. NIP taking the time through those tunnels, but there's Guardian. Just a little bit of magic. That's what Na'Vi need. That's going to propel them forward now in towards the rest of this round. Flashes are going in towards mid as well, and Na'Vi seem to be well and truly aware that NIP have picketed that part of the map out. But will that information be translated into kills and the round as Guardian go for some wallbangs here? And look at the amount of pressure being put down onto this part of the map here as Forest is getting the heck out of dodge with that bomb.
And the big difference is that NIP haven't been dying early in the rounds they've been collecting. They've been keeping players alive, going for those full executes towards the sites. But as we can see, I think there's a little bit of GoTV lag there, but still, at the moment, NIP have now lost out on that individual play. They lost out on the start, which is the big difference. Guardian had become a little quiet here. Flamey's going to find Exist, leaving merely 3. And it looks like Na'Vi en route to that 15th round that was evading them for so long. As we're seeing the slow build up from NIP towards the A site, not been so successful in comparison to that full B execute.
NIP hope to break A open with those orbs, but Forest is going to go down, and Guardian will sneer at the very thought of NIP trying to take this one over with just 2 players now as well. You can see he's looking towards along, and Friberg will creep up close to him there. Going to opt for the flash. Friberg tries to make the pick. It'll be a great flick from Guardian. Friberg gets decimated, and there's Ali on towards Zeus. And that's it. I just made up a new word as well, by the way. Decimated.
Decimated. It was like decimated and eliminated.
There's so many things I could have said out of that one. I actually don't know. It's just a...
It's just a word.
Emotive words put together. Unfortunately, it didn't double the impression like I hoped it was, but Guardian, great work
nice
there
replay.
on towards Friberg. Decimating everyone.
Yeah, the replay really disintegrated the stream, but still, it doesn't matter. We're into this, what could be final round. NiP do have a lot of money, so they can get back on that double AWP, but look at Na'Vi straight away, looking for this early presence, looking for the early pick, and more often than not, when they find it, they win the round. So NiP trying to avoid it, trying to play a little quicker towards B, but C's is lurking behind, Guardians pushing up on long. They're closing this net, and then there we go, already finding the first, is not putting NiP in good stead.
Perfect start there for Guardian as well. Just going that little bit more aggressive, and it's paying off right now. Alu off the table, one AWP off the table as well. Forrest getting too close to Zeus there, and he's going to pick him up. C's going to push him here from construction. The spray, it's a messy one, but he gets two for his troubles. He exists to get right, go down. C's hanging on to life, and this could be the final nail in the coffin. Freiburg falls to C's, and Flamey steals his thunder by stealing his life there, but that is the game. And NIP unfortunately fall at what could be the final hurdle.
A bit of a shame to see them go out like that in the end, but we saw how important those opening kills were for Na'Vi. Whenever Guardian was picking them up, whether it was on Get Right or Alu then in the final round, it did completely change the landscape of how the round played out. When NIP were able to slow things down, play a little more patiently, we saw them pick up those 5 rounds back to back. Highly impressive stuff, but not enough to close down that map. So in the end, it will be Na'Vi picking up the double points there, pretty much. I believe 6 points in the bag, which will put them up into 3rd place in the Pro League's leaderboard so far, so a really big night for them. But we've got the big game coming up now, so let's not kind of beat around the bush. Let's not allude to this anymore, because it is the elephant in the room. It is going to be TSM up against Fnatic next. Now that is a game I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely going to be delivering a Fnatic that has shown some signs of revival. I mean, I don't want to be too negative about it. There was a bit of a streak there. It wasn't great for them. And conversely, TSM had a big streak, had that one shut down. And again, a little bit of back and forth. I definitely think the Danes are in better form right now, especially looking at their last few matches. Fnatic are an outside chance. I wouldn't call them an underdog, but they're definitely but they're definitely in the mix there. So I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be great. Cannot wait to jump in.
Yeah, and it's going to be going down on Mirage very soon. So guys, do stay tuned. It's probably going to be the game of what I'd say is going to be the season for me, at least. I love watching these two play against each other, especially at pressure moments like this, leading up towards a major, not too far away as well. So a lot on the line here between these two. I wonder how much they'll show. Of course, Mirage will be the arena of this clash of the giants. So guys, do not go too far away. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League. It is time for the match of the day. Fnatic up against Team Solo Mid here, going down on Mirage. The knife is underway, and it looks as though TSM have managed to claim that one, so they will be getting the choice of side. But I cannot stress enough how much I'm looking forward to this head-to-head.
This is going to be absolutely epic. Fnatic on a resurgence after a bit of a nasty streak, and TSM losing 2 of their last games. Their last 2 games they dropped to Envy and Virtus Pro. So we might see 2 different sides of the coin here going in towards this one now. The knife round is over. It looks like Team Solo Mid have opted for the CT side to start things off here on Mirage.
And the best part is these two teams are so close on this map. Just in 2015 alone, 33 wins for Fnatic, TSM 34, and that's out of 49 times played for Fnatic and 48 for TSM. But stats aside, we are live into the knife, and we are seeing a very interesting 3-2 split here from Fnatic. 2 through that through Palace, while the rest pour through towards Xyp9x.
Xyp9x be waiting there, of course, and he does manage to, well, with the assistance of dupreeh, at least take down olofmeister. Now backing around the corner, Xyp9x is 2nd and 3rd. Krims, so that was 2 for him, of course.
But the bomb, it's going down on A. Fnatic are going to get at least the plot out of this one, but TSM have 5 players ready and willing on the retake, and Cajun B doesn't want Xyp9x to have all the fun. He's going to get in there, and JW, trying to battle it out, does get taken down, and TSM pick up a good start here with a 4-man remaining side and the defuse.
Spending 3 players to try and sell something over at the B side didn't work out, especially with them dropping in a matter of seconds there. Xyp9x with 2. Of course, dupreeh getting involved in that one. Beautiful stuff to start things off. Fnatic coming out the gates with a bit of aggression here, but, you know, TSM, it has been said, are one of the best teams at dealing with Fnatic's style.
Well, it's more true than ever. You saw that TSM were one of the original teams to do so, but then to kind of flip the switch here, Fnatic did win last time they met on this map at the Fragbite Masters, but outside of that, it's all been TSM. But we are seeing the force up we saw from Fnatic. It's become a little commonplace, but it's something they normally do through mid and then split towards B. It worked out very well with Olof always pressuring this connector where actually Device is waiting. So JW and Pronax patient up by B, but this is Device going hunting, and he gets denied. Flush with a shutdown. Now Karrigan gonna have to deal with this. Gets the tag, but not the frag.
So Grenade gonna follow now as he backs away. dupreeh that will make his way under short. through that smoke. Really push this one. Carrigan has moved all the way back towards Connector. He's looking for another one. Doesn't connect that shot there. And Fnatic are free to move up here. It's Olofmeister and Crims just sort of knocking at the door. And dupreeh maybe thinks about ladder room here for just a moment as Fnatic have so much control. Olofmeister's already got his way in, and Carrigan will have to move around towards CT. TSM being shaken from their
KGB
podium.
though, round the back, he's in their spawn at the moment. He might be able to get a lot of information here. He's caught a lot of players on the rotate. He may have taken some damage, but he's spotted out at least one. Gonna back up. Olof is the thorn in the side though. He's gone through that kind of mid window. He was boosted up earlier on, so he can get around the back of the likes of Carrigan, KGB being vulnerable. So KGB now taking the fight in apartments.
Nice, a great spot there, and Carrigan goes down elsewhere. JW also deals with KGB and TSM down to 2. Xyp9x is forced to rotate now through mid with 4 players from Fnatic converge on this A site. dupreeh drops down. It's just Xyp9x to do a lot of work. He gets Flusher, but it's not going to be remotely enough. And there's Fnatic getting one on the board.
Yeah, Fnatic flexing through mid early on, getting that gun down and giving that one over to Olof, who got boosted up into the window, then being the kind of player right in between the middle, leaving TSM in dire straits, and then Fnatic just closing in on the net. So 1-1 now, Fnatic buying up in that second round absolutely perfectly. And now TSM going in for the Deagles. Just a couple of P250s to close it out as well, but no armor, no utility, and Fnatic taking the straight up challenge in mid.
Again towards mid. This is where Device got caught out a couple of rounds ago, but not this time now, as they are sitting well back. A lot of smokes and Olofmeister leading the charge, but dupreeh shuts him down with a headshot from the Deagle. Crims takes a headshot as well, down to 2 health. The Device cleans him up.
What on earth is going on here? We've seen one switch up, now we might just see 2. dupreeh dancing around the pole. He gets down Pronax, and now it's a 3v2. TSM have the numbers, but Xyp9x gets shut down by Flusher, and we're back into what should be a Fnatic round. The bomb is being planted as we speak, setting up well for JW. Now KGB and Device have to play the retake.
You can see there, I think it was Device, no, KGB trying to work out a shot as the smoke went straight in towards him. Flusher will waste no time in getting himself up into apartments here. Device will work from short as Flusher sits well back on this one. JW at Van, and TSM be very lucky to pull this one away. I think they are strapped for options here, and they'll be strapped for cash after this one.
Yeah, and Device already recovering that gun. I think it's time to maybe keep hold of that more than anything. And Fnatic now know that the time is running very low. JW's going to find Device. KGB, though, will at least get one back. Not going to make it too easy. But JW, will he make it away? No. So actually, TSM making it quite costly for Fnatic. However, it will be their round regardless.
JW to drop there at the end as well. He had a rifle in hand. Still, Fire's be able to come back out for them now, and Carrigan again going to be going for that scout. It's a force here as well. An M4, a FAMAS, and a CZ. Interesting stuff here from TSM, and Xyp9x should buy himself some armor, at least in the moment.
So Tech 9 for Crims and a Mac 10 for JW. This could be a fairly difficult round in theory. If KGB and Device get a good start, they could do a lot of damage to this, and KGB is waiting patiently perched, and if Device's nade gets a little bit of damage done, this could be cautious. Oh, but no, Pronax already finding KGB. Gonna make this a hard one for TSM to do damage on, but Device dances around, denies one, gets the follow-up. Device, that is huge. He can't get the third. Flusher breaks in. It's a 3v2, but TSM have the upper hand.
If you've been wondering why people have been singing Device's praises lately, that is a perfect example. Great work under a lot of fire there as well, but still some work for TSM to be done now. It's a FAMAS down.
Oh my god.
And there's Carrigan dropping as well. Olofmeister does manage to burn him to bits, so 2v2 now. And it's only Max 7 for Xyp9x as well. dupreeh's going to try and make something happen here from T-Ramp. The bomb is loose as well. Olof has to circle around to pick that one up. It won't be an immediate plant. Look at him sitting patiently under Palace.
Oh god, dupreeh doesn't know. He's right on top of Olofmeister here. dupreeh, he's going to find out right now. Oh my god, he goes on the ladder. He's down to 13 HP. That could have been so much, well, it could have gone so much worse for TSM. Now Flusher kind of cornered in left, right and center. He's going to find one. Xyp9x should win this challenge, but he's only got the Mag 7. But it's enough to close out the deal. But that was a treacherous round. Taking that shot on the ladder then was a dangerous option coming through. And luckily enough, Olof did go down, but that was, well, This is what I expected from these two. Look how close this got. Device playing so well at the start here. Able to capitalize on one, somehow following up on Crim so well, and almost adjusting perfectly towards Flusher. 2
versus 2 at this stage now as TSM keeping themselves in this one with a great round just now. The Mag 7 doing some work. That's been traded in now, definitely. So we have P90, one AK. It's very much a mix of guns here for TSM. Carrigan still on that scout. A lot of flashes towards B here. This is going to be an aggressive push from Fnatic. They're coming in strong, but there goes Pronax. He drops first. Xyp9x is trying to hold for 2. Flusher drops as well. Oh, look at the turnaround as well. He looks towards short, and Olof will go down. They tried to make an aggressive pistol push on towards B. It's just not going to work out as Crims will be the last to fall.
So well played by Xyp9x. He didn't even flinch until dupreeh fell. He knew that side was covered off, and as once dupreeh did go down, he even adjusted perfectly for it. So Xyp9x showing some real class there as that B player, but Nicely done. Just look at this already. First comes in, second, not even bothering about the players that were kind of pouring out until he knew that Olof found dupreeh. So just really well played. But that has put Fnatic back on a buy now against JW with the AWP. We're seeing not necessarily the ideal purchase from TSM either. Karrigan sticking it out on the scout here. Let's see what they can do with it. 4 players looking towards A for Fnatic.
You can see straight away TSM sort of giving up that mid control. They're not working from mid window at all, just working around the periphery. As cajunb was aggressively pushed up towards Palace. Here's dupreeh as well. He's worked his way up mid. He goes for Olofmeister, but Olofmeister just a little bit too fast there. cajunb waits his time. Karrigan makes that scout do work on towards JW. cajunb sees a player pushing out, but look at this. Olofmeister is there as well. What can be done as flushes jump straight down. cajunb 1 for 1 for 1. And there it is, trading out 2v2 now. Karrigan with the scout back behind the box here. Has Device. He's got some work to do as well from the side. He gets himself an AK though, and we see the bomb is still loose.
Can't believe Karrigan already got 2 there. Device gets slapped back by Crims. And now Karrigan in a 1v2. 50 seconds. Fnatic have time, but will they bother to rotate? He knows he's got the tag there towards 1. He's not going to get the follow-up. Fnatic shut it down, playing straight out of A then, and will recover that AWP. So Olof doing the real work there through mid, coming back round towards A, and then keeping that round in line. But Karrigan once again going back to scout. And why not, I guess, if you're able to achieve that sort of presence. This game, though, this is such a scrappy start. 3-3 at the moment. And, you know, every round being turned on its head, every single player playing well. No one's having a quiet game just so far. So it looks like Fnatic want to play fairly aggressive here, playing ahead of the smokes they put down. JW's going to get the tag on towards Cajun, but not going to follow up too quickly. Yet
another force here from TSM, and it's time to see exactly what they can do with this. cajunb sitting close as well as Device up in his spot there. dupreeh sends Olofmeister packing on short, but he's pushed on towards A. Device is there. cajunb gets involved as well, but those two have managed to hold off the push. Pronax fancies a shot. He steps up to the plate. He gets on towards Device, and Cajun expecting a jump over Tetris at this stage, but just 2 for Fnatic left.
Yeah, dupreeh's on the rotate as well. If Fnatic try and take their time, this is going to go badly, but Pronax wants to take matters into his own hands, and he does well. cajunb falls, opening up presence towards A, but TSM flex back. They say, okay, if you want this, you've got to get the plant, you've got to take these peaks, and Karrigan goes for the early shot then. Almost catch off JW then, but dupreeh is working his way through Palace. Xyp9x holding back by CT. Fnatic gonna have to work for this somehow. But then again, it is JW, it is Pronax. These guys could find something. dupreeh peers in. Not sure if he spotted out one then, but Pronax took the fight towards jungle, catching out Karrigan. That's opened up the map here.
You can see the TSM giving up ground, trying to wait for dupreeh to get there, but maybe it's been a little bit too late now. It's JW looking up, but dupreeh will take him out. The bomb is down, and that's Pronax getting it done. 3 kills for him for the round. But what to be done now? You can see dupreeh trying to set up a flash on towards that one. Xyp9x being drawn out from jungle, and there it is. They do get the finish towards Pronax, and it will be a defuse and solo mid to head back out in front.
Dangerous round though. Both of those players just, my god, look how scrappy this one is. It's been so back and forward. But as you said, TSM do close it down, and that got a little treacherous. Once we saw, I think it was Pronax just opening things up towards jungle. It became a possible round for them, but in the end, dupreeh's position just catching out JW, pulling that round back in. And now we're going to see Fnatic back on a bit of a shoddy buy. Now, last time they did this, they went for that B play, but maybe a little too predictable here. Not going to go for the Tech 9s as such. More P250s, a Deagle as well for Olof, so maybe looking towards mid. Let's remember, dupreeh has consistently been a nuisance towards that sort of play, but a smoke and 2 flashes for Pronax as well. So maybe looking to build something here.
Just as well, dupreeh actually picked up that AWP because Karrigan still would have been able to buy it with this aggressive money spending that TSM have been doing. But it's worked out. They're in a decent spot now. 3 M4s, plenty of grenades as well to share around. cajunb thought about pushing aggressively towards that T-ramp there as well. He'll back off on that side as Fnatic are trying to slow the pace down. dupreeh now in the ladder room as Pronax and Crims underneath him towards underpass, and they have control of mid right now. The TSM have opted to leave that one alone for the moment at least. dupreeh might get a sight of this now, at least as he's up close towards me, but he's going to get challenged there. Xyp9x does manage to get the better of Olofmeister. That's going to slow Fnatic down a bit. And there's one at JW as well. Shot towards his head, going to send him packing. And just 3 players from Fnatic now with those pistols. That's a big ask for them.
It really is. They did at least find dupreeh, which is the important factor, but not able to recover the weapon from it. And now TSM well aware of where they're looking towards. They can get some more damage done, but it shouldn't be a closeout round. Device going to find Crims, as Device will find Pronax as well. So 2 to clear up for him. But in the end, TSM working out very early on what Fnatic were looking towards then. You know, after finding out there were players in mid, they maybe expected there was going to be that close towards A through Palace as well. But now we're going to see a buy coming out from both sides, which is something we've not seen. It may not be ideal for Fnatic. We do have the Galil with Flusher, but still. We're going to have Cajun on the Fama, so I guess it equates out somehow. But there we go. This is the round I've been looking forward to. We've got the mid presence again, Crim splitting towards A, and Fnatic always so ready and willing to take that first peek towards mid.
But look at this, TSM giving up mid, especially for that first pick. It's just not happening. Karrigan is offering actually to go towards B with that AWP and not challenge in mid. And Xyp9x, he was the man to take down olofmeister on short earlier. Still in the same spot here as Fnatic want mid, but they actually would rather that TSM fought for mid here. They're not giving them any gimme frags. Nothing easy for Fnatic now as TSM just waiting for them to come into their territory.
Yeah, it's going to be down to the likes of Xyp9x. I can imagine maybe Cajun if he turns attention, because they are looking towards short. The flash didn't actually find him. It went towards Ladderum instead, and Olof will fall to that, leaving just the 3 players alive for Fnatic and really not having that potency into this round, as we will be seeing Karrigan, as you noted earlier, holding the angle on the B push. Whether or not they go in towards this is another thing. They are lining up for it though. 45 seconds. Karrigan might have to be the point man on the... Once again, the flash is not finding their place here. The second will, but he falls back well and adjusts, waiting for the pusher. He's going to have the chance. He's going to take it. Pronax falls, expects the third, doesn't get the quick, easy pickup, and JW's going to make him work for it.
Stunning work from Karrigan here. JW, I mean, he's got that gun as well. He might want to back up on this one. I don't even know if he has the freedom to do so. He heads straight in towards underpass now as well, up against 5 of TSM. Is he looking for a hiding hole? Is he looking for an easy pick? Oh, a little bit of pressure on towards Cajun, but Xyp9x is there to step in when needed. And there goes JW. Now that was a round you were looking forward to. That was a round where Fnatic had the guns and barely made a dent in Team Solo mid at all.
Yeah, after those individuals got picked off Karrigan here, the flashes are just not finding their place for Fnatic. We saw one towards short going in towards Ladderum, which didn't really exclude Xyp9x from picking up the kill. So really working off the back of that. And then, of course, Karrigan being allowed full freedom. But still, TSM able to retain the weaponry. Cajun going to be running with the AWP this time, rather than Karrigan or Device. And it looks like a play through the Palace in A. 3 players there with the bomb. Olof toward mid, and Crims again by that T-ramp side of things. But Karrigan's going to find Olof quite easily, and they're going to keep eyes trained towards A.
Olof not being given nearly enough of that supremacy over towards mid, with TSM not contesting it directly. And here, I mean, they're just going to sit back again. They can let Fnatic come. It's been, they buy aggressively. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to play aggressively here. They've just let Fnatic fall into their trap the last few rounds in a row.
Exactly, that Device just going to be dropping the smokes out, trying to just keep one avenue covered off. But JW, you know he wants to just hop through that one. If you watch him on the CT side, more often than not, he's just piling out of the mid window. But Fnatic are once again rekindling their attempts towards the A side, but Cajun waiting ever so patiently. Device should be able to follow up well as JW and Flush are the last 2 standing. Nice work from Karrigan and Device to close down any sort of threat that was coming towards them, as TSM keep a very clean round here, not allowing Fnatic a chance in this. Now, let's take stock of what we've seen so far, because the start of this game was very backward and forward. It wasn't what we expected, but it has ended up in TSM carving out this lead. 7-3, Mitch, this is pretty good.
And like you said, these rounds have been squeaky clean. I mean, the thing is that olofmeister has been trying to work on towards short. 2 rounds in a row, Xyp9x in the same position just took him down, and Fnatic couldn't construct anything else off that. So again, they're not prioritizing mid so much.
Look how aggressive this is. Cajun going walkabouts. JW's going to fall, but he can't get away with that.
So Karrigan now will be looking towards that one as Flusha might try and capitalize here, but Device goes straight in towards Palace, shuts down Crims. Device now already ready to receive this push from Flusha. It might be a Molotov instead, just to slow him up there, and TSM have all the answers. And Fnatic are asking the questions too now. Karrigan can look towards mid as well. He shut down olofmeister on more than one occasion just from that connector. TSM are exactly where they need to be.
Oh, and actually, what's that?
Stunning.
That was outstanding from Karrigan. He doesn't get the kill, but he does take Olof down to 50 and says, dupreeh, help me out here, buddy, or Xyp9x, someone. Flusha does have the bomb towards ramp, though, as Pronax peering in towards B. They've got 50 seconds, so a lot of time to work with, but Xyp9x once again adjusts well. Expecting maybe Pronax to be looking for something on this B site, and Fnatic are just trying to find options, and they're not finding much here. That's the start of it, though. Pronax finding Xyp9x will pull dupreeh back, but look at where the bomb is going. Olof and Flusha are heading towards A, and Pronax is keeping all these boys busy, and Pronax is going wild. That is a huge impact from him. 3 already, and why not close it down? Device is the last man standing, but he is not going to let this round go. But that bomb is not on B.
Well, if we're talking about fake rounds here, Pronax could sell ice to an Eskimo. Great work there on B, and that drew the entirety of TSM over there now. Device, realising the error of his ways now, can do not much more, but just try and look towards that site with the AWP and hope to maybe pick something up here. olofmeister is below him. just in underpass here. And it's unlikely Device will see too much more for this round.
No. Should be able to stay alive. As does Flusha and Olof. Well done to Fnatic then. Against the odds. They looked for the option. They didn't particularly find it for so long, but then Pronax's work on B was, as you said, incredible stuff to be able to pull that many players back. And look at this. Just expecting Karrigan, the quick flick, takes him out. Nicely done. Didn't find Device in the end, but still, really beautiful play. And this is, I was going to throw back earlier to this. TSM are playing fairly like Fnatic on this map on their CT side. The aggressive plays, the switching up of pace, something we didn't see last time these two met. But now Karrigan picking himself up in towards Palace. cajunB playing just in front of that slightly deeper smoke than we've been seeing them utilize before. He's going to hold back the likes of Flusha and JW, and Krims will be the one in Palace.
Molotov now straight in towards ramp. This could backfire, this aggressive positioning here as well. And Solo Mid have to maybe just mediate their aggression somewhat here. See Karrigan looking for something, hoping for something to show itself. And again, it's Olofmeister being snuck into mid. The bomb hasn't left spawn yet, so Fnatic still giving themselves a lot of margin of error, a lot of freedom to move here. cajunB getting tagged up, trying to make a bit of a poke. And Karrigan now, he's going to back off, going to sit on that ticker booth and wait for the push to A, if at all.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, if they commit here. Fnatic really haven't put a foot out of place so far. We're going to see Karrigan with the opportunity, though. Gets JW low. cajunB does not respond. He waits ever so patiently, seeing if any more will follow. Flusha's got the bomb, and he is not looking towards A just yet.
And that's important information that cajun's just been able to pass to his team as well. No one on T-ramp. You can see that their aggression has been stifled towards that side. It's just Krims left in Palace.
It still looks like a split towards A, I've got to say it, with JW and Krims still here, and Olof pushing through that connector. These guys are looking very fluid. They've smoked out short. dupree's not going to get a shot in this. It's down to Karrigan and cajunB. Device is en route, though.
He's out of position, though, at the moment. He can't really get involved in this one here as Pronax picks up cajunB. It's Karrigan now to try and hold. He gets one on Flusha. dupree also getting involved. There's the second from the man, and Krims hits the deck. It's JW and Olofmeister. What can they do now? Olofmeister burns down, and Karrigan, the man, finishes it off with a lovely shot. That's 4. What a beast.
Huge play from Karrigan, stepping up when it matters. And my word, he was playing so aggressively at the start, and then look at this shot, just catching him in the heels on the cross. That was Flusha going down, follows up perfectly towards Krims, and then even closes down at the end towards JW. Just stunning from start to finish. And this is one of the many reasons why TSM are just starting to lead the fray. He's leading the pack at 12-6 so far. On the other side, Pronax top fragging on 10-11. And let's see how this round goes down. Once again, Fnatic struggling for cash here, and TSM truly flexing what they built up.
All right, so Fnatic now down, well, forcing up with some pistols here. It's just a flash for Pronax and no armor to speak of, so I'll be interested to see how they try and throw this one together. And Olofmeister, frustratingly, has had nothing really presented to him in mid. He's really struggled to make something happen in that part of the map, and TSM really just not bothering with that one as well. A Device will just watch connector and allow him to push in. And dupreeh can work there from short, like Xyp9x was beforehand. So Fnatic have to go for something completely different, come up with something new here, because TSM have read them like a book.
Well, I guess that's a good start. Krim's going to just deal down Device, but you'd assume that wouldn't work again. JW waiting very patiently by B, but that bomb's still in mid by Delpan. That's with Pronax at the moment. cajunB and Karrigan looking to maybe get some control towards A as well. cajunB will find Flusha, who was waiting in his apartments. Krims, that's his second now. This Deagle looking pretty good in his hands. And Fnatic have got mid control. However, you can see cajunB trying to retake some sort of presence towards A on that minimap. He's already looking towards ramp. And Xyp9x, he knows, okay, we haven't cleared B at all. This could still be a problem. Olof probably going to be boosted up again in towards window, but TSM locked down one avenue of threat, but it's all coming down towards A. Again, Fnatic have a chance in this, but it's the race towards that A plant. Pronax should be able to get this down. He's not planting for short. It's slightly closer towards the site, and Krims is going to wait it out.
Yeah, as a Deagle in hand, he's already taken 2 heads off with it this round. He's definitely love to add a few more notches to that one now, as Karrigan is lurking via CT. And of course, Pronax is gone looking for Xyp9x.
He saw a touch of Karrigan, then Xyp9x is going to be crossed out by Pronax unless these nades start coming in and thick and fast. Here we go, great work from Krims. That's his 4th. He needs the ace here with the Deagle. He's done everything and he gets it! Krims goes wild for Fnatic. Absolutely perfect play. And you said they needed something somewhat of a miracle, and he's just provided it. My word, Krims. Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Now, a great round from Crims as well. I mean, I was more suggesting a change in strategy, but yeah, we could just go for something crazy like that one as well. Look, we've said this before as well. When Pronax is sort of top fragging for Fnatic, it doesn't mean that it sort of means that the big fraggers, they're not sort of working at full capacity.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I've got to say, JW's had a real quiet game, 5-11 so far. He's not had that many opportunities with the AWP, but still, it's a very quiet game for him. He's normally almost certainly leading the way. It looks like another A split coming out from Fnatic, 2 toward mid, 3 working through A. And it's going to be Device this time actually with the AWP, not Karrigan watching that push, and cajunb up on the balcony. Xyp9x looking to cut off at least one arm of this attack, which is Olof and Crims, but look at them sneaking their way through here, but they're so aware Xyp9x will be.
Xyp9x shots in towards Connector, not going to connect Device there, trying to make something happen. It's his second of the round. olofmeister already went down. He's got 4 points of health to work with, but an AWP in this man's hands, he can do whatever he pleases.
And where has JW been in this? Where has flusha been? This is a quiet play from them. Now we're going to finally see them coming to their own, but JW with it all to do now. 1v3, he has the bomb. He does have 40 seconds, but he's got 3 insanely strong players up against him so far. Karrigan standing, dupreeh alive, and cajunb. And he's trying to make a mad dash for it, trying to get out of there, try and find another option, try and find something. So far, with all the will and want in the world, he's not found a lot. 28 seconds. He should be able to get there in time, but dupreeh will be already waiting, and Karrigan not far off either. He just needs to win this 1-1v1. I say just one. If he actually wants to go for this round, and he is. Let's see what JW's got here. Already found. He's got 8 HP, 10 seconds. And you got to say, dupreeh and Karrigan already know. I think it's time to try and keep hold of this AWP if he can, but he's not going to be let out easily. He might just make it away.
He'll have to back up there as well, getting tagged super low. And dupreeh, that has got to hurt more than just, of course, in the fields there as JW goes down. Solo mid now, 9-5. Gonna put one more on the board, and that AWP being taken away from JW is going to hurt. They cannot afford one at this stage, and in this last round of the half, they're going to force up. I see some Tech-9s in the mix as well. Going to go for whatever they can to try and grind out a round.
All right, so 2 rifles, 3 pistols. Got the 2 Tech-9s, as you noted, the CZ coming out for Pronax there. And, well, Fnatic have just been floundering under the pressure of the individual play from TSM thus far. cajunb maybe waiting on a flash. No, he's just going to check towards Palace, just in case there was a threat there. He's going to flash it out himself. Not going to commit off the back of it, though. And it looks like, once again, Fnatic are going to have to run the gauntlet. But already, Olof being found in mid once again.
The double AWP from TSM is just frightening. It really is, and they made it work so well. Device, what can he do now? Just as I hype him up, JW takes him down as he pushes through. cajunb must hold from here. Karrigan gets one, flush goes down. cajunb and Karrigan putting it together, and it's just Crims. He will take down cajunb in a 1v2 situation. Cheeky tap to try and get himself into that A side. He must back away. The bomb is loose towards A, towards Palace even, and TSM are pushing up on towards this one. Crims has given us some beautiful stuff this half, but he's going to have to dig deep yet again to get this round for the Swedes.
dupreeh already on the site. Xyp9x holding whenever he can here. Actually, the team flash coming out might actually give Crims a bit of an opportunity, but he has snuck it out of ramp, but it's still so hard to play from this position.
It is oppressive to say the very least now. He's got a player towards jungle, and one on the site now. Just wants to make this in 1v1. He does. He gets Xyp9x, but unfortunately dupreeh is there for the crossfire. All he really could have done is just try and make it 2 1v1s and take it bit by bit there. But that's half time, and Team Solo mid with a very, very impressive CT side. And this is cajunb doing some serious work.
But look at that flash that came in for him. I think it was Karrigan who actually let that one fly as well. The flash coming over blinded 3 players from Fnatic, so all of them were hunting out cajunb. They knew he'd been playing there the entire game. It's not an unknown factor, but allowing him the chance to do better off the back of that, that's the theory. That's the real power of TSM sometimes. It's just those beautiful little crossfires, and of course Pan there highlighting these things. Pan CSGO, a lovely observer for today, picking up from Delayham, who had to step in, and TSM know who Delayham is. But that aside, let's get ready for the second half here in my match of the day. TSM now on the T side, Fnatic on the CT side, and JW looking for those one-taps straight through mid.
Trying to work out a mid. I mean, 10-5 is definitely not the worst now as olofmeister. Cajun has to take a seat for the rest of this round now. flusha getting involved as well. These USPs doing so much work in the hands of Fnatic. And there's JW again, but Karrigan pushes towards olofmeister. Crims is low, but has a defuse kick. Keep an eye on that. He did a cheeky thing to Pimp last week with that one. And there it is. Pronax picks up Karrigan. It's just dupreeh now, and the bomb is in his hands.
I'm curious to see where he takes this. JW's watching this angle. That's the problem. JW will get the tag. And now there's two watching, one from Kitchen. JW a little closer. dupreeh's going to try and take the fight, and he will be put down by Fnatic, who make it onto 6 rounds. A good start for them, a well-needed start for them after that first half.
Fnatic sitting back on those USPs by and large, and just doing a lot of work with those now. And you can see, going to sort of buy up here a little bit. Of course, the MP9 coming out for Pronax. It's a Famis, and Crims is actually going to go for that scout. Force this up and see what they can do. Whereas TSM are all Deagles, and armor only for Xyp9x, dupreeh, and Karrigan.
I'm so scared of even doubting the Deagles these days. You never know. It's like they've suddenly come back into fashion, I guess, or into trend or favor. But dupreeh looking for someone to pick apart. Flusha took the challenger on the gauntlet and makes it out alive. The bomb yet to be committed anywhere either. TSM are more than ever testing the waters here. And you can't blame them on that one, playing it quite cautiously. And Fnatic holding quite far back. They're not completely aware of what they're up against. But Karrigan making it so far out towards the side. He has been spotted, and Fnatic playing very passively will lock it down. That's nice stuff from Fnatic. Not challenging up close and personal, not playing too shoddy. And actually Pronax getting a face full of KGB then, but it will end up in Pronax's favour. As Device last man standing in a 1v5. And I don't think he can do quite what Crims did earlier.
Good discipline from Fnatic here as well, as Crims finishes things off. I mean, as I said, last time we saw these two play, it was a lot of JW jumping out of mid-window, like you said, a lot of aggression pushing forward here. They did want to secure that second round and you know, keep those guns in their hand, and they can continue to start to stack them up here as well. As Fnatic are 3 rounds behind, they do have some work to do, but again, 10-5 at half, that's fine. It is okay. But now it's time for them to really start to do some work. When the rubber hits the road, they've got to get going. The time is now.
Let's see what TSM have in store here. If they can get a plant out of this, it'll be perfect, but Fnatic are starting to really farm up the bank, and Flush is going to finish off what Crims started out there. And KGB going to be heading through that underpass. He's going to be met by Flusha, and Flush is just having a whale of the time. He does go down to KGB in the end, but this should be a comfy one until Xyp9x finds JW. This got a little bit closer than maybe they'd hoped for. Actually, Xyp9x does recover that M4, so maybe he can do some damage here, but that bomb is so far away.
olofmeister takes a tag to the head there, and bear in mind, if Fnatic, if they win this round, they're going to buy and exchange some of those guns anyway, so losing them here, not the end of the world, but TSM really pressuring here. Xyp9x, but Pronax will just jump around the corner, yodeling, I assume, as he picks up the MP9 kill, and that now brings it up to 2 rounds in. So Fnatic done well to start things off nicely with that pistol round. That's what they needed, and they've got it now. Solo mid to buy up, rifles, AKs for all, and a few nades thrown in the mix as well. dupreeh only with a smoke.
Yeah, Fnatic, they needed this start, to be fair. Last time, the beginning of this game was so backward and forward, but JW now with the AWP. Let's see what he brings in. He's got a great spawn towards mid as well, so he should be fine here to challenge out Karrigan if he fancies it. No one going for the early crosses. TSM flex towards B. JW still watching. Flush is the one to find him being a little more aggressive from that connector side, as Olof will push up mid, but it's going to be Pronax, I can imagine, on the receiving end here. If TSM actually commit to this, he's got a smoke, he's got the flashes, he should be able to weather the storm, but let's find out if he can do it, as look at this, TSM are making the play.
Counter flash coming out from Pronax. He knows exactly what's coming. He's going to throw another flash, but dupreeh catches him mid-throw, but there's JW out of shop, picks up dupreeh, now through the smoke, looking for another TSM player as the rest of Fnatic converge on this one. You can see olofmeister here at short. He'll be looking through there as a nade goes towards him. KGB almost makes a target of himself, and it slows up a bit now as TSM inching onto the site bit by bit. Bomb down, KGB under fire.
This is going to be hard, though. They can't really escape the site, as you can see JW is going to catch off Device, leaving Xyp9x now in a 1v4 after plant situation. He's got the tag. He finally takes down Flusha, but tries to back away, but he's down to such a tiring predicament. He knows that he can't really do much here. He's looking to keep hold of that weapon as the defuse will come out, and he does at least keep the rifle.
Yep, bomb planted and rifle maintained here for Xyp9x, but Fnatic with a stoic defense of that B site. Despite Pronax going down so early, it was a very rapid response from the rest of the Swedes to get there and shake things up now. And this is 1 round in it. Fnatic have won 4 rounds in a row, and Team Solo Mid seem very, very quiet on this T side. Interesting to see what they can put together now, as they want to just keep themselves at arm's length from Fnatic as they try and close the gap.
Let's see what they've got here. JW being denied the early pick through connector. Nice little adaptation from TSM, giving them that mid-control. Olof's going to look for something, but look at this. KGB straight up there. And wow, KGB finds Olof on short too. That's removed all the threat from mid, at least, as Flusha now left to pick to pieces TSM, but they have got the flex, so they have got control. KGB already in jungle, and Flusha kind of suspects that the bomb yet to commit. TSM could still lose control of this one if they lose, or if they choose the wrong side.
KGB must be looking for Crims over on that side, but Flusha surely can smell something out here as he is just in the wings. The bomb being taken towards B, though, slowly.
Now, Pronax is phenomenal at holding this. The pop flashes he can pull are just brilliant, but there's nothing to give this away, and Device is so close.
Here comes a pop flash. Pronax is going to go for this pick surely in just a second. Oh, the Device shot was too good for him. Pronax not even looking towards the left, assuming that TSM will be further down the corridor, and it blows up in his face.
Yeah, Flusher now in a bit of a situation. He can't get safely in towards the kitchen either. He will catch out cajunB, who he'd been keeping in the back of his mind for quite some time, but there's so many players waiting in Device just tucked to that left side. It's so annoying to get past, and the flash will come for him. That will drop Flusher out of the game, as it will just be Crims left alive with the AWP, looking to save it.
Doubtless he will just try to get the heck out of dodge there. And unlucky for Flusher, he did check that corner, but didn't quite see the model poking around the edge, and Solo Mid will get one back here.
And the imperative thing to me was the play that came out from cajunB at the start. Not only taking down the player who was in connector, but then following it back up and taking down Olofmeister as he tried to come in through short. It opened up mid. It made so many possibilities available to TSM, and it just worked out well. That's going to get them the round they needed quite badly on the T side here. And let's see what they can do leading off the back.
Fnatic couldn't do much in mid because TSM didn't have a presence there.
Yep.
Fnatic, though, have a presence in mid, and if TSM can challenge and win, that's a big chunk out of Fnatic's players and a hugely strong position for them to operate out from. Big difference in these two team styles, especially in that part of the map, and we'll see if Team Solo Mid want to exploit that further.
It's a big thing here. Now, last time TSM put down those Oli Molotovs to get control in mid, but look at this. Flusher this time backing away. Pronax again can't make the peek out of it. They're putting a lot of presence here this time, looking for those early challenges. Olof is flashed, but it doesn't matter. Flusher this time will land the shots. JW helps out. They're finally closing the net, but it's down to 2. cajunB and Xyp9x, the last two standing on very much polarizing points of this map. I don't know how much they can achieve with this.
Very expensive for TSM to sort of move up on this one, and Crims to follow his nade will back right on up, and JW can watch short quite easily. cajunB gets himself in towards that mid window. The bomb is still back towards the top of mid here, so he still needs to maintain control of that part of the map, lest Xyp9x be picked off as he tries to retrieve the bomb. And this is some movements from JW now. Going to be heading towards that shop, looking towards mid.
But look how far back Fnatic are playing overall on this map. Pronax is all the way back in spawn, as is Crims, as is JW. They don't want to commit to the site. They don't know where TSM are wanting to take this. So they're saying to TSM, okay, you can get the bomb down maybe. We'll play retake on this. We still have utility. We have flashes, smokes. We have what we need. JW's holding a little toward B, so, you know, keeping eyes on if he needs to. But then literally Pronax and Crims just waiting on the push, and it's patient play like this that normally does pay off very well for Fnatic, as we are seeing them choosing this B side.
JW, look at this. Looking towards Archers here, actually. Xyp9x will cross over the window in a moment.
They normally bait the cross for each other.
Yeah.
This is beautiful to watch.
JW will be watching this one as well. Who would he go for? cajunB gets the flick, and of course there's no response from Xyp9x. He wasn't quick enough. JW has just scuttled Team Solo Mid's attempt towards his side, but still Xyp9x about to pick him up, but it's been plenty of time for Fnatic to rotate in.
Now it's Pronax and Crims on the retake. Xyp9x against the odds. He's got a flash. He's got a molly and a nade, actually. He can define a little bit of this one. Going to flash out close. Looks for the follow, but it's Pronax just barreling in towards the side. Going to get the defuse real easy into this one. But yes, as said, Xyp9x wasn't quite there on that cross. We've seen them baiting each out for each other a little better than that before. Maybe just a little off in the timing. But they did get the plant. But Fnatic gets the defuse and the round.
Very rapid flick across that one from JW as well, and just knew exactly what will be coming. He got himself out of there. He put 2 and 2 together, I'm sure, in that one. And TSM looked to... they'll force this one here by the looks of things, as see a couple of Galils go into their hands and 3 AKs. Still a decent amount of grenades here in armor, so have to see what they can do with this one as Fnatic, again, get to within spitting distance of Team Solo Mid. Haven't led for quite some time in this game, but this could be their chance to even things up. JW will watch mid. This
looks like more of a classic execute towards A from TSM. I wonder if they're going to play ahead of the smokes that they do occasionally do, but we're going to have to wait and see if that's the case. Xyp9x and dupreeh are up in towards the palace, and dupreeh is already peeking out. This is them playing ahead of the smokes, ahead of the curve. dupreeh's going to crack it open. Crims is waiting patiently, but surrounded in the smoke. Karrigan's already got his way through towards jungle. This is going to be tough.
Oh, geez, Fnatic can't see the wood for the trees right now, as he will still go JW on towards Xyp9x's device. Picks up Crims as Karrigan waits for Pronax, and he walks right into his crosshair. It's just Olofmeister left now as dupreeh deals with Wonder Child, and this is big for TSM. It's just Olofmeister now. He has an AK, but there's not a lot he's going to be able to do with this one now. There's 4 members from Solo Mid stand proud as the bomb ticks away on A.
I love that. That's so much brave play from TSM. dupreeh just leading the charge out of the Palace then, knowing that these guys were on pretty much a good buy here for Fnatic. So really nicely done, playing ahead of the smokes a touch, not doing the standard AXQ. Of course, we put the smokes into place, then you play off it. They actually take the peaks first, then put the smokes down. It's beautiful to watch. So round in the bag for TSM, but this is not, you know, the perfect start for them just yet. TSM, they're still looking for more. This has been Fnatic's half thus far, but still, looking at the economy, it's not great for Fnatic. They're still a little shoddy in this one, but they should be able to get a bit of a buy going. Whether or not there's a CZ or two there is beyond the point. We know these guys can play with it if required. But anyway, looking at the buy, Pronak's going to be the suffering member of Fnatic to be sat on the CZ, but he has just been holding the push out from B, so not the end of the world, whereas TSM looking to exploit that.
Again, JW denied mid. Smoke comes in. He has to go on the way towards Connector or sit back on this one now as dupreeh will look for a wild Olofmeister maybe barreling towards him, as we often see. He's on short right now, and Fnatic don't want to lose any members early here as well. They don't really have the guns, for the most part anyway. Pronax has no armor to speak of, mind you, so I'll just see how Fnatic play around that. Very much a concave setup for them here. I'll wait to see if TSM push on.
TSM being very patient about this as well. They did invest a fair bit of utility towards that opening control. A little towards window, a little towards connector, flashes to short. So you can see that Karrigan does have the room to peek in this one, but JW isn't far away. And he's watching the play towards short, where Olof sat a little more passively further back. Maybe expecting this to come out from them. Oh, but JW has backed off the smoke, just negating his vision then. And TSM do have control here. dupreeh's up in connector. Krim's tucked on the side. This could be a very close call for Fnatic. They're going to have to hold from the very site itself.
dupreeh now, where will he peek? Oh, Krims, he won't have a chance as he gets taken down now in connector. Karrigan has the AWP in there as well, but Krims is just backed up here. It's going to be a flash over the top as well to buy some more time. Krims does take a big hit though from that AWP, and I think that was Karrigan. Yes, KGB now takes him down. Flasher is forced to push in towards connector to try and take on Karrigan. He's not good enough to get the 1v1. There's 3 now as JW trying to come through from CT. He will at least connect. That's something for Fnatic. The bomb yet to be planted now as Pronax is also getting involved. 2v3 situation. TSM being whittled down player by player. Device must win this 1v1, and he does. Pronax goes down. The 2v2. Device gets another one here, and it's JW. He must hold from CT, but the bomb is going to be planted. He has to do something. It goes for the peak, and Device hits the deck. Ridiculous now. The 1v1. JW with it all to do. The bomb ticks away. He goes towards the USP. He wants to take this one head-to-head. Or will he pick up an AK and go straight in there? He does. cajunb, 40 health left, and he's backed up towards Palace.
cajunb has the peak, but it's JW to shut it down. A 3k for him. A little shoddy at the end trying to get that switch up, but my god, those shots before were perfect. And somehow Fnatic pulled together the pieces at the end there. cajunb had so much more to do, and Device, perfect positioning here. You can see following up well towards Olof. Didn't get the shot towards JW as he hopped up on the ledge, and the timing on this is always so fine. But still, he did win out in the end, and Fnatic keep this one close, 11-12.
Oh, Lauren, I'm getting a bit carried away. That was just insane.
I'm going to have to take you outside to cool you down in a second.
Just hose me off from in the corner. JW will keep the AWP here, of course. Olofmeister go for the mag 7. JW just missing a beautiful shot.
He could have had Device down. It's sometimes the timing on it when you see it with the X-ray. Oh, my word. But still, focusing on this round, you can see Fnatic not having the perfect purchase here, but Olof making the most of what he's been gifted. Karrigan goes down, and we're going to see in TSM working with a deficit. JW's going to catch out dupreeh in mid as well, and that's going to just kind of highlight the issues here with TSM being picked apart, leaving cajunb the only factor working through mid. But Device and Xyp9x are there looking for the fold towards A.
Maybe watching from jungle as yet. JW now comes around. He might catch cajunb. He goes for the pick. cajunb knows what to look for, and he does get the shot now. Will he be able to turn around and pick up Flash? No, but there's Device and Krims getting kills of their own. But Device, as the smoke clears, here's the last man standing here as well. This game is going to go even. He will have to back away and just sit on this one, I think. Try for something cheeky even. Because Team Solo mid find themselves now up against the wall. They're not going to have a lot of money next round to work with either. Device surely should save.
And I love the fact. Oh no, he's going for this. He's trying to get the plant. This is risky. Pronax has got the cross here. Device. How brave are you feeling? Trying to go for the one-tap there, Scream style, but Olof says, no, not today, buddy. But still, I love the little bit of caution when he was trying to peek in towards jungle. I think that was actually cajunb doing it on towards JW. He saw the open, he was like, I need to actually take this shot right. I can't miss one because I know JW will hit it. So, already checking in on that scoreboard. Every member of Fnatic finding a little more form. Olof a little quiet, though, for him. But still, he's doing what's needed. He's been actually blocked out a lot on short. That's the thing. TSM are certainly focusing down on that one. But 21 kills coming through for Karrigan. Another big performance for that man on this map. He's always had some strong performances. But TSM now down to the Deagles. Device already getting chunked down to 13. Fnatic should not lose this one.
JW has gone from the bottom of the scoreboard to the top in about 7 or 8 rounds here. So this guy putting out some serious work now. And he does watch mid. He's persisting here as well. There's no smoke in towards that window as TSM have minimal, in fact, 0 utility to work with here. And the nade is going to hurt Cajun badly. It's a couple Deagles and some pistols here for TSM now, as of course they save up. And the bomb is slowly being carried.
This is so reminiscent of how Fnatic came into this round before when they knew TSM were only on pistols or a shoddy buy. Very passive, very far back, not wanting to take the fights directly, saying, okay, you take mid, we'll just watch you guys walk past. And that's exactly what they've done there. JW will find dupreeh. Flush actually missing the shot towards Device. Crims makes up for it, and now we're just down to 2.
And it will be Fnatic in the lead after this one as well. They've had to grind out some of these rounds awfully hard, but they have their reward now as well. 13-12. This is going to be a photo finish. At this rate, at least, a Solid now buy up, of course. They definitely have no qualms about spending their money, especially when we have an important round like this one. The double AWP here from Flusha and JW as well, into no AWP from TSM here. So I want to see how TSM operate around this one.
Yeah, so 3 rounds back-to-back for Fnatic. The last couple, certainly showing their form here. And JW doing what we expected to see a little earlier on, actually. The early presence in towards Palace. He was doing this time and time again when they're playing a little more confident. But this 3 stack from Fnatic, aggressively looking towards A, has not really worked out too well. It's allowed Karrigan and dupreeh to get some control in mid here, work their way up short, and actually force Olof back towards the B site. And while this happens, the rest of TSM are going to be looking towards Pronax. See what he can do there.
Pronax, well, he's been in this position many times. The man, the flash comes in. A lot of players, but Device finds him before he can see anyone at all. But Olof is there to get one back towards Karrigan, on towards short. Olof now. Molotov out to smoke, in fact, and he takes down KGB. 5 health for the man. Bomb is planted, but he's going to be coming up on Device.
Oh, no! What? Olaf, are you good right now? That was not what I expect to see from Olaf Meister. And TSM are like, okay, if you're going to miss shots like that, we're going to take the advantage. 3v2, make it a 2v2 as Crims pulls it back, but that bomb is down and ticking, and Fnatic going to have to work for this.
Grenade over towards Xyp9x, but Xyp9x still gets Crims. JW's there, though, the 1v1 bomb ticking away. He is short on time, and he's short on friends at this stage, the 1v1. He does get the AWP, but Device is waiting with the AK. JW has no time. He must get this defuse. He'll back away, in fact, and let it go. We get the shot at least towards Device. But solo mid, get one back there. Oh, just those AKs, although it cost them dearly.
Olaf must be kicking himself on that. Like, he picked up insane frags before, and then look at this. It's just like he ran out of mouse mat.
Oh, God. It fell off the table.
It
He's on his leg.
It literally looked like his mouse fell off the table then. I don't know. So Device is a really good ace spawn. I wonder if he's going to go for the opening pick on this. JW as well has the front spawn too. So these two could clash heads. No, Device going to slow it down, do the smoke towards stairs. JW just going to leap past. And we are going to see the early smokes coming into place. Is Fnatic going to push up a little closer this time? And 13-13 being that score. TSM turning it when it matters. JW just standing out like the solo player at the moment. Look at this. Flusha going to flash out into this. How the hell can he get away with this? JW's found KGB. They're playing out of their mind right now. Just such aggression. And it pays off. JW up close and personal. And why not when you can hit shots like that?
I am baffled as to how Karrigan didn't get that kill at all. Yeah. He completely fluffed his lines, and Flusha was able to make him pay dearly for it. And this is Fnatic now 2 rounds away from victory. Solid mid have to go back to some sort of force. I mean, they'll force it. It's solid mid, but they've got bugger all to work with.
Yep.
They've got no helmets on 3 players as well, and they're very short on nades here. This is a round that they can't afford to lose, but the odds are not in their favour.
They're definitely not. They've made these rounds work before, but you'd think it's not going to be this round. They don't have the utility to deny the control in mid, and Flusha just giving you a masterclass in how to spray right now. That's 3 back-to-back, and hell, he's looking for more. Why not? Give him his 4th. He's not going to get it. KGB denies, but Olaf is there to pick up the pieces, and it will be Fnatic on 15.
Match point. Fnatic want to shake the monkey off their back here. In fact, last time they played solo mid, it was a 16-13 victory. Can they do it again here as well? Give themselves some confidence after what's been a rough couple of weeks here. They're now starting to sort of make a resurgence, and this could be the continuation of that, the extension of it. Solid mid, because all they're forcing, now they're still on pistols.
They're up against the odds. They're going to have to hit something beautiful with this. It looks like an A focus. dupreeh, KGB around mid. We've got Xyp9x, Device, and Karrigan opting toward A, but Crims is the only player here so far, and dupreeh just railing down Olof, looks for another, not going to get it. Flusha says no, but cajunb is there, and they're making this work, TSM. There's only 3 players from Fnatic left standing. Don't tell me they can do this.
Oh, don't do this to me, Solo Mid. Of course, they have a rifle in the hands of cajunb now, and Crims has been forced way back. cajunb trying to deal with JW in the mid. He's had to go to the Tech 9 and gets him in mid-air. This is ridiculous. Don't do this to my heart, cajunb. Takes down Pronax, and it's just Crims all on his own. Just as Fnatic on the precipice of victory. Solo Mid pushed them back one more round.
Crims 1v3, ladies and gents. They've got armor. This is not going to be easy, and I think he's going to find that out real soon. But my word, cajunb, what a beast. Picking up 3 in the end that round. And even going to treat himself to the AWP that was left strewn across the floor as Crims is going to get the hell out of there. He knows this round is not for him, and TSM backs to the wall find this sort of form. I absolutely love watching this stuff. This is why this was the game of the day. This is why these are the 2 arguable best teams in the world. And my word, what a brilliant display of it.
Utterly audacious play from TSM, principally cajunb, who not only gets 3 in the round, but also is able to preserve that AWP to hand down. Look at this. This is just nuts. JW in midair. See you later, mate.
And then the follow-up as well, like in case that wasn't enough. Why not get a little more? Still, this could be going overtime right now. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I can't say it enough. But here we go. TSM once again going into this. Got Fnatic up against them. They have the utility to take that mid control, and Fnatic flexing towards this kind of slightly unorthodox play, being more aggressive towards A. But this deep smoke might signify, and Xyp9x gonna take down JW. We might be going to overtime if this keeps up at this pace. Flusha looking for the flash in towards ramp, not gonna get it, and Device waiting ever so patiently, as now Crims and Flusha are the last guardians towards A. Olof holding just towards short, and Pronax on B.
Flusha is aggressively pushed up here as well. You can see Device actually has him just outside there to the left. Smoke clears, and will he go in for this one as well? Flusha will be watching that corner. Who's going to get the better shot? Device has his crosshair trained on that spot. He's looking back towards CT. There's the push from Flusha. Now it's even 4-4 as Flush goes through.
But look where that bomb's heading. It's not really towards A at this point. 50 seconds left, and Pronax, are you doing this a little early? This is quite early actually from Pronax to be flexing this sort of utility to be invested into this. But actually TSM not committing to this just yet. They're actually heading back around. They almost double faked this out. Flusha is going to be the last man standing towards A. Crims is holding not too far back, but he's going to have to turret his way out of this situation if they don't want overtime. Here comes cajunb, here comes Karrigan. There's 20 seconds left, Mitch. They're going to have to commit to this right about now.
Flush is going to be pushed onto very aggressively. He must get Xyp9x as he pokes his head out. Flusha, can he complete? He does. He's looking for another one there. Flash as he's going to come around those boxes here. Oh, it's all happening right now. Flusha finds the head of Karrigan, but cajun responds on towards him. 2v3. Time ticking down. Bomb must be planted now, and it does. dupreeh and cajunb back up. It's a Flash to cover their tracks as they try and get into defensive positions.
It's not ideal. The bomb's planted for short. They have a shot towards it, but there's cajunb again. Crims goes down. It's a 2v2, but the nade comes out from Pronax. It's Device. Already gone through. dupreeh 1v2. He gets one. He gets a second.
Oh my
We're
Lord.
going to overtime, ladies and gents. TSM. What a way to pull this one back from the brink. Wow.
Absolutely stunning stuff there in the final moments of Team Solo Mid. Oh, Fnatic had it. Did they ever? They had that 3-round buffer. They were on the very precipice, and Team Solo Mid, have a look at this. cajunb just with a couple quick taps as well, and dupreeh finishing in style.
Just watch this. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. I love watching these guys play. You know, there is a real reason why this was the game of the day, and I think we're seeing every single aspect of why these 2 teams are so inseparable. I don't know what else to say about this one. Overall, it's just perfect. But still, wait and see how this one goes back in. I don't know what to expect between these 2, because we've seen Fnatic turning around so they shouldn't. We've seen TSM just showing beautiful play when their backs are to the wall, but I don't know, Mitch. I really don't know.
Since ESL 1 Cologne, Fnatic have only lost Mirage once. Only once. Well, this could be the second time in Solo Mid. Winning rounds they honestly had absolutely no business in winning. And yet here we are. 30 seconds now, we'll be into our overtime. And I mean, if you thought the first part of this game was hard to call, then God help us if you're trying to make any predictions now in this overtime. Fnatic A little bit frustrated, a little bit frazzled, I'm sure, but they've been in this position many times before. And up against their arguably arch nemesis here as well, TSM, who just recently rocketed to #1 in team standings. Well, Fnatic would love to take that throne back, and this would be a great place to start.
Yeah, just to remind you guys, if you didn't catch it at the start, the last 3 games, or the 3 times these guys have met, pretty much have been TSM's stronghold. Remembering back to Dust 2, not too long ago, 16-3 was the result in TSM's favor. So it has been quite the TSM battle. However, last time they met on this map, Fnatic won it. So take what you will from it, take what you want towards current form, but these guys are going to take a second to talk things through, because I was worried they may hold a little back for the major incoming, but these two are fighting out tooth and nail. We've seen, you know, a real performance step up from JW in this game as well, considering it was a little slow to the start, but towards the end, starting to hit those shots. The same can be said for cajunb, for Karrigan. I've got to say, Karrigan, even in the ESL, ESEA Pro League last season, was always on point in this map, and it's always been something that's caught off so many teams.
Well, I mean, you know, Fnatic, everyone's been asking the same question. Are they out of their slump? Are they back? Is this real? I mean, the last few games, not super convincing. Even some of their wins against some Tier 2 teams, VP, I think they beat them in there as well. But this will be a great way to start as well. And I think they've impressed me in a big way as well. It's just funny you say, oh, Fnatic have impressed me here, but...
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, isn't it? But still, we are getting ourselves ready for overtime, ladies and gents. Who knows if it's going to be a double? We're going to find out. 15-15 was the closer of the first go of this. What are we going to get now? Fnatic going to start up on the CT side. We see Team Solo Mid, or TSM, should I say. I hate saying Team Solo Mid. Starting out on the T side. But starting with full utility, we've generally seen the fact that TSM have been winning out these rounds due to the commitment of all that towards mid, denying the peaks towards connector. But no, this time, taking the flat-out challenge and Pronax switching up a little. Olaf taking the op towards B. This is a different start for Fnatic.
Interesting to see now is obviously Olofmeister was normally the linchpin on short just to sort of stop any pushes in towards mid, but look at that. The smoke from TSM completely denying that. I think they're heading into mid window. No. Might be a boost in there. It's just Dupree trying to get some eyes on there, but he won't see Pronax yet. Well,
he can always go up to short or then, you know, straight across towards window, depending. But Pronax is waiting very patiently, and look how much Fnatic are giving up on mid. They're saying, okay, you take that. We'll play from the sides, because so far that's what TSM were looking towards very early on. So, you know, JW didn't have much luck there, but this time Olaf is going to find Karrigan over by B. That bomb yet to commit to either side, sitting at the very top of mid. This is going to give Fnatic a little bit more room to breathe, really. And it looks like they're going to try and head towards A, maybe utilize that boost in window, but Pronax has been keeping eyes on this, and Dupree could be in trouble.
Oh, I fancy Fnatic in this situation now as Pronax. Look at the patience from the man. He sees Dupree, and patience pays. Now he'll be able to jump out of ladder room, maybe even look towards short. His device is still looking for him now, but he's been proved very slippery and elusive to try and catch now. Device might try for an A here, but I tell you what, TSM have made 0 inroads here. It's just going to be tough. They're up against the wall.
They can at least use the mollies to maybe clear out some of these corners, but you can see one being committed towards damage, forcing JW out. He's going to get called out by cajunb. Device finds Flusher. Okay, we're back to maybe a round here for TSM, but can Crim stop the rot? Pronax finds cajunb. We're down to the last 5 seconds. Xyp9x still fighting this one out. The bomb yet to go down. I don't know if that's even in time. That was in the last couple of seconds. It does go down. It's a 1v2. Device last man standing here. Bomb is being able to... I think they can see, you can see the bomb from here. So he should be able to work this one out if they don't pressure him. And now, spots out the first. He misses. Olaf edges closer. He doesn't get the shot off. Olaf will find it. And that's the first one in the bag for Fnatic. But that got very, very close.
Unfortunate misses there from Device. He definitely... The round was within his grasp, unfortunately, but Fnatic, just patience for them. Really sitting back on this one. And honestly, looking back at their last match against Team Solo Mid, they're playing completely different.
Yeah, they really are. Even just the positions are different. Clearly in that time between, you know, the actual game time and then the small gap between overtime, they sat back and said, just give them mid control. There's no point challenging it. Maybe if JW fancies a peek at the start, sure, go for it, because he's now got the AWP. So maybe a little bit of a switch up there, and he is going to go for a beautiful movement to hop over towards the left side. The smokes have come into practice, though, and he'll back away.
TSM not even bothering to push mid until that smoke was fully up here, so not willing to really challenge that one out now. And Dupree going to hand the AWP over towards Karrigan. They do want to control mid as much as they possibly can. Fnatic have given it up in the past. They did last round, but Olaf will be waiting. cajunb goes down. Great headshot from the man who head back towards ladder room. The rest of his team are lying in wait.
And again, Fnatic, they're not outstaying their welcome. Look at this. Olaf is going to pick up the position that was played before. This time, JW, he just about makes it away in towards the corner. I don't think they spotted this out. And he's going to find Karrigan just emerging from the smoke, but it's a one-for-one trade out here as dupreeh's going to have to pick up the mantle, try and defuse the situation that's going on towards CT. As that bomb, though, is not looking towards A. It might just make its way over towards B, where Pronax is waiting.
One health for the man. It's not much to work with, but it's enough to take down Device. And it's just Xyp9x now trying to put the pieces together. And the very best he can do is push on towards this one. But Olof is going hunting.
Now, last time he fluffed this shot, I doubt he will this time. Bear in mind, that was the Tech-9 on the site. So Xyp9x waiting for that molly. And you can see Olof's just eyes trained on this. Xyp9x, you don't know how much trouble you're in, buddy. He will get the tag. Actually, Xyp9x, he's going to get down Olof. All right, but there's the close down. Pronax only needs 1 HP to pick up 2 kills. And Fnatic picking up 2 rounds here in overtime. That's a really big beginning. Yeah, a
bit of a blow for Team Solo Mid to have to kick off overtime on that T side. Yeah. Their T side definitely, especially in the early stages against Fnatic, not convincing. They played a lot better when they sort of sat back and had a concrete plan for their CT side. But here's Fnatic now with 2 in a row. They'll have to make it 3, and of course TSM running very low on funds now as we are in the 3rd round. And they lost the first 2 shots. 3 AKs, 2 Tech-9s, armor, and a few grenades. Looks like a set play over towards A. They won't play from in front of the, well, so before those smokes at least. They'll set them up first. It's the first time they've really gone for something like this game.
Yeah, looking towards seeing how this one goes out. So committing the smokes there. We're going to see Krim's one waiting, no smoke towards stairs, maybe trusting Karrigan with the shot towards this. As he does dance back and forward, dupreeh's already pushed up to try and find a kill on it. He found one in jungle, he won't get the follow-up towards stairs, but while this happens, cajunB pushing in through mid will find Krims, and is forcing Fnatic into a real dire situation.
Great Molotov now, JW forced to back up, he does burn down a little bit there, and he's looking for a target over towards that site. Bomb hasn't made his way across yet, and cajunB looking for Pronax, sorry, and there goes Xyp9x onto Flusher.
Yeah, JW now in the 1v3. He should be able to close this round down. Big play coming out from cajunB, splitting through mid by himself and picking up the imperative kills. But so JW working for this one, trying to find what he can. No one giving him an inch in this. You can see Xyp9x just weighing it back, Device as well. No one wanted to swing out while the threat is still up and standing. JW's going to have to go for it. He does get caught in the cross a little, and the close down comes in for TSM, so they're not going to have the cleanest of starts first. You know, Fnatic, not the cleanest in the world, let's just say, but still, a 2-for-1, not too bad.
Not too bad at all there. And Team Solo Mid, for the first time this game, from what we've seen on their T side, have actually gone for a set play towards A.
It worked, yeah.
From behind the smokes, but they still strode out very confidently on there and managed to get the kill. So they definitely needed that one, of course, and Fnatic still with 2 from that half. Nothing to turn your nose at here, but now Solo Mid get their shot at that CT side. And they definitely seem potent on it earlier on in this match.
Yeah, they're going to have to come into this all guns are blazing. I'm wondering what form Fnatic's going to find now. They look a little more warmed up than they started with, let's just say. But still, a little bit more buffer for Fnatic. 2 rounds on their CT side, of course, giving them a little bit more to work with. But we are going to see JW and Karrigan going to be picking up the AWPs. No double AWPs to start with, of course, the money a little bit dangerous if you do go for that double AWP setup here. You can find yourself a little bit down and out, but we're going to be seeing 3 players over towards A for Fnatic, 1 through mid. This is pretty much the standard we saw on their T side to start with not too long ago. So let's see if it works out this time.
Device aggressively towards Palace, but JW is very, very quick to say no to that one there. And Krims as well, shutting that cajunB. So aggressive from TSM here. So aggressive trying to come forward, and it's not paid out at all.
Yeah, normally they'd managed to shut down Olof by now. Now it's down into the hands of dupreeh. He's sat very patiently, just waiting. He does spot one. He's not going to pull the trigger just yet. Trying to find as much information as possible. The bomb is en route. Karrigan's still there. Xyp9x holding on short, but Pronax closing in on there as well. So this is a linchpin moment here for dupreeh. Can he play it right? Bomb actually isn't going A. My God, Fnatic aren't messing around, are they? Olof is already making his way around towards B. Pronax has got the side under wraps. They're going to negate the presence that dupreeh had. He does take down 1, but there's no one else to find. Karrigan's got a long way to traverse, if I can utilize my words. And this is just a really smart play from Fnatic. Even though they had everything, in theory, saying that was the right place to go, they pulled it back, they rotated, but now they need to hold and make sure they get this bomb down safe.
Yeah, TSM, for all purposes, doesn't really look like they're going to go for too much on towards this one, as Karrigan is still just chilling over at ramp here. So Fnatic will get themselves very, very close to the victory here as well after such a hard-fought match. Back and forth stuff here. But Team Solo Mid threw themselves at Fnatic early, and Fnatic read it like a book. They said they're probably going to be aggressive here. JW, the way he was standing and where he was standing in Palace as dupreeh at least gets Olofmeister, he was waiting for that. He knew they would push into Palace and he picked him up.
There we go. dupreeh's going to make it costly to some degree, even though the start money is fairly substantial. And Fnatic not going to get away scot-free, but regardless, it does get them very, very close to that ever so important round markers. Fnatic do close down the last two anyway. 18-16 now. Fnatic looking very, very good in this one. And TSM have to come up with the goods now.
It's now or never for TSM, obviously, of course. And they are, oh geez, spending a lot of money here, of course. And they do have enough at least to get a buy up as well. They've got plenty of utilities. TSM cannot afford to mess this one up at all. See Crimson JW looking to set up something. It's a three-man stack towards B so far for TSM. Device, cajunb again, not as aggressive as last round. He's just coming up towards Palace. Oh, you can see flusha here, just waiting to push out on towards A. Will it be a set play? Smoke towards Palace as well. JW can't see much through that one at the moment. Slow and steady wins the race if you're Fnatic.
1 minute and 15 left on the board though. There's a lot of utility left here with Fnatic, so as you noted, they can still work around this, but Karrigan pushing up towards these apartments is quite the dangerous play, but it's a 1-for-1 trade out. cajunb's going to fall, which will certainly leave a vast deficit towards this A site. Fnatic may want to work off the back of that. The Molly going to slow down JW, deny the peak there, and Olof once again building up through short. Device gets a glimpse, he knows what's coming. He even hops over, denies Olof the presence. dupreeh duly diligent of what was going to be happening, and Fnatic not having a good time in this one.
Not at all. This is really where they wanted to seal the deal, and so far their slow play actually hasn't worked out. TSM have been able to stall them more. So Fnatic have lost time, and then they have time taken away from them. Only 30 seconds left on the clock now, and they must make a move. flusha has already moved up towards Tetris there, but Karrigan looks like he's... I was thinking about sending a flash over with his name on it here, but this is the push now from Fnatic. They've got to go. Karrigan now reads into that perfectly. His timing is just sublime and he backs away. Molotov on towards the side. JW trying to open something up there from Palace, but Karrigan will be waiting for him to poke out and he takes him down. Just two for Fnatic. Now what can be done? Karrigan gets yet another towards Crims and it's just flusha. Time wasn't their friend either, but Solomin takes that one back.
Yeah, TSM playing that really down to the clock, and Karrigan just held his own. He got a little bit aggressive at times, but fell back well when required. And this is now back on again. You know, we're not over and done just yet. Overtime not defined. TSM living to fight another day, but you can see the money not great over there on the TSM board. They're going to go and get what they can, I can imagine. But cajunb does get dropped out in the end, so he'll be okay for this one. And Karrigan still repping this orb. Let's see if he can find anything mid. We're going to have some presence there. Make it 3 players actually for Fnatic. Crims joining Olofmeister and Pronax. So this is a bit of a switch up here, leaving only JW and flusha towards A, and look at dupreeh.
This is so strange. Normally TSM would give up mid completely for Fnatic, but dupreeh...
This could be massive.
It's dupreeh. He flashes himself through the smoke and Olofmeister goes down. He's looking for a second, but Pronax was behind him.
This is a 1-for-1 trade that's really quite unconventional. Karrigan's going to fall back towards jungle. He's still looking for this. He's going to play ahead of the smoke, ahead of the flash. He does get the shot. Crims goes down, and this is perfect stuff. Another trade comes in, but Fnatic are now trailing. 2 players left standing. The 2 that had split toward A early on. That mid threat had been dealt with thoroughly by dupreeh in the end. That push-up just gave so much information. And now JW and flusha in a world of trouble.
2 players left here for Fnatic, and oh my lord, this has been a very, very close overtime here. Kits for all of TSM, and a Xyp9x, who's on B duty right now, but there's JW, opens things up to Device, and that's going to keep cajunb's head very low over here at that A site. Trying to sell maybe this A, and it's working so far. Xyp9x is actually moving towards that mid connector now as flusha. Oh, flusha, he's in underpass. He can pick up a kill here. They can push towards A or back to B. He's seen Xyp9x. He's going to be able to get the jump on him here as well. He gets the headshot. They still want to go towards A, where cajunb is laying in wait here. It's a 1v2. JW pushing across. He's a bit more of a decoy at this stage. It's a 1v1 Cajun. He's going to push through this smoke. Surely gets around the bomb side. Bomb is not down yet. And it's flusha just working his way through the smoke. cajunb can't see him yet. He can see the bullets coming through. He knows approximately where he's going to be. Molotov, 5 seconds left on this one, and cajunb can just step away knowing that his work is done.
Outstanding again, cajunb. Every time questions are asked of Team Solo Mid, he does the job. We're going to second overtime, double overtime coming in. 18-18. I don't know what to say. I thought Fnatic had that after that CT start, but no, this is certainly up in the air. TSM not going to let that one go at all. Every single time, Fnatic's T side is being read so perfectly by TSM. I just love watching these two just kind of clash it out and duke it out. Wow.
10 rounds and 5, of course, for each of these guys respectively on CT and T sides, and now 3 apiece in overtime. How could even possibly get closer than this now? Can we see if one of these teams can break the mold? Will Fatigue start to play into this one? Will Solo Mid change it up again? Will Fnatic's tried and true work through mid prove to be enough? We're about to find out here, ladies and gentlemen, into this second overtime. My God, this game so beautifully close. Let's see what these teams can produce for us.
So now TSM gets to start out on the CT side. It's going to be Fnatic on the T side. And once again, TSM going aggressive for these opening picks. Flusher's pretty much predicting this. He's got the flash in hand. You can see KGB might be caught off, but no, they're both completely blind, and KGB just spraying into that. Will just catch out Flusher by sheer dumb luck almost, as Karrigan follows up perfectly onto Pronax. Device falls in, and Fnatic fall apart. One by one they fall, and one by one Fnatic get just a little bit closer. Oh my God, TSM, how the hell did they pull that off? That was literally just luckiness in the flash. The spray coming out from KGB was, you know, there was nothing beautiful about that one. That was just sheerly him hitting the shot. Look at this, it was just like, and swing.
TSM dig deep to set the tone now for this overtime. Of course, now Fnatic will still go with that double orb. They'll spend the money on that kind of stuff here. Beautiful work from Team Solo Mid there, and that's getting in their head. Sometimes it's not about just winning the round, but about sending a message. And Fnatic now be reeling from that one here, but let's see if they can recover. It's going to be a smoke in towards apartments there as well, but JW is forward of that one now. He might be able to catch Xyp9x, but there's a grenade. It actually hits him directly in the chest, and there's a Molotov to force him right on back.
A little bit of a close start there for JW, but it will be Flusher to find KGB to draw first blood, and Fnatic just kind of infiltrating through mid. Olof's going to find dupreeh, opening up on towards short, and that's going to keep their options towards B very much open. But will they realize Karrigan's been pushing around the back here? Pronax patiently peering towards window. That's Device who's on the other side of things. And only 3 players for TSM. Funny enough, Xyp9x not been asked too many questions just yet, but sadly doing the early work towards JW is sitting very well. But Karrigan's going to have a drop there. Does catch out Flusher. We're going to notice there's no one in A. Xyp9x, get ready. Device, get over there. It's time for TSM to hold on.
Xyp9x now going to be the first to see Chris push through. Bomb is loose and he's down. He can't find JW, who somehow gets the flick of the orb at close range. But here comes Device moving up to this bomb site. He gets down Pronax. He looks for the spray. It's JW. Hits the deck. And it's just olofmeister. Device, massive couple frags.
From 5 players standing to only 1. Olof, good luck, pal. This is slipping beyond reach. He should get the first. Oh no, they both miss. Olof's just chasing it. Oh, he's gonna find Device. He gets the second. Outstanding play from Olof again. Above and beyond. The 4 teammates fell, and somehow he picks up the pieces. This game is just unbelievable. 19-19. No one is breaking ahead.
You've got to be kidding me. Somehow olofmeister just puts it together. Every time it seems like teaser. Look at this. Just... you're kidding me. olofmeister with a massive little clutch there to finish things off, and we are now, yet again, even Stevens and these 2 teams. No one wants to budge an inch, but here's Karrigan. He wants to start things off with a frag down mid. I don't think he'll have it straight away as a smoke. Oh, the jump towards the underpass. He gets on towards Crims. He looks towards top of me, but Olof is there to trade that in.
A great beginning. Coming out for the T side. Just getting the trade is good enough in my eyes, at least I feel. But whether or not they can follow up is the next thing. Xyp9x is going to deny JW this time properly. Last time just dealt a lot of damage. Now Fnatic are operating on merely 3. But then again, Olof is still one of them. So I guess you can't write it out. But KGB's timing could be perfect. Doesn't get the drop there. Actually doesn't spot him out. So they will get a little bit further ahead. But there's still Device, there's still Xyp9x. And KGB is slowly closing in.
And again, we're going to see a flank here from TSM towards that T-ramp, getting all the way around. He's going to go on to olofmeister as well. He has a bomb in hand. It's going to be devastating right now. Bomb loose. Will KGB get a second? No. He's happy with just the one as Pronax drops and it's just flushing out. He's got a lot of work to do, and it's just not going to be enough as Device will pick him up. And there's Solo Mid again. Tit for tat it is, but Solo Mid with 2 from that half of our second overtime.
Well, now the pressure's on. Let's be honest here. It's always been the T sides, but Fnatic finding one, and back and forth we go. TSM now going to have to find their form on the T side, and I don't think we could have asked for more of a perfect game. A superb beginning for both, and I'm loving watching this, but still, gonna wait for this one to start up. Both sides looking pretty damn on point here, and I don't know. The thing is that in theory, that should have been TSM with a clean 3. You know, you can't always factor in olofmeister pulling off stuff like he does, but that should have been 3 rounds for TSM then. Whether or not that's going to come back and haunt them, we're going to find out, because I do believe we are getting ourselves ready for what could be the final half here in overtime. Let's see if TSM can close out on their T side. We've seen them doing well on occasion, but Fnatic certainly learning the tricks to their trade further into this game, and we are going to be seeing no AWP actually for TSM to begin with.
Now that was the third half so far of this overtime with 2 CT rounds won. So it's 2-1 for every single one of these now. And let's see if Solar Mid can break that particular mold now.
Fnatic are going wild. Look at this. 3 players up mid. They're going to go for the instant challenge. This is going to be huge. And they're going to catch up. TSM dupreeh goes down, but cajunB holding on.
Oh, let's see the response is olofmeister still trying to make things happen, and it gets double. And there's Device and Xyp9x are the last 2 left. And flusha, he's going to shut down Xyp9x. And Device, his team, is fallen all around him now. He does get a lovely shot towards flusha, but now with 3 Fnatic players to deal with, the only caveat is that 2 of them are under 20 points of health.
Bomb will go down. Device has no utility. It's just him and that rifle. And the players on the lower HP are going to take the long route. He's going to get the tag towards Pronax, but they've got so much to flush him out. They've got so many mollies, so many flashes. He shouldn't be allowed this chance. And on CT side, you can see slowly but surely creeping in was JW with the shutdown. And Fnatic with, well, balls of steel doing that mid play. Olof coming up with the goods, eventually picking up 2, and JW as well then picking up 2. But that was very, very close towards the end. But Fnatic bring it back all even.
Stealing the rug out from underneath TSM. Look at this, giving them no time to set up. They wanted to get some set smokes over towards mid window, and Fnatic were not even going to give them that room to breathe. And it was a great hold by flusha on A after that as well. And there's nothing Team Solar Mid could do to react from that one. And it is still even, Stevens. 20 rounds apiece for these guys. And this is going to go all the way.
Yeah, we are not going to find out a winner too soon, I can imagine. These guys, blow for blow here. Karrigan the Boxer doing what, like the intro says, and the previous major, just every single step of the way. Nice little smoke there towards the, let's say, A side of Connector. flusha, though, going to flash that one out. Going to try and take some back. A little bit of control, because there are 2 players here. Olof's going to find cajunB. That's going to ring the alarm bells, and flusha backs out as TSM pour through towards A.
flusha now just backing up a little bit as JW gets in on towards Xyp9x, and again, TSM down to 2. A lot of players for them to deal with here, and Carrick gets so close to flusha. He's going to try and spray through that smoke. He hasn't quite connected, but there he does. And it's just Device, the 1v4. The man has a Molotov at least, but flusha's going to go looking, and he finds his target, and that's Fnatic now putting themselves back in front. 2 rounds for them on their CT side, and the pendulum continues to swing.
All right. Who's going to be the ones to fall first? That's the big question. Who's going to drop it? Let's find out. We're a couple of seconds away from the sun starting back up. Fnatic on the precipice now, showing that they can do it on the CT side. They need one more. One of these teams needs that clean 3, basically. And we are going into what could be the final round here, arguably. TSM, with what they want, they've got the rifles, they have a fair touch of utility, not perfect, no AWP to be found. And once again, we're seeing an early presence through that underpass. JW's peeking out, but look at this, dupreeh's already found Olof, trying to turn the tides for Fnatic. But it's not going to happen just yet, as JW will adapt over towards that B site.
Pronax now moving up on towards short, and JW, as you said, is right there with him as well. Has the AWP in hand, they're going to shut down any sort of mid-presence. But 2 Solar Mid players in those apartments here, and Pronax, maybe a 6th sense about it as he just backs up. Realises that he's happy to leave JW watch towards short. He's pushed onto mid as well. But
let's remember the bomb's still by A. That's another factor here. That's in the hands of Xyp9x. Device does swing out, looking towards CT, but not going to find too much. 2 flashes placed. But Fnatic are still believing this is going to be a B play. The bomb's not really en route, but there are 3 players pretty much watching this. If TSM commit here, this could be dangerous. But then again, flusha can still be such an immovable object. Pronax well positioned waiting. 40 seconds remaining. TSM are not finding a way into this one.
Pretty hoping to sell something, or at least just block out mid there, as JW is going to be waiting at B. And he is just going to sit back there, look towards short, and he should be able to snap up Karrigan there. He does, and that is going to slow down TSM now as they're 1 player short. Moving on towards this one, JW can't make the shot at close range, and Device will be able to steamroll over the top of him, but Pronax is sitting there waiting, and he will take down Device.
Massive positioning from Pronax just to buy time. It's down to 17 seconds. Fnatic have the upper hand. It's all on Xyp9x. 1v2, 10 seconds remaining. flusha says no, and ladies and gents, Fnatic finally close it down, but that was the marathon we were looking for. Absolutely perfect stuff. truly noble play from TSM at the end, just getting it so close, yet just slipping at the final hurdle.
Unbelievable stuff there from both of these teams as well. And you really, you could throw a tissue over the two of those the whole time. They were, again, 10 rounds on the CT side for both of these guys, but the real magic started to happen towards those last few rounds of the game.
I don't know what to say. There's so much to be said about that. The adaptation between both sides when they were going back and forward, and you could see, you know, at the start of it, TSM were consistently gaining control in mid. You saw Fnatic's response then on their CT side by falling super passively, playing from the sites themselves. But that is a game to be remembered, and bearing in mind, you know, there's so much more to be seen from these two teams. But I've got to say, that was the absolute perfect way to not just close out the day. We still got one more game to go, but a perfect way to highlight our game of the day. Absolutely.
I'm still, you know, in the throes of ecstasy watching that one as well. A few times I'm getting looks from Lauren like, all right, let's just relax a bit.
Yeah.
As the adrenaline is pumping, of course, for you guys watching at home in Fnatic. Well, I'd be happy with that one.
Yeah, I can imagine they will be, and they might just be able to reclaim their place at the very tip top of the leaderboard so far, as I think TSM did pip them to the post not too long ago, or actually they might just be able to chip slightly further ahead. But those two are fairly secured at the Pro League so far. They are in first and second position, and I think we just saw why. But still, this is not over just yet. The night is still young. We have one more game to go, and that's going to be SK up against Titan. Now, I'm curious to see who SK turn up with. And of course, Titan starting to pick up their performance. So guys, do not go too far. Take a moment after that game to calm down, cool down, and we'll be back. Welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League. Of course, after that little bit of a highlight match, we needed a moment, but the teams were raring to go, so we'll be getting this one started up real quick for you guys. It will be SK up against Titan, and Titan do manage to pick up the knife here. It's going to be going down on Cash, but gotta say, looking forward to these two. Hopefully I don't know how much it's going to ever keep up to the caliber of what we just witnessed, but it's always a good fun game to get to watch Scream go on a wild tear on SK here, it seems.
Well, that's right. I mean, SK Gaming are bringing in the stand-in, of course. We said earlier on we didn't really know what they'd be bringing into this game. Magisk, I think it is.
Yeah.
Who we have seen play before. He's played for TSM on some occasions. He has played for SK before as well. So a bit of a Danish merc, you could say.
Yeah, he's played for TSM in the past. He's played for SK. I think Epiphany Ball as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's been around the Danish scene quite a bit. I'd like some more detail on him. If you guys at home know, of course, let us know. But still, let's get our heads into the game because we are live into this one. There will be SK on the T side and Shox already kicking things off with a bang.
That's right, it's a heavy push for SK here at the moment now. As you can see, Xander going to be running straight towards existence. Oh, he gets two as well. Xander giving us some magic here, but not enough as RPK is going to pick him up.
Yeah, really nice stuff from Titan, just barreling around the back there, but it's down to Scream and Shox to find anything else. They do have the def kit still on Scream. Nade's going to do some work towards Asilian. He's going to swing out from that box, but spots out both players. Shox will find him. It's down to a 2v2, but the damage going to start coming in towards Titan. They've made it through towards the site, but where are these two remaining players? Freeze still buying time on the side itself. He's going to catch off Freeze. Shox baits it out, and they know where he is. He can go for the full defuse, but no, Shox goes in for it, picks up 4, but he can't get the defuse. The kit was on, I believe, Scream, so they'll be backing away from this one. First round goes to SK.
SK have lost their last 6 matches, actually, I think, and 4 of them have been against sort of tier 2 teams as well. So
yeah,
they haven't had a lot of games against all these sort of top tier teams. So statistically, not really, wouldn't be putting too much money on them. Here is Santa with that nice little double. Cheeky little guy. So yeah, I mean, and in case they've lost 7 out of 8 of their last matches on here as well. It's a good start for them, but I want to see as Titans start to, you know, flex their muscles a bit. What happens here? They're forcing up here on this second round.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how Titan come into this. You know, Titan is sitting fairly mid-table, I'd guess, at the moment, and SK are firmly toward the bottom half. So I'm wondering if Titan are going to try out new things, have a little bit of fun with it. And I think Scream just fluffed up doing the boost there, but they'll be all right. They can do it from the less safe side if they fancy it. It looks like they're just going to go for the boost on site itself. But anyway, Sandon waiting for the counter boost to come out. Not going to be happening. Titan holding the sites themselves. And 3 rifles for SK, the UMP for Cillian, and just the SMG for Cadian as well. So, as you said, yeah, a little bit of a shoddy ride for SK at the moment. They've been having these roster problems, and they're taking this round very, very cautiously.
Cillian here just lining up the Molotov in towards Vents. One catches on there as well. As for the most part, Titan have been happy just to give them ground here. But here's Shox in mid. He got flushed out, I think, by that Molotov. And that was, he will go down to that one as well. Look at Smiths here, looking for something, pushing up a little bit aggressively. Sandon is directly above him at this stage. And only 5 points of health.
Yeah, they're going to know it's a B, though. Look at this. Titan already stacking out 3 players there. Scream's just going to make the peak, make some noise, allow the likes of Existence to get some damage done with the Deagle, and he's going to have the chance here. Not going to be landing too much. Sandon's low, but the kills are coming in for SK. as RPK waiting patiently on the site, reserving bullets and putting them down well here. He gets 2, not going to find any more, but Sandon and Freeze were low there, but they do maintain the 3 rifles, and they do get the second round.
Yeah, so that force for Titan there really to no avail by the looks of things here. As SK battered and bruised as they were, actually managed to close that one out in the end. It's not a terrible start at all from the Danes here, as Titan have only played Cache once since June.
I love you saying quiche.
Cache.
It's like quiche.
Cache, mate.
I get hungry. I don't know.
Cache? Nah,
Cache.
Cache. I've only played Cache once since June, and that was the last time they played.
Do they play a Diggity at all, or is
Diggity?
that...
Yeah, Diggity.
Hey.
Diggity with a Dak Dak,
I can't wait for the Dak Dak to come out. Anyway, we can come back into those stats in a moment's time, because it looks as though we are going to be seeing another cautious round from SK, but they're going straight in towards a stacked out Titan.
Now, Shox was a bit aggressive there towards A main, and Cadian is going to put him down quite quickly as the nade also bounces in towards Scream, and this is SK setting things up fairly nicely as they want to make this push on towards A, but his distance there is able to slow them up just a little bit there as well. Acilian forced to sort of push out from long, and this is Smith still waiting in this boost spot. Didn't even take the shot towards Acilian here, as existence is enough to take him out.
And looking at Smiths right now, just waiting out very patiently. Freeze doesn't know where that just came from. Okay, now there we go. Sandon found it. It was like the little text like...
Not sure what the point
Freeze
was
is
there.
like panicking around a little bit, but they do get the bomb as well. So SK actually building up a good bit of money here. 3 rounds in the bag for them. I just worry once it gets to these gun rounds, you're going to see that kind of slightly, the superior play from Titan coming into effect. But we're going to find out if SK can maybe find a little bit of form with the new man, Magis coming in. Freeze yet to find a frag in this, but everyone else playing well. So let's see if they can keep this up now. This is the important one. Freeze has got the AWP, so I'm looking forward to him using that Bugatti. Titan pushing up in mid, getting some control down. Scream and Shox looking to get some presence.
Yeah, no attempt towards boost here by the looks of things at this stage, and SK mostly want to go towards A main here. You can see the smoke up in front of him. Shox is going to get boosted over as well. He might be able to catch Acilian if he gets up there quick enough, and even Sandon has just stepped back for a moment as well, just to look towards that one. Titan playing it slow over that boost here. Cadian, a heck of a lot of smoke in A main. It's not going to allow him to push through at this stage yet. But there's Cadian, does find Smiths here as well. We'll stick with Shox though now, as he does seem to want to come up towards Cadian. Sandon, sorry. And Bomb is down as well.
Look
He's
at this
doing work.
aggression. Look at this. Shox knows what's up, and he's going to get the follow-up. And actually, Acilian had the drop from him. Cadian's going to pick up the pieces and pull it back to the 3v3, but still, Freeze is going to have to work for this one. And look at the swing out. Scream, just so clinical.
Yet again.
Freeze just getting executed. And it's just down to Cadian. He's got the AWP. He might not even want to go for this, but he's got so much time to stay alive. I think he's going to have to take some form of challenge here. And actually, Titan are backing out of this. They're not playing as close as they were. RPK falling back towards Struck, Scream towards Highway, and Existence sitting on the B side.
RPK going to go down to Caddy in there, but there's still 2 for Titan.
He's going to have to get the ace to work this one out.
3 already for the man now. So, going to take the bong over towards B at least, slowly, as it were. The Scream is looking towards mid. I feel like Scream, ever since, of course, that match against Envy, he's just deliberately now working to preserve his headshot ratio as well. He's always trying to keep it nice and high and see if he can reach that 95.4 or whatever ridiculous bollocks number it was. But there's Existence on the bomb side, and Cadian, unfortunately, is going to fall to him and give up the AWP in the process.
So, Titan picking up round 1 of the gun round there. The first gun round coming in, really, the important one. And that was quite an investment from SK. You can look at their money and see, even Magix is a little low on it. But, yeah, they can drop each other out. They're not in the worst predicament. It's just not ideal. So Galil's coming out. Going to have to go for, actually, just a Tech 9 on Acilian. So, looking to forge something through this. Maybe just a quick play. But Freeze is going to have to be the man with the magic. He's got the AWP. He's got the good spawn for it. But we know Titan like to do this push up in mid. And he's not even going to challenge it.
Straight away, Freeze is denied an early poke there as well. Well, he didn't get there early. I guess that was half the problem
they're
now.
Doing the counter boost this time.
Yet again, Shox is going to go over this one. He worked last time out, but Cadian is boosted up inside that garage as well. So Shox is going to hear that. You can see Sandon is just sitting back ready to watch that as well with the Galil. So Shox, if he's reliable, should be able to take his head off here if he just makes that peak, but being very careful about it now. Look at the counter boost here. Freeze is going to get put up there, but it was Sandon back from the truck that managed to get the kill. And SK put a lot of resources into sort of denying that push up.
Yeah, they know what they like doing. They know that Titan's going to be fairly aggressive in this one. And it's something that's theory crafted quite a lot by analysis. The fact that if you're against a team on paper who's a little weaker than you or who you're confident against, that team will have to make you respect them. Otherwise, you're going to keep doing this aggressive stuff, keep pushing up. And it's very hard to predict that. So if SK keep doing this, sitting back, being patient, playing slow, playing methodical, Titan might have to fall back into a normal rhythm here. And you're seeing Titan have to do so. They're playing very patiently, but SK really running down the clock.
SK definitely wanting to keep tight and honest here, but as you said, they're running out of time to do so. And Asilian has the bomb towards B here, and it's just RPK actually up on Heaven, if I'm not mistaken, but their Scream on towards Cadian, just getting it done as per usual. He'll back away from A main though as well, and it seems like they will cast their eyes towards mid and B, and this is RPK hearing a lot of sounds here as he's inside the checkers room. Oh, Magist is with his back to him. Why not check that corner? I don't know, as RPK can now move up, shots towards the site, and this looks absolutely clinical. A, B, C. Sandon will be able to get on towards RPK, though. It's a 2v2. AWP in the hands of Smith, so the bomb is down.
Let's find out if it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. It looks like it. Smith finds Sandon. Now Freeze has to go big here. The bomb, I guess he could see it if he commits slightly around the corner. He doesn't get the shot towards Scream he needs, and Scream doesn't need many opportunities at these sort of shots, and he's going for those one-taps. And on the bomb, no, Freeze, you needed that shot. Oh my God, that is devastating. He could have hit it, but he just fluffed his lines a little, and that means that Tyne get 2 to SK's original 3.
That's a shame. That really was. And Freeze just missing that shot towards the bomber. Would have bought plenty of time there for the man, and that is going to be very frustrating for SK Gaming now. Titan, well, counting their lucky stars a bit there. Definitely some gung-ho, some cavalier play coming out from them there, yielding some results. Smith has the AWP in hands here again. Asilian going to be boosting up some of his teammates. Magist going up there very early with a P250 straight on into mid. Such aggressive play. It's a lot of smoke as well. It's keeping Scream back out. He'll be looking for the head right now as well, but he's got players all around him. He does spot out Magist. He gets 1, he gets 2. That's Shock Story that got 1 there as well. And Freeze will push through the smoke to meet his maker oh so quickly. And SK breaking it.
Out of all of his kills so far, he still does retain a 100% headshot ratio. So on the kills he has achieved, every single one has been a headshot. This guy is just a monster, and he plays towards this as well. You've been seeing it, and why not? If you're that good at it, just keep it up. I love watching this guy play. So yeah, out of the 4 kills, all 4 of them have been headshots. Nothing too big so far, but keep your eyes on that stat going forward. It's always a fun one to watch. But still, 3-3 now. SK, once those big guns came out to play, have kind of shied away from picking up rounds here. They've got close a couple of times. Freeze had the moment then to pick up something, but just couldn't really turn it into an actual round. So let's see if maybe a little bit of a speed up here is going to work out. Actually, that is a good start there. Magist going to find Shocks. And now a 5v4 in favour to SK.
So SK sitting back on this one for the most part here. Smiths has been boosted on A. And RPK, after an aggressive push out and towards B main, will persist on this actually after a smoke. Will hide his movements in towards that sunroom. The Cadian though is quick on that one. The shots, but RPK gets a spray down through smoke. It is a trade. As Cadian is able to take him out, and Titan only working with 3 players, but honestly they've won these last couple rounds from a player deficit, so you can't count them out. And SK just have to be patient here as well. They don't want to throw themselves into this one here.
Oh, look at that angle.
Wow.
I've not actually seen that before. I didn't know you could get on top of the light that way.
Clipping on the light.
He's just on the light, yeah. So you get to see them pushing through, but you don't show your wow. I thought I have like, I think I've got like 5k hours in this game now. Maybe almost 6. And it's just like, still don't find spots like that sometimes. That's awesome. It's always good to find something out new. But still, you can see Titan don't want to commit anywhere just yet because they don't know where the SK side are heading. They did originally commit those 2 players towards B, but Scream actually backed away now. He's going to have the perfect lineup. You can see that crosshair placement is perfect. Not going to get the first tap there. And now Existence going to be on the line. Just going to spray down. He gets down 1. Not going to follow up though. Sandon will find it. And that's going to keep hope alive for SK.
Smith is able to get through into vents just as that Molotov fire does clear through. Well, at least Freeze can't do it. But you know Smith is going to be able to. He will still drop to Sandon. But Scream is above him. The bomb is ticking though as well. It is going to require that Scream come forward and actually go for this one here as well. Can he do it? No! And unfortunately, Sandon, well, for Scream at least, will be able to pick him up. And that's SK getting it back there as well. Scream, unfortunately, not able to get that headshot that he'd be looking for. But SK doing well there. Holding on. They had the player advantage and then lost it. And then they maintain the round here. So it's 4 on the T side for them. Not too shabby at all.
Yeah, really nice stuff from Sandon in the end to close that one out. I like that. Not often we see sort of that form of play from him, but still, let's keep our eyes into this round. Freeze back onto the open. Titan actually not with the perfect of buys, to say the very least. The 5-7 with Scream there. A couple of Famises as well, strewn throughout. Smith's not even having armor. So he's probably going to be boosting himself up, looking to maybe just pick something up with Ricardo. Actually fluffing that as well, so not going to get the chance. Maybe go back for a second crack at it. No, go back out of there. Not going to go for 2s. And RPK picking his mouse back up off the floor. As they just waited out. And I like this little spot from Existence, depending on picking up the first kill here and then maybe backing off.
RPK just going to turn away from that flash. He's probably concerned about Existence's one. Flashing him as well. Good nade as well. Cadian Get a bit of health shaved off him now as Titan are just... Well, they're sending a statement as well to saying, we're happy to hold this one, so come and get it. And Freeze, he's going to do just that. Oh, the leg tag is not enough to get the kill, and he goes super low for that one as well. He can no longer push forward. Magisk got himself in towards Checkers there. But there goes the smoke as well. That's going to keep him out for the moment, and time continues to bleed down. Shox now trying to apply some pressure from another point, but Asilian can reply on towards him. Probably didn't expect the 3-stack there for SK, but yeah, there they were. Maybe working towards mid as Magisk is actually almost stranded here at Checkers, hoping maybe for some assistance out from Vents as SK move into mid.
There's still 2 players on A, bearing in mind, and I think one of them is boosted up here. I'm kind of curious where they're going to take this. Yeah, Smith's finally to make on the boost and Scream's on site, so still not easy. The bomb heading through main, 2 up highway for the T side here. Scream waiting out, Smith turns it. He gets Asilian down, and somehow those shots from highway just not finding their true maker. Look at this again. What? How is Smith able to get away with this? Look at the time. They can't get the bomb anymore. SK, oh my god, you just let it slip unbelievably so, and Smith just made the most of that.
How did Smith survive that? I don't understand. I know there was some smoke up, but still, SK could see above the smoke to where he was, and those shots didn't connect. Smith was able to gun down the man pushing out of A main, and then still survive. SK, my god, keep it together, boys, now. 4-4. So heading towards this next round. I'm tired of having to play this one out nice and slow here. Smith does have an AWP. It's actually famous for 3 players here at the moment here. Scream does have that M4, and SK on a force, big time.
SK need to get this one going. They keep getting close, but they seem so hesitant to pull things together. The mid-round call's just not in place if you're running out of time like that. The players from Highway just didn't quite have the potency they wanted. Normally players like Smith would not get away with holding that sort of angle, but still, now he has the AWP. Going to catch a glimpse of, I think he saw at least the hand there, or maybe the arm of the player, but they're pointing through towards that forklift side. Sandon will take down Shox. Now Smith's is going to be where the buck stops if he gets away. Just about whipping through there. As you can see, the rest of the time, boys, pouring in towards the site.
Scream now is in the thick of it. There's smoke in front of him. There's players on the other side. RPK takes down Asilian, but there goes Scream. Cadian, great headshot there with the CZ to do some work, but RPK is responding. Existence as well. He's looking towards A-main. He finds Freeze. RPK drops, and now Existence in a 1v2. He tries to go for Sandon, but Sandon with a strong round there. 3 kills for that man. Put SK back out in front, albeit just by a nose.
Yeah, not by much there. Actually, it's going to put Titan in a bit of a predicament money-wise. This is a good performance thus far from SK, considering, you know, they are currently bottom of the entire league with yet a, not even getting a single win in the bag. This is not a bad bit of play coming through from them. They are finding a little bit of something here. Sandon being the main man, kind of pulling them towards that. Not only clutching out a couple of rounds, but leading the way on the scoreboard. But let's see what they go for here. Titan don't have a great deal to work with, so down on those pistols, going to stack out the A site. 4 players there, 2 through Squeaky, maybe just 1 in the end. I think they put Scream there, and I think Asilian might have heard that. Not too sure, but he's certainly aware that this might be happening.
Scream just posturing here towards long A. Always just jump across the doorways to see Asilian trying to send a salvo in his direction. They might double peek this here and get a bit cheeky. Shox is there, close by. They'd love to challenge him down, at least get the gun away from here. But SK have players close by to Asilian. It's going to be a Molotov here to try and sort of flush Scream out. What's he going to do? He's going to sit in the corner. He manages to get across. No, Cadian will send him back in there with the MP7. And that Shox also, as the flames engulf. Devour. One of those two. He was looking for either one. Got both. His teammate's body. Shox will now back away towards that A side. RPK is there as well here. It's a very interesting positioning from Titan. The existence at Smith still over at B.
Yeah, Titan not reading much into these kind of fakes out towards B so far. Existence just peeks in. Actually, Smith's rotating towards A. He's like, no, I'm not buying that. Not buying what you're selling. RPK and Shox still by Squeaky. Smith's en route. And let's see what they can do. Great little flash to slow them down. RPK is the perfect view as they cross over here. Will they expect it? There's one. He can't get the follow-up just yet. But Shox is still lurking in wait. Smiths is there. His CZ finds Cadian. And it's all becoming very possible for Titan. No, not so much more unless Shox can do something very big here. This should be around for SK. They have a player on highway. And you just do not get peaks like this. There we go. Freeze will close down, and SK taking a bit of a lead now. Titan, where have you gone?
Not too shabby T-side here so far for SK Gaming, and Titan, a team on the cusp of that sort of top bracket of teams with potential to qualify, yeah. Do not want to drop this game. You cannot afford, at this stage of things in the season, to let this one go by the wayside here. So, only with 4 so far now, and honestly, a little bit underwhelming from them, considering what we've seen them sort of be able to do in the last couple of days. They've had some nice games. It was good ups against Na'Vi last week. This is not a map that they play much of, and this is just the way the league works. It kind of forces you to play all the maps Titan now just need to get their act together here. Pistols in hand, and it's a heavy B push here. Cadian is going to open things up onto ours. RPK is going to be making money with that SMG, and Magisk is going to find the head of existence as well. That's the B presence neutralized there, and even Shox trying to get around from middle will be taken out.
Yeah, and SK just seem to be on the train of just stick together, guys. We'll just go with each other. No one goes one by one anymore. Smith's trying to make the most of the deagle, going to be sent flipping backwards. And now it's just Scream alive, and he only has the USPS, so shouldn't be able to find much out of this one. Should be a clean round coming in for SK, unless he can maybe find Sandon, but he shouldn't be able to do so. Cadian leading the charge with that MP7. Trying to check these corners, and he will find down the Scream. So, SK on their T side, I'm basically waiting for Titan to wake up at this moment, but thus far, SK are leading very, very well. Now, Titan have been a little shoddy on their buys. Sure, they haven't been the best position, you know, economy-wise, it's not been good for them, but still, this is not what I expected. Titan looking a little shaky here, and SK bringing out the big guns. We're going to see a bit of a turn-up of performance here from Sandon and Cadian. These two really doing well. Freeze has been having a bit of a mare, but still, if he finds a little bit of a spark towards the end here, this could change everything. But let's see if SK can keep this sort of pace up.
Well, Freeze with the AWP in hand now. We see JW in that last game managed to go from bottom to the top very quickly, especially when he started making some of those serious plays here. So let's see what SK want to go for here. It's Magisk in checkers here, trying to get some shots over towards that B side, and will be a nade to follow as well, just to soften up existence a bit. Smoke down as well. He's selling this fairly well for just one play here, but he will get pushed onto quite directly, but he could flick towards where RPK was standing, and he's holding his own nicely so far now. It's a flash on towards the site. Will he challenge yet again? Will he hold against Existence? Nope. Existence canning enough. Will hold that position. It's a 4v4. And the bomb. Most of SK still love to sit back on mid here. Sandon goes over the top. He's going to be looking for Shox here. At least Shox will be waiting for it. And the Molotov not going to find Shox. And he takes down Sandon. Oh, Titan all over it now. SK just letting it slip here mid-round.
Yeah, it was like they always wanted the picks then, and they wanted them to go for the challenges in mid, but if you're not going to hit the shots, you're going to fall under the hand of Titan. And Smith in the end does find a Cillian, who was just in that smoke in front. So yeah, it looked as though SK were trying to draw them into making those peeks towards mid to try and get them to take the fight, but as noted, Scream, Shox and Smiths just doing the shutdown work when required. And even on B, it wasn't the most successful of times, as RPK even did end up trading out when I think it was Existence picked up the frag. So, looking at this round, SK can still purchase into this one. They do have the ult back on Freeze. They have pretty much, they're not the perfect buy, but a good enough buy that they can work with here. And the early boost going to come out once again, trying to get something done, but Shox sends them packing as Freeze finally catches the legs of Scream. It doesn't follow up perfectly.
Freeze in position though, at least with that AWP right now, as SK already whittled down to 3 players. Nicely done as Existence drops there. Very brazen of him to punch through that vent at that particular moment. But here's Smiths as well, inside A main as well. Really wanting to harass towards Freeze. He's got a good angle on Freeze now. If he wants to poke, he might find his head rolling at his feet there. I'm not sure if he saw Smiths there. I don't think he did, but he'll back up at least and just be a little bit more conservative about this one. Cillian, though, might step up to the plate. And there goes his head as well. That's 2 now for SK. Freeze all the way back here as well. He might get pushed as Smith's forced to duck and dive out of the way. But he's buying a lot of crucial time here for the rest of Titan.
He almost got ahead of peeking into that flash as well. But to be fair, Titan aren't in the best place in. No one's left on towards A. Shox already making his presence known in mid. RPK consistently playing B. I'm surprised that SK have taken their time going towards A here. They look like a bit of a gift. Maybe don't want to just rush it, but it has given time for RPK to get a little closer now. The bomb in the hands of Freeze, remember. Shox is not too far behind as well. This could be trouble. Shox is making the shots. RPK pushing forward. This 2v2 is looking better and better for Titan. Bomb goes down. RPK just snuck in towards the side, but it's down to a 1v1.
That's it. Magisk has to plant the bomb now as well. He knows, I think he knows at least, that there's someone in A main, so he's going to plant in the safest spot possible and try and back away from this one and get a good spot, but there is Shox lying in wait to pick up that player now, and it will be a defuse from Titan. I'll be honest, Titan taking some very audacious peaks, some very aggressive positioning, but it's working out for them for the most part here with 6 rounds now to their name.
And I'm just a little shocked that SK didn't speed up that round. Once again, kind of the in-game calls. They know where these guys have been playing. Shox already picked up 2 kills in mid. They had the perfect opportunity to maybe make that play towards A little earlier before RPK was able to rotate around. Now, don't get me wrong, you can't assume everything, but a little surprised SK didn't take that opportunity a little sooner. But it does give that window of chance to Titan, who will make the most of it in the smoke. Going to come in towards Box this time. Shox is out in mid. And again, SK have been taking their time on these rounds. They're not rushing it. They like to take the control here. And it looks as though they are testing the waters over by B. 3 players heading that way with Freeze and Cadian by mid. It's very much a passive game here. Titan just responding accordingly, back and forward going. But it's only RPK waiting this time, so SK actually going to take the chance.
RPK back on this one now. SK, yep, they're going to flood in towards this B side here, and RPK's been taking his time. But this might work out from now as he does take down Magisk. Can he get a second? Cadian will shut him down, but Shox to the rescue straight through Ven. Oh, with 3, the man is on fire right now. He won't get a 4th, but he's definitely done more than enough to get Titan that round, and they make it even at 7 apiece.
Yeah, I asked a question of Titan earlier about their performance, and they've seemingly given me their response. 7-7 now. SK getting a little quiet into these rounds. The individuals finding their voice here. Shox, what a bit of perfect timing comes through. And that bomb plant has become a little bit of a rinse and repeat moment here for SK. Several times being called out going for that one, and Freeze even failing slightly to deny the defuse on it previous to now. But now looking at SK, they are down to just the pistols. They've got a bit of utility though, so they can make something out of this. RPK ever so patiently soloing this side as well. Occasionally he will have support, but this time he will be by his lonesome. And there are 5 players ready and waiting to challenge him down.
Let's see if he can hold it now. He's going to take his time in the corner. Let them push in, and he's going to be able to get on towards Freeze. No, Freeze actually responds accordingly. Shox going off like a frog in a sock last round. Let's see what he can do now as he pushes up and towards Heaven. Existence is there as the Molotov does dissipate. And that's Cadian in the corner as well. It's going to be a second molly to force Existence back off that one. He's going to have to be Shox working in from lobby. The smoke goes to stifle that one, and Magisk is ready for the push from the rotate as well. That will be Smith's actually coming for a flank, but this has been good work for SK to keep Titan away from this one now. Cadian takes down Scream, and Magisk is just sitting tight here as well, just waiting for a little flank. It will be Smith to give it. Only a deagle here for Magisk, and he's just going to fluff that one badly. Titan now on the 2v2. Shox with the double. He's doing it yet again, Lauren. I don't know if I can take it anymore now. The 1v2. Bomb down. AK in hand. The molly at his feet. Not enough time left at all.
No, he doesn't have the time, I don't think, here. Freeze just stays alive. He won't have the time to do this. He jumps in the last seconds, but Freeze knows he won't fluff it twice, but oh my god.
Oh, please.
Shox, you don't get the round, but that shot was sexy as hell. But still, SK keeping a lead here is absolutely brilliant for them. They are last currently standing in the league. I know it sounds condescending, but this is a good game for them. It's a little close, but they've been picking up rounds here and there. But Titan, I don't know what to make of this. I like that play towards B from SK. They kind of retained their utilities for the retake, and it bought them so much time, but still. Second half going to be a bit of a tough one, I can imagine. Titan now can kind of depend on the individuals to just really crack open the sides rather than waiting on SK to do the damage. But SK, they are in the lead. Let's see if they can keep it.
Yeah, that's right. SK got themselves that one round there as well, but honestly, if Shox is going to keep to his diabolical tricks, this might be a little bit harder for SK to hold on. However, like you said, 7 rounds on that CT side. Not too shabby at all for Titan now. Moving on towards the T. And let's see what they do. Let's see if they can sort of shake the foundations for SK Gaming, or if SK can just hold on tight. I mean, coming in here with a bit of a mix, of course, Magisk being thrown in as a stand-in, and a team that has been plagued by these roster problems. It'd be refreshing to see them actually managing to get a win against a team that is at least mid-table, at the very least, and honestly contests at the top level.
Yeah, this is a really good performance from SK if they can keep it up. We'll find out as Titan, kind of known for their choreographed play here on Cash, can mostly be put down towards A, but it seems that that stack towards Squeaky's coming back out with Shox and Existence being the jump-off points, but they're going straight through that bomb, and they are on towards the side itself. Hopping straight over here as Magisk going to go for the challenge towards Forklift, but it's Scream to win out towards Cadian. Now open up the side. Scream's going to find 2. And why not? It is Scream, leaving 3 alive for SK.
Sandon and Freeze make that 2 now as the bomb is planted, and Titan, well, they're snatching up all the weaves as they make their way through. RPK will be a truck. Freeze will be summarily executed by Shox, and it's just Sandon to await his fate, and Shox goes through. That's the shot towards the head. Not too bad. But Existence will respond, and Titan definitely make a statement there with their first in this half. Very strong pistol performance. Yeah,
really nice. And to be fair, it was just that SK got completely overwhelmed sitting in towards quad then. They couldn't really do much about it. So Titan's going to go in on the buy now. Let's see what they go for. 2 rifles thus far. I can imagine 3 SMGs to boot. Yeah, they're just going to get Smiths on the MAC-10. A lot of utility. And actually on the other side, a lot of CZs, but no armor to be seen. So the forces that we've seen throughout today are not going to be quite as replicated thus far, but it's going to be a 4-man stack over towards B. Existence holding mid, and actually Gideon going to be going straight for that challenge. Sandon actually going for the peak as well. This is very aggressive stuff from the CT side, considering they only have pistols.
Oh dear, still Shox is just brutalizing SK, starting with Sandon at this stage as Magisk is inside fence, but he gets taken down as well. Shox on towards him there with that MAC-10, and there goes Cadian as well. It's a very, very quick roll for Titan straight over SK Gaming, and they are now in the lead off the back of Shox, of course, and a very strong pistol round, 24 and 10. He's at least double his nearest teammate in kills.
It's brilliant stuff from Shox. To be fair, normally it's Scream who gets the limelight, but Scream's not having the most loud of games for him. That's the thing, you've got to say for him, because there's not many players who can go off like Scream, but Shox very much in the limelight, at the forefront right now for Titan. 9-8 is the scoreline. SK, very clean round coming in, just a couple of P250s, 3 to be exact. And they're doing the 5-man stack towards B, just leading it through. RPK trying to maybe get his farm on here. Good position for it, gonna get one down. Controls the rest of the spray, not going to expend the clip before required, but Cadian has slipped past and looking to do a little bit of damage.
But RPK knows Cadian has actually managed to get through here, so...
What is that bug?
That's actually the skin of one of the...
Is that the mouse?
Is that a Mag 7 skin, just like put up over his... I don't know. Oh, we digress here. Cadian now is going to drop to RPK, so that is his third of the round, if I'm not mistaken. He went hunting for Cadian for quite some time, and there's Shox as well. Titan really starting to put things together quite nicely now. This T side definitely looking a lot more at home, but this is the buy here for SK Gaming.
Now, last time we saw SK picking up the first 3, then kind of following up with a good couple of gun rounds, but not the initial one. So I'm curious to see if Titan can buck the trend here. It looks like we're going to see 2 SMGs still kept as well. Shox and RPK keeping hold of these. Where are they going to take these towards? I'm curious now.
Oh, they've done this a fair bit in recent times as well.
Yeah.
They did this against Na'Vi, actually. He just farmed them for money for a few rounds. So Freeze now going to go for that early peek towards B main. Nothing to come of that one here, as we do have an aggressive push by Acelian up in mid. A heck of a lot of smokes here, and SK struggling to get a read early on Titan. Don't really know too much about the movements here. Standard is that only player at A. Molly's coming in, but the smoke's going to be there. Freeze also is there. Takes down RPK. That's one SMG out of the picture. Still, he's going to have to back away towards B main now, or lobby, should I say, and await the push, and he misses that crucial shot there. Would have had another frag easy, and Smith is going to punish him for his inaccuracy. Acelian at least can trade in towards Scream, and then get on towards Shox in mid. It's just 2 for Titan right now. Let's see if they can put it together. Back-to-back Existence, and of course, Smiths.
Yes, Smiths is just waiting at the very edge of that vent, but they aren't going to boost someone up there to actually challenge down Acelian, and there we go. Acelian closes down. Big round from him. That's 3 in the bag, but Freeze with the opening pick made a big bit of difference. Sadly, he couldn't adjust well enough to follow up from it to get overwhelmed. But Titan, it's not the end of the world. They do have 10k on 2 players. That was Shox and RPK. So they've got a lot of money to work with in this, and it was more around for SK to make sure they picked up and didn't fall to those SMGs. But the investment didn't quite work out for Titan, but they will be in fine form going into this one. Smiths with the AWP. Let's see what he can do.
Freeze definitely looked like he was very keen to go for those picks last round. And here we go. SK in towards mid again. Again, aggressively pushing up. Acelian will probably look towards to get in towards Vent, and Magic is close by. So, again, denying mid from Titan. Titan not even really aggressing on towards that one too much there, but there's Scream as well. From that boost spot, Cadian falls in a crumpled heap, and Magic, well, can't really take any shots from here now. Really can only just try and listen to those sound cues and get an idea of where Scream is going. Here's Freeze on towards that A side.
Freeze hasn't had much luck there. No. Luckily, the nade will follow up for him, but he's been getting tags and legs, and it's just not been a good day for him, sadly, but doesn't seem to matter right now. Freeze will be finally put to bed by Shox, and Titan opening up opportunities towards A here, but on the side, you can see Sandon just playing beyond the angle they're peeking, but Shox again, just going beast mode. That's Magic's down. He looks for another, and he gets it. That's 3 for Shox, just walking into the bomb site and claiming it as his own, and the rest of Titan fall in line.
Shox, 29 frags in 20 rounds, so not too shabby at all from the man. He's just been savaging SK Gaming almost on his own at this stage, but let's see what Shox can do now, of course. Acelian will be sitting in Sunroom here as RPK is going hunting. He definitely likes to try and make sure there are no loose ends. And Acelian will drop down now as well. Titan, another one on the board for them here. And SK Gaming only getting sort of rounds fairly few and far between. Very spotty performance from them now as Titan are 2 in the clear.
Yeah, Titan's starting to break ahead of the pack thanks to the man you can't help but point out, which is Shox. He's playing so well. It's hard to even deny, but still, we're going back into the frame. Maybe we'll see a little something from SK if they can get some damage done, but I just feel that once Titan get rolling, it's going to be so hard for them to be stopped. Even the players starting to really pick up the pace. Shox will do the little flash there just to allow him any chance on the first pick, but Magic will at least find Existence, so that's a gun loose, but I doubt it's recoverable.
Oh, there we go. I think it's Cadian on the other side of that forklift there. No one on rafters or on upper for Shox now, as he is going to smoke out towards that side. Try and set things up here. The Smiths at least working out from A main. Oh, Magic's through the door, I think it was. Gets the headshot on towards Shox, and he's had a blinder of a round so far. Here comes the fire. Comes straight on in towards that quad. Smith's trying to take on Cadian. He does get the better of him here. Acelian now picking out towards RPK. Sees that CZ at close range to its greatest effect. And RPK going to back away. Magisk with his third for the round. Let's see if he can add to that one here. He may not have to as the rest of SK are converging. Oh, watch out. That's your teammate, mate. Let's not get too ahead of yourself. He has opted now for the AWP. He holds that one. And it's just RPK left for the Frenchman.
What is with Deagles at the moment? They are just so insanely strong in the right hands. Magisk showing that he is one of those players that can utilize them perfectly as RPK last man standing. Bomb is swarmed by SK players. I doubt he's going to be able to find much here. 30 seconds left. They are a little low, I guess, Freeze, but they've got so much to work with now. 3 rifles recovered. Well, sorry, 2 in an AWP, I guess. And RPK just going to sit this one out. He's only got, well, 16 seconds to stay alive, and I can imagine SK want to keep hold of these weapons as well.
And Titan will buy up again anyway, so they still have the money for that one here. Acilian going looking. RPK is going to make him regret that particular decision. And with 4 seconds left, he should be able to stay safe for the remainder of the round here. So SK Gaming claw yet another one back, but they seem to be just half a step behind Titan in these ones here as well. It's still one round in it here as we go in towards our 22nd round. And Titan, not too bad on the T side so far. Magisk with a nice couple plays there to keep themselves in it. And as you said, Freeze is still having a bit of trouble here as well, fragging. It's been quite quiet. And on the other side, when you've got Shox doing a lot of heavy lifting for Titan, it's hard to see yourselves losing.
So let's see if Caden can pick up a little bit of the slack then. He's going to be picking up the AWP, so that's always a nice addition here. And Smith is going to go for that opening shot. Not going to find it. Just as Zampo wisps past the player by box as it will be Caden on B. Shox taking the fight on A. He finally gets stopped as Magisk does find a little bit of what he had with the Deagle there, but looking at Smith, he's going to go in for the challenge as well, and Magisk does retreat towards quad, but holds the angle on the right side.
Magisk's actually lucky to get across before Smith could find that angle, so he may not have expected Magisk to be there. Unfortunately, nothing will come of that one now as he does just hop himself up there inside A main, and we're looking out towards Rafters. Once that smoke does clear, and Cadian on the B side. Bomb being left behind by Titan here. They want to take some fights. They want to start to open things up a little bit more before they commit. Oh, cheeky little half pick there by RPK, and Cadian not quick enough to finish the kill.
Yeah, but Titan aren't committing though. Not yet. Scream's still got the bomb pretty far back. Smith's the one tap. You can hear that across the map. Magisk is now going to be the last standing point. He is going to connect towards Smith, and actually the rest of the time players are pouring in towards his side. Now they're going to have to take him into account, and he's going to get the leg there. Tags off Scream. Deagle comes out. That's brilliant stuff from Magisk. We're waiting to see more of this sort of play. Allows Sandon the chance to find RPK, as Existence is the last man standing in this quite far back.
I'm pretty damn impressed with Magisk, I'm not going to lie. I mean, we see some of his stats when we were researching before, and actually when he played with TSM a while back, he was very, very good in that game. So it's clear to see that he's got some potential here. Lovely 4K from him, and actually he's going to make it even Stevens here. SK Gaming and Titan at 11 rounds apiece. And even with Shox doing so much work here, it's not enough to give Titan a buffer as we head in towards this next round here. And, well, it's a force here. Existence, we're going to have to go to the Galil. Smith's with that Tech 9 as well. So SK Gaming looking in a little bit more of a commanding position now, at least for this round.
Yeah, I just want to see more of Magisk, if I'm completely honest. This guy is really doing quite nice. I just haven't seen an individual make that sort of impression in a while. Considering he's just a stand-in or a step-in maybe, or may become a permanent member of the roster. I'm truly not sure. You can prove me wrong, please do. But really finding a good performance here, as Titan are looking towards A.
So Molotov coming out from Cadian, doesn't want to get pushed from that angle, so he's not watching the other one. Magisk, though, luckily can redeem with 2 kills there, and there's Freeze as well to pick up Smiths.
The bomb's in the perfect spot for them as well. There's going to be something really extraordinary to come through from these 2 players remaining. Shox has to get around the back if he wants a chance in this. He's going to find the challenge towards that connector in mid, but Magisk dancing around, keeping eyes on that bomb, as Shox will take the challenge towards Acilian, but Sandon was backing him up, and now Scream in a 1v4. I wouldn't doubt him, but he's certainly outnumbered.
Scream can at least get close to the bomb, but he realizes surely SK Gaming must be watching that position with some player or another, so he's going to go for another sort of fight. But there's Magisk again, 7 in 2 rounds for this man, and he's really starting to drag SK Gaming, kicking and screaming through a couple of these rounds here.
Yeah, he individually is making the difference, as simple as that. And I thought, you know, maybe Shox was the big player. And sure, he's playing well, but this guy, as an individual, is making the difference in these rounds. Important kills, and you know, I was about to say a very clean eco going in for Titan. But no, they do invest some head armor there. You know, CZ, a P250 split between them, but still, this should be 13-11.
By rights, it should be, but when we talk about Titan, with the likes of Shox and Scream, Existence, and all the rest in that team. You just never know what you're going to get. Magisk has actually moved his way up towards this one now, taking Caddy in spot. A good nade actually towards A main. Shouldn't flick some damage actually. Negligible really towards RPK. A little bit of spray through smoke here as SK does anticipate this push, especially seeing long A door open. Magisk will just reload here. Caddy and Freeze opening up the account. Shox, will he make his mark here as he pushes over? It's a Titan getting aggressive over towards this side. RPK gets one and Magisk gets two more. Beautiful stuff from the man. Average 3 kills in the last 3 rounds per round, so it's not too shabby at all. And SK Gaming, as you said, 13-11 it is.
Let's remind ourselves, this is SK taking on Titan. This shouldn't happen. Titan are currently in 6th if you exclude all the other changes that happened today. If we don't include them, at the start of the day, they were in 6th. SK are in 12th. They are yet to pick up a singular game, only 98 rounds won, and the team closest to them is already on 117. That would be Hellraisers for SK. But this is a big performance from them, coming out truly showing that, hey, we can compete. It's just Magisk, one by one, taking down Titan. He's going to be asked the big question again. Can he find any more?
We've put him in pretty important positions here, but he turns his back at just the wrong time, and that can happen to the best of them, unfortunately, though. But Scream is going to compound this issue for SK Gaming, and he picks up a Cillian here. Freezes, well, he's pushed up in towards A main, hoping for a Titan player, just with their own back turned. He won't find it, and Sandon is being completely locked out at the moment here from mid. There's a lot of smoke there, and he just has to be patient and wait this one out. He's almost anticipating a push in towards him, but Titan are happy with just the smoke there, just to take some control of mid. There's Freeze looking for an opportunity. There goes Smith. The man hits the deck. Existence is quite low as well, and Caddy, and well, the smoke's cleared on towards B here, and Titan still haven't made their push.
No, Titan look a little scared now. They're looking a little cautious, a little hesitant, and Cadian's going to find Scream. That's the bomb loose. They know it now. The alarm bells are going to ring for SK as they're going to get themselves over the side. Great little flash to show them down. Counter flash comes out, and they do make it across.
And that's forced Cadian back around the corner. He has to poke in towards that one. Goes down to 8 health, and RPK is going to send him packing. And now it's just Sandon and Freeze. A lot of work to do. Sandon cleans up Shox nicely. That puts the bomb loose as well. He's only down to 35 points of health, but RPK takes down his teammates. So he's got to do this all on his own, and he will be denied that opportunity. Now RPK with his 3rd for the round.
Yeah, you can see they're just not letting this slip. They are trying to fight this one out as much as possible. Titan suddenly starting to wake up here, but in the throes of the final rounds, really. SK on 13, Titan on 12. We are getting good games today, whether you like it or not. This was not the game I expected to be a highlight, and it certainly won't compare to the one prior, but it's certainly got its own merit, as SK are not going down out without a fight in this. And 3 players flashed up in mid. You see the quick boost. Magisk's going to back away from it. Titan working with minimal amounts here. Shox actually just for that P250. It's denied by Cillian, who's getting the early control in those vents.
I was hoping to use the close quarters to his advantage there, but you can see Titan just propelled themselves in towards mid, and it's paying off so far. Existence and Smith add notches to their belts respectively, and now mid is open for Titan. It is theirs. Sandon's forced to go to B. Caddy, and will have to sort of float in between in the middle, and Magisk over at A. So wherever Titan want to apply their pressure, they will have an overmatch. They will have a player advantage here as well. The question is, do they want to soften up SK Gaming further? Are they still looking for picks? As Titan is even hoping that SK will even go for some cheeky little flank on towards him there. Magisk is, well, the furthest forward player for SK, and he's really just ideating the possibility of working through A main, but not committing to much at all. He will go to long A. This is him here, so you see Scream sitting back. That is just disgusting, Scream. Can you not? 2 players left for SK, Sandon and Cadian. And I'll tell you what, it's dire straits for them right now. Cadian will get 1, at least a consolation as it were, but the bomb, well, hasn't been moved anywhere yet, and Titan can just toy with their food as it were.
This...
Cadian, not bad.
Oh, Cadian, run the hell away. There was 20 seconds left, and the bomb was nowhere to be found. They could have made it over to B in time, I guess, but still. RPK ruining the hopes and dreams of SK thus far. The last 2 rounds have been at his hand going against them. And now SK, the money is poor. You know, it's 2.4, 2.6, 2.5, not enough to get a buy going. Maybe a Deagle here and there, a P250 or 2. And let's see where they can put it to good use, because on the Titan side, they are looking flush for cash. They are sitting pretty. They'll set nades and smoke's going to be going down towards mid. And Shox smoking out very close, actually. That's just going to bounce on top, so it does give him a little bit of an angle to peek through. But while this happens, they poured out towards A. But Magisk again finds that Deagle to work, but Smith stops the rod this time.
Yeah, crazy the way he traded into that one there, but here's Scream pushing around. Cadian's already managed to deal with Smith, but Existence is there to pick up. It's trading 1 for 1 here so far for Titan. And Well, considering they're up against Eco, it's a very interesting scenario here, as Asilian has nothing but a Digger to work with, but we see what Magisk himself can do with it. But the bomb is down. There is a player flanking. That is Sandon. He will go towards A main, and he does see Shox and get the finish. Oh, he does. The Shox is not able to complete, but it's just Freeze. It's been back and forth. It's been a messy round. It's been a grind. And Freeze, with no armor, no grenades, is going to drop to Scream.
Titan, just look how sloppy this is, though, from Titan. This is not clean rounds. This is not pretty stuff. They're on 14-13. I wouldn't put this past SK to bring it back to 14-14, if I'm honest. Let's see what they can do. Now they're going back on the buy, 4.9k. They can go for a decent purchase here. Maybe not head armor, but they can get the utility to support it. That's exactly what they're doing. Smith's the perfect spawn for the AWP, but they can still maybe work towards A little later. Those beautiful fades really put to use over towards A. 2 players, make it 3 actually towards mid. Asilian supporting through those vents, and Magisk pushing right up there, trying to get some early control. And they sent Titan packing.
SK just pushing back a little bit more this round as they set up towards mid. Normally Titan straight over the boost and with smoke towards vents here, but Magisk and Asilian, I think it is, yes, have set up here. As maybe a little bit of a later push out for Titan will be the order of the day. There is some smoke coming over Existence. You can see him quite close there. We're looking to try and battle it out with Asilian. So Magisk there will just wait his time as 4 players from Titan still sitting in mid. Oh dear, he takes a fight here, hoping that Existence would burn down, and he did, but here's Magisk now going against RPK, and he loses that particular battle. That's losing mid presence here, but Cadian's able to make up for it there. Gets on towards RPK, 3v3. Bomb still left in mid. Titan still yet to commit to anything, and I mean, we haven't seen them play much Case at all in recent times, and maybe we're starting to figure out why.
A little baffled by Titan, if I'm honest. They're down to 2 now. And SK doing really well to keep this one going in their favour. At least this round in their favour. But the bomb is heading towards B. That's Sandon's domain. 24 seconds left. Smoke does get put down. You can see Sandon not in a particular hurry here. Just going to wait to see if there's a push. He can hear the cross coming through. Bomb will be planted. Sandon trying to do the kind of close spot to the corner. No one's there. Flash comes in, but there's 3 players by CT. I'm assuming one will split towards upper, but that bomb is going to be ticking, and it does seem as though the retake is coming in now.
Sandon flooding out there as well. Goes straight towards Smiths here, and Cadian does get a lovely pick. Onto screen there, and SK Gaming, we keep it neck and neck. It's 14 piece, and no one really would have expected this, and Titan not showing the dominance we'd expect them to see, especially if you're looking at the ladder, especially if you glance over some of their past results, especially if you hold SK under the same microscope. But now 14-14, we may have an overtime here. It has been tit for tat after Titan getting 3 in a row. SK have slowed them up.
All right, now I'm going to start believing. Now I'm going to start believing that maybe SK can do this, because look at that buy come out from Titan. It is poor. They've got, what, 2? Okay. They did have the drop out there, so they're going to switch that AK across to RPK, but that's still 3 rifles, 2 pistols. It's not perfect, but Shox looking to make the most of it. I'm surprised they give Shox this Tech 9 when really he's been so prolific with the rifle, but hey, who am I to judge?
So far, he's not looking to do too much with that Tech 9 as Titan again play it awfully slow. They're just not wanting to be aggressive at the moment here. Mid has been given up, so SK, instead of flooding down using Asilian and Magisk, they're giving it up completely, playing a bit more passively here. They realise the importance of this round, and they are playing against a force here, so they just don't want to take any untoward risks. It's going to be Shox to smoke himself through, flash out. He wants to go towards Forklift there as well, but he backs up immediately there as the Molotov did go down towards his feet. Titan haven't really carved out any sort of big advantages here. Shox is looking for one towards Cadian there. He will be out again, but Magisk on towards Smith. That's a 1-for-1. The man is doing some serious work. Scream will finally be able to shut him down, and there goes Freeze. RPK takes him out, and he will be the plant.
Finally it goes in, but Asilian and Sandon, they're not in the worst of predicaments. They can easily save these weapons, but Sandon is going looking. That's kind of dangerous when Scream's still standing, let alone Shox. And they are going to be going for the save here. It will be Titan getting onto match point, but I don't know how to feel about this one. Titan look a little lost here. And, well, when Magisk is finding this sort of form, it's kind of hard to deal with. Even when, you know, Titan do have the favourable odds in these sort of rounds, it still gets very, very close. The bomb will be going off pretty darn soon. They should be able to keep hold of these rifles. I don't think anyone's going to be challenging out too soon. And the bomb will explode. So,
terrorists win.
Eventually.
Yeah, all in all, Titan starting to draw this back. SK, though, it'd be devastating to lose out at this point, remember. They have fought so bravely to bring it to the scoreline, and they have, I've got to say, they looked more deserving than Titan at times, if you look at them on paper, considering SK are last in this entire league. You'd hope they could pull something off there, but the economy is weak, it's poor. They only have a CZ on Cadian, and look at Titan. Just flush for cash, they have everything they want. In theory, this should be Titan's round, but let's find out how this one goes. SK, can they take it to overtime? Can they finally get their first win here?
No helmets for freezing Cadian as well. That aim punch is going to suck if they do find themselves on the wrong end of some of those shots towards their cranians. But is Shox moving up again, and this is Titan going with a similar setup that they were using before. But this time, SK is getting aggressive coming forward. Cadian trying to take control of mid. He takes a bit of damage there as well. Of course, he hasn't really pushed any further on towards this one. Freeze and Magisk at A, Acelian Sandon at B. And it's just Cadian here as well, trying to get up close, trying to use that CZ to the greatest effect. And Titan not taking any risks here. No, that they don't have to. There's Smiths opening the door. Freeze. Will that draw his attention away here? Let's get a little bit of freezing on our HLTV here. We are back, of course, after a couple of kills get traded. Brilliant. Cadian actually did manage to get the jump on Existence, but was quickly put down.
Yeah, it's already looking like Titan's starting to take the lead here. It's Smith's lead the way Magisk goes down, who was the remaining hope, but look at it, Acelian and Sandon, the last two standing. It's not gone too well for these boys here. And the last hurdle, once again, just kind of clipping their heels on it. And the shins feeling rather bruised. They do fall. Titan eventually claim it in a very close game, and I've got to feel for SK here. That must be heartbreaking.
Absolutely as well. To take this game so close, and you can say what you like about Titan in terms of, is this how we expect them to perform? Do they look a little bit rusty?
Yeah.
Shox was doing some serious work here.
Yeah, he was.
I've got to give credit to Magisk as well. Coming to this SK lineup, so close, but yeah, no cigar.
Yeah, there was a couple of rounds that he definitely turned the tide for SK there. So all in all, he looks like a good player individually. There's no disputing that. But SK once again just falling at that final hurdle, which is a shame considering yet to get a win on the board, but my God, they did get close then, and Titan just depending on Shox quite severely as well. But regardless, today has been outstanding, unless maybe you're a NiP fan. I don't know. The start to today was a little bit shoddy. And on paper, it shouldn't have gone this way in theory. 6-16 to begin with on Inferno, the better map for them. Going into their harder map, they actually picked up 11.
Yeah, big expectations for NIP actually heading into that one against Na'Vi. Their Inferno in recent times was actually pretty darn good. However, Na'Vi managed to shut them down on that one, of course. Overpass, yet again, similar situations there as well. It was Na'Vi's T side in both of those games that was indomitable. Too much for NIP to handle.
Yeah, and of course, the game of the day, Fnatic against TSM. It was 22-20. Finally, Fnatic, you know, made the odds happen, but it was a huge game. It was something that you've got to watch back. Bear in mind, Crims got 42 kills in that, Device 48. Both teams fought tooth and nail for that result, and it was just Fnatic in the end to find it. But then to close us out, a closer game than I expected.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, SK looking more fair dinkum than we maybe thought they were, as it were, considering the way the season's gone. Unfortunately, a loss is a loss, and it doesn't make your record look any prettier, especially when you're already like minus 50 odd in rounds. So not great for them. A bit of a metaphor, I think, for their season so far. It's not the first time that they have come close on some occasions to getting a win, and Titan will be cheekily and maybe sheepishly going back and forward into the next games and be going, okay, that was a little bit close. Let's regather ourselves and go for our next few matches.
Well, if you are an SK fan, your heart may be in tatters. You could be cheered up at least on Saturday. We'll be having a lot more games coming up for the EU side. There's going to be a task and a half for them. You can see it there. Quite the numbers coming up for them, and a tough opponent, and make it, you know, tough opponents throughout. Hellraisers may be a chance. They are next to each other on the ladder board, but outside of that, Na'Vi and Virtus Pro. That's a tough one. But this is going to be a bit of a super day, I guess, or super weekend. There's a lot of games coming in here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm looking forward to Virtus Pro TSM. That's going to be sick. TSM Envious as well. So Saturday, got a really good combination of games as well. We're seeing some of these teams that are close on the ladder, like your Hellraisers and SK. Yeah. They're going to be battling it out. They're going to be slugging away at it. And of course, there's some more Virtus Pro in the mix. TSM NV, I mean, it's going to be a great day as well. Looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, and that's not all. The NA side of things will be coming up later, of course, and that'll be over on the ESEA side of things. So if you want to check it out, check in with who's playing well on the other side of the pond, do make sure you catch that. I think that's in around 2 our time, so 2 CEST, maybe around 3. It's quite the late one, but it's going to be Luminosity Gaming playing, so if you're a fan of those boys, do check it out. And anyway, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to bring you today's games. I know it's been good fun casting with you for the first time properly in a big game like this, let's say, because this was a real moment to be remembered. So guys, do make sure you give him some support as well. He is fairly new to this one, our dearest Uber. Yeah, we've pulled him back from the colonies to give him a chance in the real world. But no, do make sure you give him some support. It has been a pleasure bringing you the games today. If you fancy any more CSGO, do make sure you watch the ESEA side of things, the NA side a little later on this evening, and even beyond that, get ready for Saturday because there's a hell of a lot of games coming here in the ESL, ESEA Pro League. Guys, catch you then.